For being a little bit late to start the day.
Lip does one better though. Lethal down to Lip.
I went to bed at 5 p.m. last night, chat. I want you to know this. I went to bed at 5 p.m.
Is just so strong.
Okay.
Then you just blink back, you know, Swift.
I got better sleep. We're good. I'm gonna be honest with you, chat. I realized that the power of the alarm
How does Zero not get that kill? That's unfortunate.
is snooze, and I hit that button, and then I hit it again, and then it was 1:30, and I went, whoops. But here we are. So I got some good sleep, and I missed the first 2 maps. Looks like I missed some good ones, but
sprinting Lip trying to run away.
But
yeah, but this is
looks like I missed a couple of them, but we're okay. Wifey of Jolene, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you. I don't think I missed anything else. But yeah. So a little bit late. I just rolled out, not necessarily. But hey, I slept like 9 hours. Okay. I did exactly what I needed to do to go to bed at a good time. So we're good. First map was a CR stomp, anyways. Yeah, and then like King's Row, I think was won by Nightmare.
Well, there's the nano visor. This is a vintage Overwatch moment. My word, yeah.
I feel like New Queen Street is not going to be the most ideal map here, but not the worst either.
Get the healing necessary to stay alive.
It's Sully's bucket move. Oh, I did that. I was just fixing it up so that way he had more room.
But now that we see this setup from Lethal with his overclock, he gets so much
everybody.
real estate to work with. The train is a little bit risky.
Hope you're all doing well. Yeah, co-streaming the matches today. Obviously, I missed the first. How's the timer been today? Have they been good with timings? Are they like, do they clean up the time in between each match, or are they spending 35 minutes between each map again still?
Oh, Lip. Oh, what a sleep. Cuffer, you saw there, a small sigh.
Actually been fast? Nice. Maybe they got some feedback yesterday that 73 minutes between each map probably wasn't as ideal, you know?
These fights will be scrappy, and Crazy Raccoon,
I think Lethal's gonna get... Ooh, honestly, kind of clutch by Lethal there to pick up a couple kills. Actually, and then Lip ends up falling over. This kind of for Nightmare cleans it up a little bit, right? Like now you can kind of block off the bot a little bit. This would be nice.
Maybe that's going to be something that he can do to actually even things up.
So the audio is also fixed. Are perks allowed on OWCS? Yeah, oh yeah. Perks have been since they introduced perks. Perks have been in the game because they don't have like private test server. They're not like. Even though this is specifically being played on a tournament server, like, they haven't... That was a stick. But yeah, they don't have like a server where they can only play on certain patches. Technically, they could do it on this one, but yeah, that's been their rules. Hey, buddy.
But now he's going to be able to come back in with this nano boost.
Good morning.
Instantly woken up though. Lip from downtown with laser beam aim. Shoe falls. However, again, scrappy fights. It's exactly what Crazy Raccoons wants. That pulse bomb. I think that little boot there might have stopped Avril from getting
Ziggy, thanks for the tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Is still on the case. Zera's super low too. 20 health.
Yeah, I mean, so far it's been pretty competitive. I mean, like.
They're just a 2-man hit.
The thing is that
Nightmare cannot get.
I don't think Nightmare's going to take the lead right here, but I do think that it's close.
Already being able to get another pick onto Lethal, this just has to be another reset here for Nightmare. They can come back in with this rally though, and so maybe they can play just a little bit closer together. I think that is something that they have struggled with just a little bit because of how much pressure Jumpman has been putting onto the backline. But maybe the rally helps at least give you that fighting chance so that you don't let Crazy Raccoon run away with this. Keep in mind, we also still have half of this map to play out here in terms of time bank.
Why is the commentary so serious? Because it's OWCS. This is like it's gonna be grand finals coming up tomorrow. Like this is, ooh, a huge pick by Zera, by the way, on Kiriko. Wait a second. And if they get that bot going now, they're gonna take the lead or at least get a draw going. Yeah. Nightmare's about to get the bot going, and I don't know if they'll necessarily take the lead here.
Pretty quickly here. If they can actually 3-stack this,
and then they're going to go for these kills, which is the correct play, by the way.
He gets shield bash though.
That was the correct play.
He actually just completely loses the ultimate here, and this is where Nightmare can actually start to take over this map.
This is really good so far. Good Overwatch. They take the lead and the checkpoint with 4 minutes to go. The pick on Tracer isn't as important there. You'll see what I'm talking about. Like, they're going to spawn up really quickly. I mean, Kuffa might be able to ult up there too. Got purpled, but can just be up there, be aggressive. Probably gonna wait to use Nano. Maybe he doesn't know. Doesn't even do that. I gotta give credit. I didn't get to see King's Row, but like, regardless, Nightmare's playing this
Honestly, out of left field, it feels like
very well.
they're going to be able to push this bot even further towards this final
Like,
hit.
has ult here. They just got the only problem they're gonna run into is like they're down one of their supports. But I mean, like, this is solid. Holy crap! They came to play today, huh? They came to play today.
Cover's got Primal Rage. Pulse Bomb goes wide.
You're saying he needs to get off Soldier? I mean, Soldier is a viable strategy on this map. They're going to try to all-in Winston, but Winston has ult, yep. So, what I was saying is it's a viable strategy on this map, 100%. So, I get it. Like, it's... Am I going to watch back on the old matches later on in your day? Like, the first 2 maps? Probably not. I'll be real with you. I've watched every other match.
Zera's dominating on the Tracer
right
now.
I just got on late for 2 maps. It's all good. I got good sleep, though, and that's what matters. Good sleep will be good for us today. Yesterday we were fine, but, like...
I think he's kind of proven it now.
He's been a grinder, for sure.
I kind of kept my schedule decent still by getting up at, like, 2 a.m. rather than at midnight. So I'll take it. This is still pretty good. The only problem that's going to happen for Nightmare here is they need to make sure they don't stagger out hard here because they have a decent opportunity. They're going to kill Admiral, I think, yes. Admiral, I mean, that's, yeah, I was going to say, I get the idea.
Secures the kill. A slam into the choke point, not needed, really.
I think I was trying to force too much there.
But with 2 minutes to go,
it's like their ult economy is going to be the most important part. They're going to kill Lip there, which, again, getting any type of kill in this situation, like, they're going to give up the checkpoint. There's nothing they can do about that, right? But any kill they get during that is important. Very important. So.
Same with Jumpin, but Nightmare have flipped that on its head.
Nightmare are banking on this next fight, though. Crazy Raccoon have control of the bot now, but Nightmare, if they win this,
they're going to nano Winston, or actually, do they nano? Yeah, they'll probably nano Winston. Or they might just save it for a survivability tool. We knew they were going to get the checkpoint, Chad. This was going to happen. And oh, what a pulse stick. That stick is going to give them a really good open, and that was one of the most important ultimates of CR. Junbin's going to have the ult soon. Just to keep map control.
Nano boost overclock, just mines available for Jumbin. They got a nano boost soon, but honestly, Rose, this is looking done.
Really good job by
Junbin
to just keep the point in the middle to keep the spawn good for their Brig. They do end up nanoing Kuffa in, by the way, and they get a kill on Brig again. They kill Brig again. Shoe's not going to be able to get killed here, but you might as well force out the nano, right?
They just get so many tools to take this map.
There's the nano. Both these Brigs are just falling over. I think they're gonna start calling to the dying point. Kuffa gets a kill on Ana too. This is actually huge. And the checkpoint reset.
They're just resetting the spawns now. They're going.
Yeah, the checkpoint reset. That's what I'm saying. So like, they don't get the good spawn for their Brig. Lethal has ult. Admiral's getting close to ult again. Zera's gonna have pulse bomb. They don't get anybody, but they at least buy some space. Okay, so it's going to come down to basically his Lip is going to have...
Is going to get triggered. A stick. Okay.
Must have stuck Junbin. Yeah.
Zera doesn't get anything with that pulse bomb just yet.
Oh my. What a play by Nightmare. They push the bot. They push the bot.
Play into the crowd perfectly. Crazy Raccoon.
That was a good play.
Teams. C9 the bot on New Queen Street.
I mean, what else can I say? That was excellent.
A 2-1 lead now.
Cannot believe it.
In this series for Nightmare.
I got to give credit where credit's due. I don't think any... Okay, I didn't see the predictions. Did anybody predict Nightmare would get 2 maps? Like, did anybody predict that at all? Do we know? No? That's what I thought.
Honestly,
be at their limit.
So CR lost.
Place for this team. They are
So Kings Row, Nightmare chose, and then CR chose New Queen Street, lost that, and then they chose Route 66.
Yep. To do that. Let's see what
so we'll see how this goes.
Here on Route 66. So for all the action and possibly more curses, we're going to send it back over to Necro and Jaws.
Yeah, thank you, sorry. Thank you, Jess.
I hate that.
Well, you're on the broadcast. So,
when I woke up, Sully was sleeping between my legs. Sully is interesting.
C9s happen, Rose. They happen on land. And yeah,
you know what? Will he sleep behind my legs?
Now,
occasionally.
Match point.
Sometimes I sleep where I like make a bucket with my legs, and he just falls asleep in there. I'll wake up and he's just that's where he is. Maybe that's why he likes that bucket so much.
Here we go, rolling out the gates. Crazy Raccoon on attack.
But this is what the desk was talking about. If Crazy Raccoon want to be able to get themselves back in the series, maybe it takes them just going toe-to-toe with this win.
All right, so here we go. So they're playing the whole close strat. It's a viable strat, especially when you're running this dive-based comp. The only concern I have so far, already looking at Nightmare here, is they're running that Kiriko Lucio comp, and this was kind of talked about yesterday, where like the Kiriko Lucio comp might be the most clutch comp for teams in this tournament. Whatever team can be good at that comp might be able to win quite a bit, because if the Ana Brig comp gets broken up, you can just run the Lucio Kiriko comp, or like other variations of it, no problem. So, like Kuffa going down there, that's not like an uncommon scenario there. Also, great job there by Lethal. Huge shot on Hiimishie. So.
But they have to be able to follow it up, and it's going to be Lip that's able to even that score.
He's pissed. Like you said, he wants to win. They're not used to losing. Ultraviolet's going to make it a little bit difficult, though. Couple of kunai.
Looks like people liked the bingo video yesterday, and it popping off. Feels good, man.
Where you going? Where are you going, Jimmy?
There you go.
Zero, by the way, too.
Good kitty.
Just an unbelievable trace.
I mean, great job by Nightmare there. Had a rough start to that, and then managed to come back and retake that. Only concern here I see is Shu has Nano, and that Nano could just win a team fight here. And if Nightmare's tracking that, never mind, they're gonna pop Kitsune. It won't matter. They can still lose the team fight, but they're gonna pop Kitsune pretty quickly. They might lead off with Lethal though.
Can he live up to his own namesake?
And the thing is Junbin won't be able to use that. Like, has to go back and play Peel heavy more. Kuffa is actually low on ult too, so they're actually losing a couple people pretty low here. Kuffa's close to ult. Oh, look, I got you. Druid, thanks to 2 months of the prize, and thank you. Just finished watching it beforehand. Heck yeah. Lethal ult in here isn't a bad ult. Huge pick by Zera on the... Junbin doesn't have ult yet, but they don't know that. Right? So, like, we're watching this and we're like, wait a second. The edit with the music, etc. was really cool. That would be, oh, what an ult by Kuffa. Huge ult.
Oh, he's making it look easy.
Be careful. Nice. Good job.
Boy, buddy.
So far, so good. I mean, I do think that this is the team fight that CR should win, but I think there's a world where Nightmare holds kind of close here to try to force out ultimates early and then get a retake. I think they're... What? Oh, that's like best case scenario. And the reason why that's best case scenario is because now, as long as they don't feed a kill, right? As long as they don't feed a kill, they've created 2 team fights. So, and they can build ultimate. So if you look, Ultraviolet's actually really close. So they're holding close here. They're holding close because they want to create the second team fight regardless. Yeah, and they see it too. Zera, like, looked where the cart's at. Like, now they know they're going to Kitsune this main if they can get it in time. If not, they're going to get ulted on right at the cart, and they can come back and retake.
It's not just about this fight. There's going to be one more. There's time.
Well, there's going to be one more unless it hits overtime, which is the correct call there. Like, if it hits overtime, that might ship it, but that is very true. Or if, like, this team fight extends out. Like right there, like, they get Lethal. They're making the call now to die in cart. That's why they're not doing anything, chat.
Don't use any other ultimates. Postmon from Zera. Try to be the big difference maker. And you can't play
I don't think they can do anything here. I think they staggered just enough.
15 seconds.
I could be wrong, but I think they staggered just enough. It is worth it going for it. I don't like their retake possibilities. As in, like, they're gonna go for the retake, but I think that CR has too much. I could be wrong. Yeah. It is worth going for it, though. You want to force out ults, by the way, chat. It is worth it. Even trading out just the Kitsune there, it is worth it here.
Nano boost on Junbin, but he can't go for a pick. Now he's going to attempt to. As it looks like Hiimishie's on the point there to contest.
Yep. Kuffa does get the kill.
Doesn't slip away from them again.
They almost got off the point again.
Hiimishie still ends up going down, but with another nice headshot. And yeah, this rally from Shorong.
Did you miss anything good? I mean, Nightmare has 2 maps. So, to point out, by the way, if you are Nightmare there and you're going, okay, what the heck, etc., or like you're like a fan of Nightmare, that was the correct play. Sometimes this game is about ult economy, and like you recognize that you do not have an ult advantage, and what you do is you go in there and the pressure's on CR. They need to pop a bunch of ultimates. Like they need to win the point. So Nightmare went in there, lost somebody, got a kill, popped Sojourn ultimate, which you're like, okay, they got Sojourn ult out. But what's most important is if you look at CR, right? If you look at CR's ultimates, they got cleared out there and out. So like now Nightmare has a slight ult advantage, right? At the very worst, like even, you know what I mean? Like at the very worst, like an even ultimate situation, right?
Nice little whip shot there from Choro.
Oh, that was a huge boop. Problem is they're trying to go back to the Winston, but Winston might have ult in time. Oh my! The decision to peel back, 99%.
Like you said, Rose, I know, I agree.
So.
Not a crazy raccoon, like a comfortable state for them right now.
But I think you can see why Kuppa is going after Shu. I think that is a very valuable win condition.
Don't be surprised to see an aggressive beat here off of the Winston ultimate that Junbin's about to use. What I mean by that is like they might just like see Winston go in and then just pop beat and then try to do something with that. Huge stick. They might just.
Lips down.
This is a weird team fight. Yeah, there it is. So they exactly how we kind of called it. They pop Winston ultimate, and what the vision here is this, right? The only thing you're gonna have to worry about is Pulse Bomb or Sojourn ult. But it's really hard to reactively. It's really hard to reactively save your teammate there from a pulse, right? It's like really difficult. So when we look at that, that's a really good. Like, option. You get a kill, they're Winston ults. Well, why not ult and save your teammates and guarantee Winston gets no value, and you trade 1 for 1 there, right?
Maybe you're able to make these dives a little bit better. Ana was a little bit of a vulnerable target, but you also only have 20
Kiriko ult really fast. It's gonna happen.
And all of it falls onto Lip and Choro.
They're waiting until about 18 seconds, I'd say. Maybe a little bit further. They're trying to basically buy time on the ult. Yep, they did it. They did it at 17 seconds, so there you go. The idea here is, again, like, trying to force out ults, but also just be the aggressor. They did lose their Lucio, which is not ideal, but Winston's going to have ult. So there's a world here where they can survive for a bit on point, right? Gets a kill on Lip, which is huge. Forces out ult. Now it's just going to be about trying to find people on cart to force them to like go back there. Shu gets a huge pick on Lethal, though. But then they trade on... He's saying he's about to have ult again.
He's got the cleave as well for all the reinforcements coming back.
This is a...
Lip is very close to this overclock as
They're looking at the Brig. Brig's their target, but the problem is can they do anything with that? They're waiting on Admiral to get beat, or at least try to. Huge stick. Sarah gets the stick. Oh my. They're waiting on beat. They're literally just waiting on beat. They're at 99%. Here it goes. Here goes beat. They're gonna pop right away. There it is. But they lose Kuffa, the LOS. And then Lip gets the kill.
He's not yet satiated.
They're not going to win this, but again, they've accomplished like almost like an ult reset. This is a good game of Overwatch. Holy crap. This is a good game of Overwatch. Well, you remember how I said you even have the team that full holds, you have a really good, like, in the third point game? Forget in that game.
As we enter into the third point, Cuff is going over to the Hazard. They're going to play a little bit better in these close quarters. And we got to see Crazy Raccoon actually react to this. They cannot take their time here with how much time they actually have left. And Junbin does have his Primal Rage to use, so hopefully they can bat the doors open.
They are not falling to the tempo of Crazy Raccoon.
I do like the swap here by Nightmare. I think the Hazard pick is good for third point. Like, especially if you're not as comfortable like with the short range dive. And if you're going, what's a short range dive? Third point, I mean, like your dives aren't going to be as good. You have less to work with, so Hazard makes sense, and they get aggressive and they buy some time. These players, yeah, every single one of these players has been champion or would be champion. You go, what do you mean would be champion? A lot of players at the top 500 level, especially in the pro scene, don't even grind it anymore because everybody just, the ladder's so scuffed and not designed for like the grind. Does that make sense? Like the ladder is just not designed for that, so because of like camping the ladder, so a lot of players don't even go for champion because it doesn't work the queue times. Queue times are just too damn long.
So this Kitsune Rush, it gets them out of the door, but then what's the follow-up after that?
That was a really good job by I mean, CR's still gonna touch. It's just they're gonna pop Kitsune. They're gonna double Kitsune though.
Major stakes this game.
He's looking for another one, Rose. Okay, Kitsune Rush.
They're gonna double Kitsune. Got cleanse out, but Ultraviolet goes down. They don't have beat either, so like it's gonna come down to a huge pulse stick again, Zera. Oh my. Play to live, play to live. This is where like they're gonna have the adrenaline after like the play, but they need to play to live. Admiral gets out. Now they can use beat. Zera's gonna touch point. They're not worried about that. They go in with beat. They push in.
Chorong in the ire of Zera as he's just chasing him all the way to the spawn. Jumping going super low without the backup required. He's not going to stay in this fight.
Oh my, the shot! Oh, this is so close.
Keep himself and the team alive, but Zera finds.
I mean, there's no ults on. Listen, there's no ults for CR, so on paper, Nightmare should win this.
Crazy Raccoon. They're going to get held on this point, Rose. There's an overclock coming in for Lethal.
Shu with a clutch play.
Dispatches of him
I think they're going to be able to get the kills now, though. I keep saying that, but like they haven't got the kills. Shu was one. They know that that's a call. Goodman might be able to pick up ultimate in time, but I don't think it will matter either way. Holy crap. I mean, that's a good hold. All right? That is a good hold right there. Holy crap, chat. We got ourselves a game.
What a play.
We got ourselves a game. What a team fight. Now, keep in mind, by the way, I do want to reiterate, it is a tough map, okay? Just to reiterate to you, Route 66 is a tough map, a very tough map, okay? So, it is far from over for CR, and it's far from winnable for Nightmare, right? Now, if Nightmare starts off with like a crazy first point, wins the two team fights, 5 minutes going into second, then it gets really interesting. Like, really interesting. But it's going to take some time.
The crowd behind Nightmare right now, you can hear the chants.
It's going to take some time. Now, used to be on this time? I'm not used to being on this time either, but you know what? OWCS is on early, so we got on early. I got on actually a little bit later, but good news is I went to bed at 5 o'clock. I'm not joking. Lonnie and I walked over to the store. We bought like a sandwich. We came back. I just sat on the couch at 5 o'clock. I said to Lonnie, I'm like, I'm going to be real with you. I'm exhausted. So I went to the room and I fell asleep by like almost 6, and then I woke up at like 1:30.
Still putting a lot of emphasis on making sure that they can set up
It's good. Trust me, buddy. I promise.
But Lethal and Zera of this Nightmare roster have not made it easy for Hiimishie and Lip to find that purchase and actually get those kills. As you see Lethal look in those sight lines with this Widowmaker, was kind of hoping that someone would be able to step up and right into those sights. But decides to go back over to Sojourn, so we're seeing a mirror match.
Why would they go Widow?
You
said why would they go Widow into Winston?
Wants to keep playing this hazard.
Do they have a Widow? Or are you talking about at the beginning?
Annoying for the
I might have been looking away at Sully. They're going for a pick. The only reason why you go Widow right at the beginning is just to go for an early pick. Like, to give you an example, if you're on, let's say, Sojourn, like you can't really get a one-shot pick right off of spawn, right? You just can't do it. You need to build up your charge shot, and even then, there's no guarantee in one-shots. It does a lot of damage, so you go Widow to guarantee a one-shot. That's it. It's just like a very like kind of like just like sneaky, quick play, and maybe you get a kill with it. We what team did that yesterday? Oh wow, they actually 2 kills there. There was a team that did it yesterday. It was
pretty even fight here so far.
Yeah, Sugar Free did it. I just forgot the team name for a second. SSG. There you go. Space Station. Yeah, they did a TP Widow play. They TP'd the Widow out on Route 66. The Widow headshot somebody, and then they went back to Sojourn.
But we're starting to build up the ults here. Ultraviolet gonna have this rush. Shu not too far behind, and we've got the pulse bombs coming up for both teams as well.
Zera has been diffing Hiimishie in this matchup, this Tracer matchup.
Huge pick by Kuffa. I mean, Ultraviolet needs to be careful there, but like overall, they forced out recall on Tracer. Now they can get the Tracer on cart. I actually think, now remember earlier, chat, when we were in a very interesting spot? When we were in a very interesting spot and, like, Nightmare had, like, that opportunity to retake, CR doesn't have that. There's no opportunity for CR to get ultimates out here and reset the ult pool. And that's the difference right there. Remember that, right? That is a huge difference. Nightmare now has an ult pool going into second. CR has a couple ults, but they weren't able to force out ultimates. And that could be a very make-or-break situation here. And with Lethal with a huge pick right away onto Lip, like, already a good start. They're going to actually try to counter. Which actually, this is actually a really good play by CR. Because it kind of puts, like, if you're in Nightmare situation here, right? They're kind of putting the ball, like,
This payload is slipping through Crazy.
You know, in the court of like Nightmare and being like, listen, we're gonna go at you with an ultimate now. You need to react correctly, and if you do, you'll win the team fight. But if you don't, we're gonna reset you. Now, normally CR wins that team fight because that's how good CR is. They can win 3v5. Nightmare has come to play today, and they did not let that happen. So they get the kill, they win the team fight, and now they're going to have an advantage on some ult charge. Right now, granted, they still need to win this team fight in the neutral for a little bit. There's the beat. Now the neutral's done, right? This is going to be the rest of CR's ult pool. They're going to go all in here. If they don't get a kill, they might pop Lip's ult, but they do end up getting a kill. So this was expected out of CR to win that if they ult stack, okay? And for CR, that they're lucky they got the pulse bomb kill. Not lucky. It was a really good play by Hiimishie to get the pulse bomb kill, because getting the pulse bomb kill there leads to not having to use Soldier Note. So in a team fight where CR was going to have to pop every single ultimate to win that, the pulse bomb actually clears up some space and then saves ult. So now you're going to have 3 ultimates on Nightmare side coming up. Cuffle might take a little bit to get it. Depends how deep the dive goes. But they can lead off with a Soldier Note. The thing is, Lip can too. Lip's really low, so now they've kind of pressured Lip out. Lethal's going for the flank play. This is a normal play. They might pop Kitsune here, but I think they're going to try to get... Yeah, they're going to try and flip the map almost. So Lip and... So they both pop ults, and then they kind of just look at each other and go, well, nice try for both of us. Cuff is really close to ult. They're going to Kitsune the moment that this map gets flipped. Here it is.
Here comes the rush. Nice.
There's that. That's what they wanted to do. It's a really good play. Backline pressure. They're going to get the kill on Lip. I think they get, I'm going to be honest with you, chat, again. Oh no, and Shu popped ultimate. That's clean. They're going to third. Chat, they're going to third point with about 3.5 minutes. It's winnable. What was Shu doing? So this is, again, I want to like reiterate with like CR. CR is known to win team fights down in numbers. They are very good at it. It's very rare that you see CR lose unless it's to Falcons or have they lost to what's the other team that's really good? There's one other team, and I'm sorry, it's early. That is really good. Is it like Zeta? Zeta, right? Outside of those teams, CR just can win team fights 3v5, right? So when they're playing against a team like Nightmare, at first they're kind of just like, well, we're going to play like we normally do, where we're going to set the tone all the time. The problem is that right now, Nightmare's been prepared for that. See how CR is going into their backline and doing this like rush play? Nightmare played that perfectly. They let him flip the map, but now the pressure is on CR again. They have to go back to point. They have to rush back there, and they have to be quick about it, which they are, right? But now, and the reason why they have to get out of there now is because, well, they got to kill, and then if they get stuck there, they're going to get cornered, right? So, good dive here by, really good dive here by Junmin. Excellent dive.
So Crazy Raccoon, they draw the line in the sand here.
Yeah, digging their heels in right on that corner.
Well, that's what I'm saying about, like, that was the point I was making on that one, Vern, is like CR is, when they lose, it's usually to, like, you know, teams in their region, and like during like, you know, the OWCS like Korea matches they have. It's not something that like, so like basically the point I'm making is they'll get a little bit more loose with their ultimates because they feel like they can win every team fight, which is a good thing as a team. If you feel like you can win every team fight, you're probably going to win most team fights. You're playing with this like type of confidence that like is almost frustrating for the other team. Like, imagine being in a spot where you're playing a game of Overwatch and you always feel like you're doing well, but it doesn't matter because the other team always wins the team fight. Like, you're just like, how? Like, you don't even know what's going on. If Zera can get to the point there without dying, they might be able to take this, chat. And CR can still take this. They have a Winston coming back, and they have Sojourn ultimate, they have beat. This is far from over unless there's a really good like wall, like aggressive play here that stops them off. CR is going to play this a little bit slow. They're okay with that. Yep. Lethal with a huge kill though. Yep.
So now Nightmare have to go for a reset. Zera, he's going to die. He hasn't got a recall.
I mean, Zera's doing a good job of even pressuring him here. You're going to get killed, but
good fight.
The ult pools are reset. I mean, the crazy part is we have basically for the win right now it's just in the neutral. Outside of pulse bombs, both teams are playing purely off of like if you just came out of spawn. That's it. Yep.
Pure neutral game here, really, Rose.
That's it.
Might just be about these pulse bombs.
There's a world where Nightmare might slow play it, but I don't think that's a good idea. I think if you slow play it, you're getting pushed back and you're just losing one of your supports right away. Yep. That's why Kuffa went really aggressive in. There's the dive. This is the all-in dive by CR in a second top. Actually, top left hand did. Huge pick. They're trying to force out cleanse. That's the call out right now. They're saying force out cleanse or get on. Yeah, there it is. I think Nightmare wins the series. Who could have predicted that, chat? Who could have predicted that? Nightmare goes to the upper bracket grand finals. Or the upper bracket finals, not grand finals. The upper bracket finals. What team do you think is pissed right now that they have to play CR in the losers bracket? So it's going to be very interesting to see, like, what they have here. But guess what, chat? We got a match. Much better production timings today, by the way. Much better.
The Juno here with the brig shies on Widow, of all things.
Juno, thanks for the 30 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. And Showered or Howard, thanks for the 2 months of that prime stuff. Thank you.
Versus Hazard. Once again, still have a lot of dive potential here.
Wow, it's been a while.
Hazard, but the Mauga, I mean, you're just kind of really bullying your way through the front.
I was going to say, Mauga here against... Yeah, I mean, it depends.
Really
nice shot by Brig.
Okay, kills proper. That should be the point cap to Team Falcons, but with...
They wouldn't be worried about that.
Dash in with Harmbin, hit the cardiac overdrive. You're surviving for so long as the Genji. Large healing output as well from the backline Team Falcons.
And the Widow is tough here. I think if you saw Widowmaker on the other side, then
Falcons are a team that generally don't worry about the team that they're playing per se. Like they're gonna play their comp and they're gonna play it well.
Widowmaker just takes a little bit too long.
So even if they don't have as much strategy against those teams, they're not worried about that.
First picks. Yes. So I think the Soldier makes a lot more sense here. Shy was very potent on that hero yesterday and leans into the dive a little bit better.
Still getting
very slow play here. Give time for Q. You know, give once again some time.
The Mauga's biggest strength is that he holds positions, he locks positions down.
Well, Mauga's strength in this comp against Hazard is just going in. Yep. As I say that, you see the Mauga also running behind them. That's why like they'll like that comp.
So far, I mean, Team Falcons just running over once again.
Yeah, I mean the fact that Shy fell there and
he said, man, they're running Sojourn after that crazy nerf. I know. Dude, once I saw that Sojourn went from 1.2 seconds on slide to 1 second, I was like, oh no, that's it for Sojourn. That was clearly where all the power was, right? So, you know what I mean? That's clearly where all the power was.
Starting to actually build up to these ultimates, but it took them a long time to do so. That we're actually in last fight territory here.
Harmbin does end up going down. How much do Team Falcons really invest in this?
I think Falcons will invest in this. Why not?
They really want to see this fight through to the end and hopefully come out the victor. But
listen, I don't mind that play by proper, and I'll explain this in a second. Sometimes you need to see what the other team's doing, right? Like, is the other team going to overreact with ultimates if you pop Blade? Are you going to win fights you shouldn't win? You find that out pretty quickly. And that was a situation where, well, you saw.
The thing is that this cage is such a difference maker in a lot of these fights. If you can lock somebody in the cage with you,
hey, listen,
like the Genji or something.
Can I be real with you though, chat? You know what's been really cool about this tournament? Variety. Right? We can meme on some of that stuff all day long, but outside of like outside of a couple moments, I have seen many different tank lines, many different DPS lines, many different support lines. It's been pretty nice. It's been pretty cool to see. Like, I don't see like any comp right now that I would say you need to run this right now to win. That was a good help, but I think it might be... Actually, it might not be too late. Yeah, I was going to say. Nice job by Leave.
Oh, my word. Okay.
Oh, we're watching Stadium. Let's go.
Defensive ultimates when you just have the Genji.
Amanda, thanks for the 3 months of the Prime sub. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Despite the fact that Team Falcons were able to capture that 86%, once again already evening up the score here. No ultimates quite yet for either side, but this is where we draw our attention to Stalker on this Sombra. Just switched over to that pick in that last team fight, and now very close to actually having that EMP online.
Oh, Mew is in trouble. Just cowering in the corner there, shield broken. Yeah, Prop is going to easily.
Yeah, Proper gets the kill. Oh no. I mean, they do kill. I don't think that they can do this. They're going to have to reset, but the resets aren't going to be solid. I mean, truthfully, a good amount of kills right there. Can they touch? I don't think so. I think that might be it. Circuit X, thanks for the 17 months of the Prime, so thank you, appreciate it.
That damage he did in that last fight, and they still get to open things up with this rush as well. Once again, actually have their own Sombra now. Maybe
Shy has to touch, which is going to suck. That's the last person you want touching point is your Sojourn.
EMP is almost ready to let rip.
Doing well. Oh, the timing. Unlucky. Ooh. Yep. Not a bad first map, or first round. Not a bad first round, though, in my opinion.
Close round, though, once again getting 86%.
I'd rather see a close round like that, you know what I mean?
Really close first round.
So, not bad at all.
Actually move on to a different stage for Ilios. You know, is this Mauga actually going to stick here? Do we actually see Gushui maybe consider a different hero?
Is there like a tactical issue?
The hometown very much in favor of once again rallying behind the team. It's going to be a competitive game. You saw the Euro predictions, of course, as well, 51-49. Game paused briefly, though, by the looks of it. Should be all good. Yeah, we'll update you when we know what's
Reindeer,
going
thanks for the 59 months of the Tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks.
Get ready to lock in.
Wow,
absolutely not
almost
Winchester.
A geologic era. Incredible emongg blankies.
Who am I rooting for? Good Overwatch.
So much momentum.
I just want some good Overwatch today. You know?
And Hotbin, I think
is there a heavy favorite for this tournament?
Not
anymore.
Team Falcons is
nope, not anymore.
Team thus far to really
I need to update the bot command.
Crap
will update it when he's on. It's the new drops. Just so you know, it is the new OWCS drops for the day, so don't worry about that.
And even though it's been nerfed, I feel like Hanbin's making it look easy. Very much in his wheelhouse as a Zarya player, as a tank player that loves to get up close and personal in your face. And I think Falcons overall have just had this very strong sense of stability.
Why is it pause? Technical issue.
Teamwork when it's come to playing more of these brawl type comps.
Yeah, we're in a really nice meta. This patch is really open. Extremely, the balance is really good. We're seeing a lot of variety in terms of tanks, and we're seeing what everybody loves. Dive, fast comps. A lot of Sojourn too. I'm sure some of you are sick and getting sick of
Yakna, thanks for the 17 months of that Prime stuff. Thank you, Yakna. Appreciate it. Thank you.
When you pull it off.
But how about those blades, though?
Yeah. Genji, Tracer. We're in a good meta. We're in a good patch. And that's nice for the tanks as well, because you do get to flex. Although, like you said,
pick up my phone in the meantime.
It's been nerfed. Still very playable, though.
Hanbin was actually, okay, so part of this, I think, is the fact that Team Falcons yesterday did actually play 3 maps in their first series. But Hanbin was actually one of the most versatile tanks amongst the entire field of competition. He played Mauga, he played Diva, he also played Winston, not a hero that he's necessarily known for, because he did share the roster with Fearless. So you had a Winston already on the team that would have been able to take that for you, but he's been learning a lot of different tanks to have that variety.
It's been nice.
Still waiting for a small update here as what's going on, but looks like still in the pause for the time being.
They're starting.
Things are all good to go.
I think they are. No, they're in the pause still. I thought they were starting, but they're just looking at their scoreboards.
It's always been very important. Falcons, their DPS line especially, like the flexibilities there is crazy. I mean, Prop can basically master of all. We'll see how it ends up panning out too, because if you're thinking it from a once again side of things as well, you're like, okay,
you got your coffee, aka Gamer Sub, so you got to use my code, right?
Like a Mauga. If we go to a map that's more, we feel is more favored to that. But then on the other side of things, if Falcons pick something like that, they can ban a tank, which stops then once again banning another tank. So a lot of ways to play around this. if you want to force this Mauga pickup. Of course, you can only do it once a series, so those bans can be...
I've always wondered how those arm things are. Because, like, I think I'd benefit from those.
Once again, that you can actually utilize the map pool to cater...
Hanman also plays on
in the server
0.03 sensitivity on 12 DPI, so probably helps with some of that friction on the desk.
So this is banned out now, but it means you can keep that open for the rest of the map selections later on in the series. I don't think we're going to see the Mauga ban be too much of a difference maker.
Like a compression sleeve? Dude, speaking of a compression sleeve, do you know what I need? I need to buy some, like, bike pants or something, dude.
It's possible.
When I was on the bike, like, going to my house the other day, where I got 3 cramps, I realized that I need to get, like, comfy bike seats. Like, either comfy bike seats or, like, comfy pants or bikes. Or, like, shorts or something, because holy crap.
Is going to be playing that hazard. They actually use that symmetric teleporter, try to get a bit of that positional advantage with their team, making it to the point first.
Oh, I can ride a bike. All right, so we're seeing that Farah comp here, which actually is kind of something I've been seeing more of on Well, is you go the Farah comp and you control the left side. Or, well, it depends what side you're looking at, but yeah.
When she finds an angle, you know, it's pretty nice. You know,
how long will this be, is what you're asking? A while. I'll be streaming quite a while again today, so if you need to get your drops, I got you. Don't worry.
A little bit more aggressive, peeking a lot more.
Yeah. But I think part of the strategy is actually just leaving the Pharah alone.
You watched the bingo where Lonnie came up with the card thing? Yep. Yeah, that was great.
In areas where the Pharah can be way less
I'm glad people like that.
With a lot of this splash damage. Oh my god, look at how fast this Sova moves around with the hyper.
Yeah, I don't mind the comp I once again here, by the way. It's actually not that bad. It's a little bit slower and kind of like I struggle in the comps that once again's playing. And when I struggle against, it's so much spam and randomness. When I say randomness, I don't mean like it's just spam. And like it could be the difference between maybe a random shots hit. Hey, you know, I recognize this Cassidy aim. No, never mind. A couple shots were hit. Never mind.
Which is wild because after we saw the D-Mech there, as well as this reposition from Fielder,
I mean, that came down to as simple as this. If Shy gets the kill on Hanbin there, probably a way different team fight. And sometimes it happens.
Up completely, going over to the Tracer instead. So I think that this is a signal. Okay, we're gonna give up on the EMP and then try to go from there. So Stalker has this.
Yeah, shape of the bike. See, well, the bike we got has pretty good reviews. I think I need to find something for it. Or maybe like the shape of it. Yeah.
Even this rush that Team Falcons can throw in to keep this point.
That is a really early rush from Fielder, but still.
I like the rush. Yeah, the idea with that rush is just to create space. Like you're not. Like, I think that was a perfectly fine rush. Anytime you win a team fight, it's like 15 to 20% guaranteed, if not more, off of the point percentage for your team. Why not? Why not play aggro there? Don't give them any time to set up.
But now this is where once again,
Inky Bear, thanks for the 3 months of the Prime, so thanks. Appreciate it.
Really measure up to this barrage. You've got these support ultimates.
Do they know he's coming, barrage?
Oh, they know.
Oh, what an impulsive shot.
Holy
there.
crap.
Stalker,
this is exactly what Falcons need to do in this situation. Is like you're just playing aggro. You're not going to sit there and you're not going to give time for once again to be able to set up the way they want to. You go in, you play very aggressive. You're going to have some team fights that don't go in your favor. You're going to have some team fights that are a little bit scuffed. But the overall idea behind all of that is that you're gonna win enough team fights that by the time they even get to the point, it's almost at 90%. Like, keep in mind, chat, once again, hasn't touched that point since the first team fight.
OT and final fight, like Team Falcons, they don't have any ultimates in the bank.
He said, "Why is he on on Diva?" Well, you got to remember that Winston's banned, right? So keep in mind, this isn't even the strongest that once again can play at. Now, chat, wasn't the best map for once again on Ilios? But the last team that we saw lose Ilios just made it to the upper bracket finals. So I'm just saying.
As we load in, Team Falcons banning Ana and a Mauga ban.
Okay, here we go.
Again, and there it is, Gooshway hovering.
So Mauga banned, and are we seeing the Hanbin Queen? I would not doubt it.
Yeah, I think it's also also possible Hanbin uses the queen to get the commanding shout, actually get everybody out of spawn, and then you could cycle through the speed ring.
Yeah.
But we'll see if the Junker Queen is the actual lock. I would be floored.
Decent against Winston sometimes. Knife, Gracie, very good at kind of dealing with the Winston dives. However, Hanbin, quick swap, and then proper on the Torb.
We saw this yesterday. Team Falcons actually got
We're seeing D.Va
boozled by this pick from AwCrap, and it was very much why we actually saw Team Falcons drop the map. Torbjorn is incredibly anti-tracer, which is something that they fully expected.
Torb is very good.
And another reason why, once again, probably wants to go to this map, right? Decent take on it. Gooshway is so low. Nice Suzu there from Monk, but look at
damn.
Stalker. Just Terminator.
Very rough start. Also, really good ban by Falcons.
Yeah, I mean, the Torbjorn in this
Because, like, you're just removing the possibility of, like, any on a brig, which is what's such a good ban. So, like, good job by Falcons so far with their bans.
You can't just go after Stalker because he's protected by a Torbjorn turret. You don't have very good diveable targets on this team.
Exactly. Who do you dive? Like, oh, I could dive Torb, he can see. Oh, you dive Cassidy, he's got the nade. Exactly. You got the bash, you got the whip shot. Tough comp to play into. They want to play fast, they got the Lucio. There's a rush coming up soon from Monk, a very early on.
Yeah, I would say you're going to rush right in. This is a really good rush. Shy might fall over there, though, because it looks like to be the target, but I think, like, this should be, I was going to say, that should be a team fight win for Falcons. Doesn't matter how good you are there. If you getting rushed on that early in, you're not going to have anything. They're going to stagger Hanbin. Stagger.
Okay, all good, yeah. Don't want to kill Hanbin too early.
This is the correct play.
Keep doing it. Keep booping him.
Yep.
Yeah, really good stagger there, but doesn't really net them maybe as much as you would hope that it would. Tom is going to be able to come back in pretty quickly, but I think what's really impressive about that is that once again we're able to win this with just the Kitsune Rush alone. At least it was so much extra work with this next fight, and they're playing really aggressive. I mean, Leaf is just like T-posing in front of the backline of Falcons with this ball spawn ready.
Yeah, was looking for it, but Falcons were not.
So once again has...
Self-destruct for Hanbin, that second
Ooh, they killed Shy. Good beat, though. I think they're going to commit Winston ult here if they don't lose Winston. There it is, yep.
Gooshway didn't receive the beat, but doesn't need it.
Doesn't need it, yeah.
He's got the Primal Rage and the Primal Blades coming out, juggling that Juno. She's 1 HP, but the
I mean, forcing out a Brig ult here is actually huge. You cannot flip the point, though.
Wiping a couple of tears.
That's going to be an issue, but they actually now they lost to Kiriko. As long as they don't lose anybody on the rotate out. Okay, they're good.
They do.
I think that Falcons are going to be aggressive and just pop their ults.
Once again.
He does manage to get away.
I don't know if they can get...
It's going to be a touch here, you'd imagine. Leave stepping up to try and get the OT.
It's so hard, though. I mean, yes, you have the blinks, but okay, Gushway's at least back.
Huge.
Stalker goes down to Shy them all.
Proper's low. They're going to have to all-in heal Proper, which means that...
It's going to tick down. Shy takes the skies. Almost had his head taken clean off.
D.Va has ult too, which is why Hanbin's playing aggressive. Is that D.Va has ult, so you're going to at least survive that.
Can they actually kill Hanbin? I'm not sure they can.
They won't be able to kill Hanbin. They just need to stay alive.
And once again, still don't have the point.
At the very worst, force out ultimates. They got Rush again. That's going to be a retake, by the way. They have to back away. They demech Hanbin too.
Good enough to be able to bully Team Falcons away, and the D-Su is very quickly following.
I think they might have this. They can't overextend and die to Torb here. Yep. Once again, takes first point.
And there it is. That's first point. Nice rush.
So that crowd, I mean, like I said, once again has home field advantage.
That nets him it, and they're in a decent spot to rotate as well.
They're going to have the sound barrier up as well soon. It's like, but Mew is only 10% away. You also have Lee that is kind of waiting right by that opening just for Team Falcons to walk through.
Yeah, I mean, Hanbin does a good job of clearing out areas, though, so that pulse may not be as effective. Now it could be. Now it can be, because Hanbin's playing a different angle.
So that would be one way that Team Falcons can actually bypass that ult and maybe force something else.
You said, is Juno worth it in this comp? Oh, yeah, Juno's good here. Juno Brig's good. Their team comp is fine.
He's going to try and deliver it first class. You can see, oh, he's going to the back.
Yep.
Nice eat, though, from Hanbin. Little 180. Read him like
good beat. They're going to be aggressive with beat.
Sound barrier invested, but here comes the orbital ray. Team Falcons, though,
nice kill by Shy.
Shy over peaks and secures a kill. That ray now escaping from Team Falcons. They still got the rally to
really good play by Hanbin. I think they're going to go, they're going to Kitsune this, though, and then pop Winston out. Or they're going to pop Winston out, then Kitsune. Yeah, either way, it's going to happen.
With yet another rush. lays it over the points. Molten Core fades
Honestly, this
away.
actually might be a team fight in favor of Falcons.
Just out-jukes GuXue there
Yeah.
over the top of the high ground.
Good play by Falcons there.
Rage is shut down.
It's a little too bad because GuXue actually just
Yep.
flew right outside of the limits of contesting the point. So unfortunately, Team Falcons
Very, very well
take
played.
it away without once again getting the full potential of the stall from that Primal Rage. They invest that in, and now Team Falcons are actually going to be able to match the percentage of once again and then some, as we have to start to look towards some of these other ults. Hanbin has this extra life here with this D.Va. But how is it going to fare against this overclock from Shy? Shy is hoping to find this angle, but Lee wants to shut that down alongside Copper's turret.
Hanbin was looking at him right there, making sure Shy doesn't get a free overclock off.
That is a really rough pick right there. They demech the D.Va at least, but like, they might have to back away. And Falcons recognize this. If Falcons just get one kill here, that's it. Yep.
And Monk, yeah, full
I don't even think Leave can tap point. I think you set up for next point.
I mean,
Yep.
that's just going to be a stagger that once again couldn't.
You just set up for next.
And so Team Falcons,
I mean, no. Set up for next. Unless Leave can tap point, you set up. Yep. Correct decision. That's the best play.
They can't contest now without that
Yep.
Kiriko. The fact that Monk got pushed off the edge there just means that once again can take a little bit of a closer fight because Monk has actually been able to reach back up.
Leave
to the
is.
team. So yeah, we're going early.
My guy
Yeah.
Stalker is flash fan hammering in 2025 and it's working.
Hey, listen.
Absolutely melted.
Right-click Randy's the way to go, okay? That's all I'm saying.
These compositions, Rose, with these dive comps, catching Team Falcon's comp, which is a slower moving comp on a rotation, is really good, but Falcons, they know they can just sit in that
Okay,
small
so aggressive Winston Altier with the possibility of a aggressive beat to go with it.
It certainly helps that they had that orbital ray at their disposal as well. Everybody was
Torvald's going to be used defensively.
And now we
There's the beat.
another fight quickly.
There's the aggression. They get a kill. They're going to pop Rig out. This is a huge fight for both teams. Yep. Because they both are committing a lot. The Torb's their target. Torb used Overload. They're gonna go for Torb.
Had no real chance of actually building
Yep.
up. Primal Rage even popped by GuXue. It's a scrappy fight and the point is unlocked. And no one is touching right now, by the way.
Oh, don't worry, Team Falcons heard you. They got there, but there is a contest. Once again, is still alive to make sure that they can actually keep this
Here we go.
point capture away from Team Falcons. And Monk has another Kitsune rush to help once again seal the deal.
Yeah, this guy's building him up like a madman right now.
It's because the Cassidy. You go, what do you mean? Why is that? Why is? How are they building up the ult because of the Cassidy? Because the Cassidy's doing a ton of damage all the time, but not enough to secure a kill. So the Kiriko just farms ults the whole time. No one's capped the point yet, by the way. Nice shot.
There it is. There's the kills. Eventually
Yep.
coming through.
So
Finally, by the way, chat,
so
the point
really
just got
crazy how
capped.
fast-paced these
Just so you know.
fights are. No. We saw them already take an early fight around the corner, and then we see the contest of the century here between these two teams before once again finally
All
wins
right.
that war. It cost them a lot. That overclock was that final piece that they needed to actually put a pin in it, but maybe GuXue gets his Primal Rage. Depends. I mean, once again, is already actually playing Quay.
Nothing's really happening. Okay, so Falcons has a lot of ults. Once again, may either disengage this or be really aggro.
Big deal as well.
But either way,
Slowly but surely, this boulder is rolling.
I think like this is a Team Falcons team fight win, unless once again makes a really good play. And that's okay. Listen, you're going to lose team fights. You're not going to win every point 100% to 0. Excellent disengage. And I think they have Leave on point for an extra second there.
No way. They don't want any of that. However,
Great disengage.
70% And they didn't lose anybody.
Problem?
That's just one final fight.
Yep, I was going to say. If I'm D.Va there, I am pushing that Sojourn. Yeah, this is a good aggression. You need to force out an ultimate if you can.
They might be able to force out ults.
Yep.
Yeah.
But Falcons knows that.
Too deep there, and again, this is
Yeah.
it. You lose Shy like that, you lose a lot of firepower. Normally like a little railgun shot to the body, followed up by the Winston.
Once again, needs to just reset.
Easy pickings,
Hanbin's
but as soon as
isolated
you
him.
lose that,
I'll go live on YouTube later, I will. It's just because I don't want to get copyright
Team Falcons
strikes.
have done a great job of being able to mark
So.
when those mobility cooldowns are offline. No power slide for Shy, easy pick. No swift step for Monk, that's going to be another stagger.
All right, here we go.
Once again, Monk actually has that Kitsune rush, so you have a way to really close the distance here with this Cassie. That's been a really great response mechanism that once again
Kitsune.
has used to make sure
It's Kitsune time.
doesn't have
Yep.
this sight.
This is going to force them back. They know they have a bunch of ults, and they know that Falcons have been basically aggressively...
Sound barrier's going to make sure they can just walk over it.
Nice stick.
Oh, what a stick.
That was huge.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know who's going to win this still because the back line still has good ults to survive.
A 4v5 on the point.
Yeah, but the problem is that they didn't have anything to be able to counter right away. They're going to all in the Winston and hope for the best.
Who's Matrix?
They know there's no ult.
Gonna run out.
Huge.
Same with his life. This overclock actually okay. I'm not sure about this one.
I agree. It's an ambitious overclock. Only positive note here is that they got the kills in overtime, which makes the retake a little bit more difficult.
Yeah, I actually don't hate that they use that here because they know if they're able to get these picks, they're staggered now.
They're gonna pressure D.Va early to. Yep, they know D.Va's going that way. Really good play by Hanbin. Hanbin faked them out.
Soccer's actually gonna use this Symmetra teleporter to hopefully be able to
Yep.
get everyone there, and there is a touch coming through from Hanbin.
They got you baited so hard by that. What a play by Hanbin. I love that. I love a play like that.
Straight across the point. How do once again respond? A quick bubble there on the
Like basically Hanbin flew that way. They all got distracted thinking Hanbin was touching the point from behind.
Slide, double slide. In fact, gets out of there. But for how long? He's 20 HP and he slinks away.
Great job by Hanbin, by the way.
Standing up to Hanbin, but he still manages to net the kill.
Good beat. This could allow them to dive the back line. Nice stick again. Got to trade on the baby D.Va though. That's gonna be the only way they can have a chance here. Even then, I think it might be tough. Kitsune. Now it's looking better. Brig Elt's really strong here, though. They're going to all in Brig. That's the correct play. Dude, this is such good Overwatch. Dude, these teams are so good. What a game.
2 points on the board.
What a game.
They're getting Chaser spawn now.
Oh my gosh, is Gushue gonna be able to hit the Primal Rage here too? Not after that pick onto Proper, but it wouldn't have surprised me one bit to see once again just invest another ultimate to win
Here we go.
out on the war. We're gonna be able to try to make their win.
Man.
But look at this, I mean, we see Team Falcons just make a whole pivot here. They are done playing around. Hanbin has decided it is time to try to match Gushue.
I'm gonna be honest with you, Korigami. I think you're getting, well, it's called one guide, but two guide right now with that one. I think they've just been having a discussion about their thoughts on rivals. That's it. And I don't think that's a general overall. I think the general vibe always here is play what you enjoy, have fun. That's what matters.
Once again, still want to go. Every single fight they're down a player, they always try to win the 4v5. Shy though, falls in the hands.
That's a reset.
Good encircling of Team Falcons.
Good job by
like
Proper there.
Before, tracking those slide cooldowns. Primal Rage from Gushue. It's not going to find much apart from a swift exit.
Did Han been on Winston? I'm telling you. I listen, chat. When I'm playing ranked, listen. Sometimes I can be definitely not one. Oh, that was like two people doing that. I might have missed some of the conversation. Either way, like general vibe here is to have fun playing what you play. So if your comment is all the comments here, etc. on that one, that's what I'm referencing. But that's it. You're good. No worries.
I know that the rest of my team is gonna have ultimates for this next fight.
Ooh, good pick.
No way!
Damn, if that was 1.2 seconds though, woo.
Generic leap there from Hanbin. They do trade, so it's a 4-on-4. Postman in the hands of Leave as the rush is pulled on the point from Monk. Geo down, okay. Falcons plugged out of the skies. Nice cleanup from Leave. Just going to donate field.
Nice job.
56% for Team Falcons.
Monk has been such a difference maker in every single one of these fights. He's charging up these Kitsune rushes like they're nothing. It's almost like it's on like a 20-second cooldown for him. And that is going to be a huge economical pressure to take. And Shy just brings it to him.
Oh, yeah. Show him a taste of that medicine. 2 kills for Shy. A very aggressive push.
But exactly what once again needs to keep this pressure onto Team Falcons.
This is really good play by once again here.
Set up, and if they can keep Team Falcons at bay from touching the point, then look at how much time they bought themselves. They only need 40% of another flashpoint to take this next one and this map.
All right, Falcons now splitting up. Kitsune rush on the point. Gushue doesn't have a lead for a couple
Good beat.
of seconds.
Good beat. Leave with a pulse. Probably got cleansed. Yep. Still though, Falcons use a ton of ults here. They're gonna all in. Still though, for once again here, I think you're okay with this. You're gonna build your ultimates up, and you're gonna reset and come back in with Winston ult and Kiriko ult. Like, they're gonna lose the team fight. They know that. This is an ult build fight. For once again, this is all planned.
Big reset, but the fact that once again I've already got 99% and other big ultimates out of Team Falcons, we're coming into this one with a pretty even fight. Another Kitsune rush from Monk. We've got the Primal Rage to at least extend to the point where that rush is going to be ready. So it comes down to whether or not Stalker can actually keep Team Falcons in this.
Yeah.
Final fight here, potentially.
Hanbin and Gushue both.
I mean, they're trying to build up their Kitsune. Also, chat. Oh, huge pick by Shy. Still kind of even. Hanbin has ult, and they know that, so they got to force it. There you go. I was going to say, Hanbin gets the kill. Oh, damn. Again, what's going on in that part of the map? What is happening? Why? What is that?
Oh my word, Mew! A complete evolution on the Lucio. And that's a 3-1 on Saravasa.
I think that's a 3-1. We got a game, chat.
Once again, they're going to tie.
Dude, this is some great Overwatch. I'm loving this. I am loving this.
Did you?
New drops again on Monday. So I think, if I'm correct, Megan said she's putting up some like Kiriko sprays and things like that because and like an extra tier skip just because like of the timing on the previous tier skip. I won't be live for the Monday drops. I'll be real with you. I need to take Monday off because I'm going hard in the paint again, Tuesday through probably Saturday. I also have a meeting because I have a sponsored stream next week also, like towards the end of the week. So I gotta do a meeting for that too. So
the biggest confidence boost you'd ever see. Looks like he's gonna rock it too. Leave on Farah though. Proper just TPing and then jumping to Tracer.
Actually, I have 2 sponsored streams next week.
Not being able to play Genji here means it's maybe a bit more predictable that you're going to see Proper on that Tracer. But I kind of wonder if there's ever a world where we do see Proper maybe even go Torpure, and that's just a potential extra piece to shut down this lead.
We have Mauga versus Mauga. This is what dreams are made of right here, baby. Let's go. This is what I was just hoping to see. If I don't get to see Mauga versus Mauga, I am fuming.
Hanbin is in trouble. Remember this.
No, Hanbin is not. Hanbin might fall over still, but I'm telling you right now, this is a part of their strategy. I'm telling you, this is the classic strategy Falcons will do. Hanbin will run to a corner. Everybody will get distracted by the Mauga. The moment you go away from the Mauga because you can't get the kill, Hanbin turns around, rinse and repeat.
Preferably last of how much sustain it gives out. It's just nuts.
I mean, the cardiac overdrive is actually really good for the Pharah as well. So I think
didn't they nerf him? Yeah, but the pro players can still maximize the value. Yeah.
Lineup that's going to be very closely followed together as well for
was in case we covered anything tonight. What crap? Is there anything like fairly quick to cover? I can do that in between a map or something if you want, or in between the next series. I can do that today. Yesterday I was a potato.
Against this Pharah. Look at this.
I just need to know, like, do you want me to do like the hero band blog?
Right now from Team Falcons, because it's very difficult to take this.
Is that the one you're thinking? I can do that in between the games.
So annoying, and you saw Stalker there just kind of aiming up.
Otis, thanks for the 40 months of the Prime. So thank you, Hiimishie. Thanks. Appreciate it. It's too long. Okay, the FAQ is fairly quick. Okay, I can do that. You're talking about the stadium one? Okay, and then I'll do the hero bands later. I got you. That works.
It's a patient waiting game. The Sojourns want to get an opening pick.
Yeah. I mean, even if somebody already does one of those videos, I still need to do some of those videos regardless. I can't. Otherwise, I would never do a video if somebody else did the video. No, it's a... Here we go. There it is. Hanbin's going to go in there. Good reaction, though, by the Pharah. And that's the right play, by the way, because that is generally the strategy that Falcons will do. The idea is Hanbin goes in, plays a corner, forces the team to turn, creates an angle. So that's how you prevent that. A good Pharah ultimate. So good play.
And they get a chance to actually start to match some of this progress. But that Pharah was just enough of a threat that Proper is going to give up the Tracer, go to Pharah as well, and we now have a complete mirror match between these two teams.
It's really hard for the Tracer to get a lot done there. Orbital Ray available from Chio. Monk a little bit further behind.
Any ults coming up here? Yeah, Falcons are going to take this. Sorry, let me rephrase that. Falcons are going to take map control. Doesn't necessarily mean they're going to win the team fight.
Team Falcons do go
first. They're going to go for it. Stalker, whoa, don't want to be there. Ends up backing up a little bit. Oh,
nice shot by Shy.
Okay. How about that damage boost now, eh?
There it is. There's the distraction strat. Didn't work again. Yep. There it is.
Shy's in trouble. We'll send the whole army to protect him.
Wow, I mean,
That's going to give the lead. Obviously, there's plenty of time.
Away from that orbital ray and hit yours later. Once again, we're able to win.
You said proper on Pharah. This is also why they banned. This is why they. I don't think proper is really bad at Pharah, but I definitely think. Obviously, if you have proper on your team, you want proper on.
Now that that's not
You know,
banned out for the first time in this series,
other
you can
heroes.
go over to the maybe this is gonna be a way
But
that you can
this
shut
is why
down
the Genji ban was important, because that's what proper probably would run here is the Genji to be a little bit more aggro, like as a flex strategy. So it's really good.
Yeah, really strong. Like
Not the mama. Thanks for the 2 months of the prime. So thank you, appreciate it.
does a decent amount.
Is that in reference to that dinosaur show from years ago?
Well, here comes the rally, and
We got a Venn diagram. I don't know who's gonna win this one. I couldn't.
just getting mincemeated in the front line. There's just no shot you
And Litos, thanks for the 4 months of the prime. So thank you. Who do I think will win this game? I don't know. I mean, obviously,
That's checkpoint for
once again is a good team. So is Falcons. So it's just a good matchup.
Isolated in that Venn diagram of pain, and there was just
There you go. See the Venn diagram. See?
to actually save his life. You can't step in there. You know you're just gonna get taken out. On top of that, checkpoint and then some. As once again, keep rounding this corner. Leave with another barrage. Watch out for when Gushue has this cardiac overdrive available. But Stalker has this overclock.
There's a
So
barrage
once again,
too
I am early, yes, because
they
of
know
OWCS.
there's a lot of damage that could come through from Falcons.
Yep. Play safe now. Once again, play safe.
It's on a really good angle.
They're going to control map. You see this corner right here? This is exactly how you want to play this. Because think about this. Falcons need to make a play. So, for once again, you're saying, hey, we have map control. We have advantage here with the high ground.
Falcons can
Push the
penetrate
bot.
first, but it's about the
But good luck, because we're going to play the corner. So right now, it's going to be about building Juno
Soon.
ultimate and then going in.
I also know that Team Falcons are probably pretty close to this nano. So it's kind of like, okay, well, if we can keep you at bay here, maybe we lose one.
Just once again, go
but
for
then
it.
we get
I
to
don't
go
even.
to a
I
game.
like playing aggressive. I think you wait.
Use as many ultimates as possible.
I
Team
think you
Falcons
legitimately
will
buy as
focus
much time
on
as you can here. That's exactly how they're playing it.
Slowly but surely. It's just basically, people are just building ult.
Yeah, I mean, that's literally what it is. Now the downs are ult. They're going to pop Juno ult or Nano. I don't know which one yet.
Here you go. Here's the- oh,
I love that play by Leave.
on top of Stalker.
I love that play.
Coming, did ya?
What a...
Barrage double
Honestly,
kill. Oh,
chat, as
proper.
Falcons right there, by the way,
My boy.
I don't even... Like, you saw pretty much every vision they had. I don't think you could have predicted that. I think Leave made a great play. Also, I imagine on LAN, it's even harder to hear the Pharah. I barely can hear Pharah
You saw the Nano boost
at
come
my
out, and then
at-home
all of a
setup
sudden,
with,
all of
like,
the health just
you know,
disappears.
not a
There's
crowd
no
cheering and a bunch of noise and, like, having the sound be off. Now imagine that in a game at LAN. At Pharah, probably you don't even hear them half the time. You literally won't even hear them.
Again. And now they've got the orbital ray to be able to match that of Chios, and they're still holding strong on this corner.
There's the L. They're going to run away. They might lose their brig there.
Fortunately for Mew, he ends up going down
Yep.
first. Later, Ray might be good though.
It's good enough. Yeah, they're going to force them back a little bit, but now they have to just reset. This is a die on card situation now for a bot. Swansea, thanks for the Prime Step, thank you, appreciate you don't filter in the crowd noise in your headphones as you play. So what you do is they have like the earphones, so you can see it. They have the cover, which is the noise canceling, and then you have like your. Yeah, they probably let the players have their own version. The problem is the sound ain't that good. It just ain't. Like it's good as good can be for like a LAN setting, but it's not. It still sounds like it's not as good as if you're just sitting there. Like it's hard to like do that. If they're using the same stuff that I've used whenever I've done that stuff.
Like they're playing a mill deck right now. They've got the cage on
Should be a good brig ult here. I like that.
Another swift disengage there. Team Falcons.
Ooh, gonna slow play it. Back away to the corner right here and slow play it. Yep.
Little bit more appetizing for Team Falcons, and there you go. Deployed.
Correct play not to use it. Very smart play by once again, because watch them. They're all gonna spawn up in about 2 seconds. Get ready. Because they got the checkpoint. Now they have a better retake. They're gonna spawn up now. See, quick spawn. That's the benefit to capping the point later.
Once again, Mew is actually gonna make a pivot, go over to the
probably. Those headphones probably still exist. I don't use them, but
great way to try to shut down some of these ultimates that could come in clutch. Maybe it's gonna be a sleep dart across the map. They're gonna actually take out the CPS.
pop the ult. You have to. You can't wait too long unless you're just trying to play. Yeah. Good trade by Stalker though, and Proper gets the kill. Oh no. That's the lead for Falcons, I think. You can't hold on to the lead. You just got to reset and win. Yep.
Mew is actually able to get a big pick onto Fielder.
It's still, you can't, the reason why you got the pick on Fielder was because of the good position and not because you didn't go to the point.
With the lead already garnered from Team Falcons,
that was the correct decision. It sucks being in that position that, like, for the team, but that is the correct decision.
And we are going to see some swaps again
Yep.
from Team Falcons. You've got the Kiriko now, as well as potentially a mystery hero pick coming out from Proper to see if this is going to be what gets them through. Symmetric
Probably cost Parabellum for, like, the best ones.
To
That's my
hopefully
guess.
Make sure that this orbital ray is going to be the final one of the game here for Chio.
Orbital Ray
was really the ally of once again throughout the majority of this map, but now it is their enemy. They've got a
Orbital Ray now, and then Honor Grenade theirs.
Is going to be what makes the difference.
Nice shot by Chio.
Sleeve out of the sky, and this is a decisive win by Team Falcons.
It is. Yep.
There's a couple of people still up.
I mean, Shy gets a good kill.
Slip away, but
Those kills by Shy are very important right now, by the way, chat.
40 seconds now, Rose, but Gooshway's still up. Cardiac overdrive actually allowing him to stay alive.
Yeah, get out of there, go to this corner. They're not going to be able to predict that you're not. Wow. That was huge.
And just having even just a couple of picks here, I mean, yes, this is going to be an overtime, but there's a Nano. Gooshway can build up to Cage. Shy's going to have this overclock. There's still a win.
That was huge.
Once again, even though their backs are against this wall and this time bank.
Nano Sojourn? Or Pharah? Probably Nano Sojourn or Pharah. I don't think you Nano the Mauga. You can. I don't think that's a necessity. Now you have to because the Mauga went to one shot. Excellent Nano. Hanman's going to be low, but don't fall for that. Yep. Excellent decision, by the way.
Team Falcons still have that lead, but once again, they're
I actually think they lose. I don't think they have a good touch. I think the game might be over. That's it. You can just pop Cage. Yep. It doesn't matter. Once again, takes a 2-1 lead. Now, to point out to you, by the way, chat, the reason why, remember how I mentioned at the beginning, what Falcons like to do is pull you away from the team with aggressive Mauga play. The idea is to bait you into turning around for the Mauga. So when that Mauga went to the outside health pack, generally what teams do is they chase the Mauga and then Falcons win. Once again, it's like, nope. That was the correct decision, and that was the difference maker. If they chase the Mauga there, I don't know if they win that. Because that's usually where Falcons bait you. That's usually where they'll bait you away, and then that's where they win. Excellent play.
Absolutely.
So they're subbing in a tank, different tank for this. So I'm expecting more of that Sigma, probably. Kind of what I'm expecting. They banned Ramatra and May. Ooh. I wonder why the May. Is that a protection pick or is a May comp happening on this map? I think May happens on this map because that was mentioned also in the cast. This is an interesting day today so far, huh?
Team Falcons pick their potential final lifeline.
Here we go.
This series, Liga.
Are we seeing Diva versus Diva? Is that happening?
And a Mayban on their side. Rose and a Ram.
Are we seeing Diva versus Diva on Circuit Royale?
Because I know the desk was talking about the Mayban, but I feel like Team Falcons were very good at shutting that down when they were playing just a little bit ago. I feel like we did see, once again. Yeah, they were able to force Jwoo out of Ice Block so early. I felt like the May was
here we go.
Not as big of a deal as warranting a particular ban, but
so they did play against May on that, yeah.
It's going to be Liga that actually does come out on the
Fuzzbiz, thanks for the 25 months of the Tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it, Fuzz.
For the Chinese region, very good at both Sigma and the Diva, but I think just knowing that...
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised by a mirror match here, too. Like, I definitely didn't expect to see both teams running this, like, comp, but hey, Diva versus Diva, I ain't complaining.
Mew going a little too aggro, though. As always, you got to expect him just
I wonder if, like, Falcons are more comfortable with, like, playing the Diva comp here when they know they're not going to go up against a Winston.
Bit of a weird spot now for Team Falcons to play.
Right? Like, they know they're not going to play against a Winston.
No, they have to back up, and I think Proper is in a lot of threat of actually getting caught out. You can see Hanbin is actually trying to play protection.
Good moves.
Yep. Yeah, this is just solid play. Both teams are back. This angle is so good for the attacking team.
This is where they want to play, in the midpoint. Force Team Falcons.
I actually think Leave might be out of cooldowns for a bit.
Straight above once again. Okay, yeah, Leave is there with the check.
Here we go. Huge shots.
He was very close to this rally. In fact, all supports very close to their ults. Slowly but surely, once again, we've kind of slowed the pace down of these comps. Though. No investment here from once again.
Yeah, just reset.
Ooh, Liga gets desuited though.
If you can, like...
He's so deep. He's so deep. He's going to self-destruct.
I was going to say, that's actually a good force by once again right there.
Yeah, he's all good.
That was a really good job. Oh, no. They popped the Brig out to try to get Hanbin. Hanbin's aggression actually leads to an even better play for across the board. Even better than the kill. A Brig out for a Diva ult? I'll take that any day of the week. And a one-team fight? I'm totally fine with that.
You're not really losing too much, but time is starting to tick away. This orbital rays haven't been launched out either.
Yeah, 2 minutes, Rose. We're on the
this is crazy.
Like second corner of circuit.
Oh, no. They did not shy away from going aggressive there.
A little bit sooner than that. Both orbital rays coming in, and Shy is just a century gun right now. Standing still.
It's like watching me play Sojourn, except the shots actually hit.
There it is. There's the team kill. 1 minute and 30. As they do cap this first.
We got Blade. They might not.
Touch.
They might go for it. I think they can go for this.
You've got Shy and Leave that are both playing Doorkeeper.
They might want to try.
They're going to go for it. It's not even a might try. They're going to go for it. They're going to have Genji take point. Deflect point. Diva makes it there.
It's actually just going to try and find Proper, but later Blade and a later overclock for Team Falcons.
Yeah, I never really questioned if Falcons was going to touch that. Yeah, you could tell that was going to happen.
Yeah, there's not going to be a point capture.
Especially when you saw Proper move up there. You knew they were going to go with a deflect the Genji and then hope you win it. So, good job.
All the way back to your spawn. You're starting to run out of time with only 45 seconds remaining. And to your
Diva ult, Brig ult for once again. So they have... Falcons are going to build Brig ult quickly and they're going to go in.
I mean, but it's such a tough...
That's why they're doing this, is to get the ultimate for Fielder. Now they're going to Brig ult. Yep. Correct play. And they have to counter Brig ult, which is the correct play also. Nice shot by Leave.
Just kind of laying waste to Falcons right now. That payload has trickled back, but it shouldn't be too meaningful. Although Team Falcons still have another.
Falcons can definitely retake that, yes.
Hanbin is still alive on the
and Hanbin, I mean, not Hanbin, but like, I didn't see who got the pick, but like, they also, they're down a Juno. So now they have to play defensive until their Juno gets back to hopefully build the ult in time. And this is also going to be a timing for Chio to like build up a ton of ult charge.
Orbital ray available for Monk in about 10%. They need to be able to survive to make good use of it. That's going to be the win condition
right now. Go.
Again, here it is.
This is their time, and they have a slight time to just win it right here to win the team fight. Chio's going to come right now with a counter, I think. Nope, no counter. They got the Brig. So this is intense. This is intense.
Pretty slow pace.
I love it though.
Both teams slowing things down.
Well, you have to slow it down there because they were down a Juno.
Because they have this Juno and this Brig backline. You're kind of
they were down a Juno, so that was the correct play. Very, very well played.
To your opponent. It's gonna look very different because in a lot of cases with the Winston, you're looking at the Winston trying to be the initiator. But with these Divas and with these,
well, with Diva, you have to play like this weird, like
to actually get a pick.
Aggressive but also not aggressive play style, which can be frustrating.
Once again, want to play close.
Yeah, Team Falcons are actually split right now. There's a couple near the gazebo on the left-hand side. There's the orbital ray.
Yep.
Shy ends up backing up, but look at the health bars from once again. Very, very low, and Proper's going to make good use of this moment. He's still got the dash too, can get straight on top of the Sojourn. Dodges out the way, the self-destruct that was launched into the skies, but now it's Stalker's turn.
Stalker's going for a flank, which again, this is fine. I don't, like, you knew that Falcons were going to have ults, so got to get the ults out somehow, right?
And now we're in the same spot as we were before, Rose. We got 1 minute and 30 left.
But it's just the patience game. Once again, still has this Blade.
It really is patience here.
Rally as well
Blade coming up.
So it's going to be
Brig.
to slice through this front line. Yeah, they've already popped it.
Oh my word, yeah, Mew popping that rally way more defensively. The Blade's going to come out now. Good bash and a good headshot from Stalker. Leave had one more slash.
What else can you say? Sometimes you just hit a good bash. Good play by Falcons here, playing very aggressive, very brawly.
Still going away of Team Falcons, and with less than a minute remaining, once again, actually need to just find a way to get out of the doors. It might be off the back of Monk getting this orbital ray to just get out of spawn. Team Falcons were playing so far forward. This time around, they actually used.
I just don't know what's gonna happen yet. I mean, they're gonna use Juno ultimate, but they don't have it yet. So, is there a timing where they be aggressive? Exactly what's happening. I love this play. Excellent play by Falcons. They didn't really show it from that angle with the spectator, but basically what happened is they recognized that Juno was behind the wall, saw they were out of position, and they led right in. Like I think the Brig was in first. So that's gonna buy them enough time to basically be able to counter out. And now it's down to another one team fight again for here. So we'll see.
That can also help to equalize this particular fight, but Shio has the response mechanism. It's gonna be really tough to fight Ray versus Ray.
Gash always do a good job. What do you mean?
It's like these instant kills, that's what you need, but Mew is already dead. Shy's positioning's decent in the Ray, but Proper plucks him out of the sky. Shy thought he was safe, but no one is safe when Proper's on the Genji. OT here, and he's just guarding the.
I mean, what can you say? Really, really good play by Falcons here. But the thing is, I still think this game is far from over. Like straight up, like I think this game is far from over right now.
As once again, they're only going to get a single point on the
because
board.
like it's this comp, unless they get stomped, which there's a very high possibility they could get stomped. Like I'm not going to say that they don't just fall over right away. Like that very much could happen.
Not only was it an overtime,
right? But this is intense. I'm loving it.
Every ultimate that we saw
I'm loving
once
it.
again throw into the fight was just answered in kind and then some. There was so much value that Team Falcons was able to get out of every single team fight.
A couple of moments there as well. Mew is getting punished.
Yeah.
You spoke about before, and the Desk touched on it a little bit too. Getting the Mei out of the hero pool allows Mew to be aggressive on the Brig. Likes to play up. But Falcons have recognized this. Fielder is either there with a rally bash of his own, or Falcons are waiting for Mew to step his little pinky toe over this imaginary line, and then they can ascend on him.
Yeah, I mean, Mew has been playing very aggressive. Like, if it's been on the Lucio,
all right, here we go.
Mew has
is this with bans? This isn't with the new hero band thing they've talked about.
Of those, you know, just the skates.
Here we go.
Around. You get to play a high ground, whatever else.
Crowd still behind once again. Match point still in their favor.
Here we go.
Stalker
I'm ready.
With the Widow. Okay, just Ian. They're not going to give him a chance to get that kill.
Diva versus Diva. Who takes it?
Hanbin's already out of the gates here. Trying to play around this defensive corner, making it very difficult for once again to actually get this set up. They're already getting pushed back so far because Proper is actually playing tank mode.
Yeah, he's literally running in front of Hanbin right now.
Well, that's why they like the Genji comp. You do, like even in the Mauga comp, you do the same thing. You basically play as a deflect to get space control.
But this is the Falcons we want to see. We want to see them just crank.
This is normal for this to happen here. This is what we saw last time you get to this area.
Look at Proper's positioning too. They're kind of ignoring him right now. There's a couple of
They have to ignore him right now.
He's very safe.
Doesn't have deflect, and they know that. So Genji might get
once again right now, not giving Proper the respect he deserves. And that's going to be a
huge DMAC.
I mean,
great AoE too by Shy. And there you go. As I said, this wasn't going to be an easy take. They weren't going to steamroll it right away. It's not that easy.
This is still a winnable map for once.
Brig ult all ready for once again. If I'm once again, I play close and I brig ult the moment they get there.
Doesn't mean that we can't see once again actually get a full hold here.
But they might just be saving it to play it safe. We'll see what their play style.
And with once again actually going to be the first team to an ultimate, they get to play aggressive. Mew has this rally.
He's got rally already.
Yeah, just get up close and personal and pop the rally.
I agree.
Ray's not far behind either for once again.
There it is.
Look at Mew straight in the front line.
Yep.
Good bash. Multiman's down there. Yeah, Fielder.
No reason not to do that. Right? Buy yourself a little bit of extra time. Get the cart moving back a little bit. They're going to stagger Hanbin as much as they can.
Okay, that's good.
One ult for a team fight win.
But 2 minutes
pretty good.
To go. This is where we saw once again.
Probably Juno ult and
just not too long ago.
Blade maybe?
And they struggle to actually
maybe?
be able to get to that first point. There's still ults for once again. They can just throw the orbital ray. Chio is still trailing behind just ever so slightly. And so that Monk can just go down mid with this.
It's going to be a big ult
Yep.
fight. Orbital Rage.
There's the Blade.
1% away, by the way. Blade has been popped by Leaf. They're not going to need too much
Excellent, excellent decision making.
Falcons a little bit further behind in terms of support ultimates there.
Yep.
And the clock is
okay. So this is Team Falcons team fight to
20
lose.
seconds to go, Rose.
Or to win, basically. They should not lose this team fight. Once again, should not be able to win this. They're probably going to play aggro. Yep.
They do end up popping the rally actually and stunning, leaving the front line, but they managed to get
That was a great decision. Now maybe pop a Diva ult, like, defensively.
Good peel there, but here comes the peel you really need.
Probably just ult your backline, right? But even then, it might not be a good idea. Okay, Chad, they didn't show it, but Diva ended up on the card for a little bit and delayed it. So if they can get out of here and not die to this play, nope. Excellent play by Falcons. They're still going to recontest. Diva has ult. Juno spawned up, so you have a speed ring. Diva has ult. They're going for this. There's no reason not to. Oh, I tried. They tried. Has to save self-destruct, yep.
He's going to get into the mech again, and they're just going to leave him too.
Yeah. Has to run to the point and die.
Once again, they've got this self-destruct, but look at how far Team Falcons are playing up right now.
Yeah, you want to play up because you want to deny the space. Honestly, I wouldn't even doubt if they do an aggressive Diva ult. I think they want to win it here.
Too far away from being able to get the touch, and especially as a full team of 5.
They're waiting on speed ring.
You didn't have that 5v5, but now it's
there it is. Now they're going to go in.
At the end. Once again, does have a lot of tools to work with. They got the rally, so they can go in pretty well with a contest.
Okay, Falcons, they're going to say, okay, back off, we're good. Although saying that, self-destruct in the sky, Harbin.
Wow, that was one of those like really like scary self-destructs because I didn't know where that was going to land either. I didn't even know where that was going to land. I was like, what?
Once again, they lose a lot of that damage.
I mean, if they can survive this for a second. Ooh, they get the kill on proper. And Stalker survives.
Self-destruct is going to guarantee the
oh, good Diva ult.
Positioning there from you, using that shield to
yep.
Baby Diva.
Now they get the kills. They don't want to use Juno ultimate, but they'll use it if they have to. Now they have to. It's officially in have-to mode. Yep.
Desperation orbital right here. They gotta find picks. Good Matrix, unbelievable Matrix in fact from Harbin, keeping Stalker up, and then Fielder with a late rally.
Yeah, Leaves dead there. I think this is it. I think Falcons is gonna win right here.
They got left out to try there as Liga just ran away
yep.
from the fight. And now once again,
what a series though.
No, they got nothing, Rose. They got absolutely nothing. Team Falcons are gonna walk this one in. Once again, we're going to a map number 5. Team Falcons, yep, there's no touch. And there it is.
By the way, crap. If you want to tell DVD and go to bed, you can, because these maps are going long. And they're gonna take. I guarantee they're gonna take a little bit of time in between this, but I can't predict that. So
certainly putting in the work here to make sure that these teams are ready and on point.
Okay, here we go.
Point for both sides. Team Falcons, and once again, going to the decider map. Esperanza. And 2 very different teams in terms of style.
So we still have 2 really good matches today, too. This is great.
Coming to loggerhead here, Harbin on
Sparkle? Yeah, Sparkle's been coaching for a while, yeah.
Winston.
All right, here we go.
Even start to imagine the type of pressure both of these teams are now feeling, knowing it's one map that separates them from either continuing their run in this winner's bracket or having a life taken. Okay,
so they are running the Winston comp. We knew that was going to happen. So it's Winston versus Mauga. We have 2 teams playing to their strengths. Ammo, thanks for the 75 months of the Prime sub. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks. One team who loves the Mauga comp, one team who loves the Winston comp.
The bot itself.
When did CR and Nightmare play? Earlier, Nightmare 1-3-1.
But there's another difference between these 2 teams, and Leave on the Tracer and Proper on this Genji. You have some good access to the backline, but of course these teams are going to be playing a little bit different. Proper might try to play a little bit closer to the Smelga.
Yep, they're going to slow play. This is normal. Not much is going to happen. This 8 meters doesn't matter much for either team. You just slow play it. Falcons are up a little bit on Kitsune, by the way.
Slippery targets all around. Not really a clear dive target here for once again.
Well, you can't dive here. You build Kitsune and then go in, or you get a kill with your Sojourn. That's why they're not diving. There's no dive that can happen here. because the Mauga can just peel.
This series has
You're just building Kitsune. You're building Kitsune, and if your Sojourn gets a pick, then you go in aggressively.
Soccer whiff and a miss with that first charge railgun shot.
Yep.
So maybe now it's on Proper to try to find this angle as well.
Hanbin took a little bit extra damage there on purpose to be able to build up this Kitsune. Get ready. Oh, they're gonna Kitsune like
you said, just poking away.
Right now, maybe 3 seconds after, waiting on a cooldown or two. Now.
Expect this. Well, they should now because that's a big stomp into the back.
Yep. There it
rush.
is.
However, the bubble. Oh, that was close. Hanbin almost going.
They trade one. They have their own Kitsune if they want to pop it, but I don't think they will. I think they're okay with.
That rush stands in their way.
I think they're okay with giving this up for now, unless they have an opportunity here. There's an opening here.
Start this progress for Team Falcons.
Yeah, no.
Push bot.
It's very smart to wait. They also have a pick. Falcons are going to back up to high.
And now we're going to see Proper actually change from that Genji over to this Tracer.
You know, Stalker used the slide too, so that's your timing. Yep.
Easy followed up though. Sound barrier connects from Chio, but not in
Hanbin's
time.
one.
Now Hanbin's isolated alone.
Yep, good job.
Seething on the point. As Leave just running rings around him. Okay, now it's their turn.
Huge. And there you go.
Still so spicy with it. 7.5 minutes.
Pretty much played how you would expect it to be played.
Fight for them as well. So like, if it's not going to be
slow play it,
it's going to be the lead after this next fight. They can absolutely push themselves past this. But yeah, Leaf is just disgusting. I mean, you force out the Suzu.
Don't go for the Pulse yet. You probably get Winston to force out Suzu here and then go for Pulse. You could actually get away with forcing out Suzu. Problem I'm concerned about is if Hyman gets ult here or if Stalker gets the ult off first. Once again, needs to probably... I mean, you don't have to, but I would do it.
Shy's on like such a good angle too. It's just going to be so tough.
Yeah, there it is.
Well, there's the overclock.
Hanbin
has no business staying around.
Did Hanbin get stuck there? What happened?
Economical ult here, just that singular one is going to be good for maybe even a checkpoint. Well,
back away.
Actually,
don't even go for anything. Yeah.
Stalker gets no value, has to run
Keep
away.
the bot going here too, and then have Winston. Yeah. Winston's gonna go back in with ult in a second.
Be able to capture this checkpoint from here as well. You would imagine there's a Kitsune rush that Fielder could throw from behind.
Gotta get out of there, otherwise you're gonna get
to be able to help contest this point.
They know it too. Huge pick.
It was close, but he still chased it.
They're gonna win this. They're gonna get checkpoint.
Has already found two. Oh, make that a third. He still got it. That's gonna be checkpoint for once again.
Let's go. When do I think Sojourn should ult? Like, what should the situation be? Cooldowns, if they're used, can they escape you? Do you have a free kill in front of you? That's generally what it is.
Collected in those moments as well. Monk has a Kitsune rush. This is the perfect.
This is a tough one because I think once again wants to Kitsune this, but Team Falcons have Mauga ultimate. So like, what's the correct decision here? I don't know. Probably go top left high ground, play safe for a little bit, and then just kind of wait for Team Falcons to make a play, and I think that's exactly what's happening. Yep. Play bridge. Can't really get through the choke. Oh, no. The debate. Now Kitsune in.
Are you listening? Are
yep.
you seeing this? You can't step up to Gushue in front of a home
that hit? How?
You get sat down.
I guess it was in a spot. That looked like it wasn't going to hit.
Leave still shooting.
I mean, what a play. You didn't get to see it with that but basically Winston jumped into the air as a predicted play and then stopped the ult from getting Winston. And then you just turn with Kitsune. Okay, Falcons might get a little bit on edge here and just pop beat. I think they're in a spot where nope, never mind. No beat.
And so once again, but they still have to sustain.
They're going to back away and reset to high. Yep. Because you can take the team fight in the middle at the little, the archway, or you can fight it at the middle. It depends when their teammate's back. See, the little archway? They're basically around there, but they can because they're waiting on their teammate. Now they're going to engage middle with... You could beat in Sojourn ult here. Or Sojourn ult, force beat, and then counter beat.
Still have 3 ultimates in their bank. Double support ultimates here for Team Falcons makes it look a little bit better depending on this team. Kitsune rush.
Soundbarrier's going to come in for both
There's a counter beat.
Shy still on a nice little angle. That's a really good headshot. Stalker in trouble. Shy.
Even if you trade out, leave.
No way. A double post bomb kill on the back line. There is nothing stopping once again now.
Okay.
A team kill. The crowd erupts.
And look at once again, by the way.
I gotta see this. Oh, we saw Hiimishie get stuck.
So Mauga got stuck and then killed the back line.
Team down with
I mean, if you're...
We're gonna see once again take back control of this payload.
You pop this Kitsune and you go in because you know you have that advantage.
It's looking good here for once again to keep the lead.
Oh, they're all set up for it too.
Even in this next fight.
Now.
Proper knees here, pokes one with a sentry, but Gio's already dead. Stop with the front line.
Oh my, dude. I am surprised the Kiriko didn't die there because the slam hit. Good job. Yep. That's going to get him to 100+ meters.
There's 3 minutes.
Yep.
Time's a ticking for Falcons.
Team Falcons have double DPS ultimates though. Don't want to count them out of this fight just yet, especially because Hiimishie is also...
They're not really out of the fight. No, they're not going to get 100 meters, by the way, chat.
Pressure onto Team Falcons. Do they even have time to actually set up...
Nope, you're just going to play high ground. Play choke. Play choke. Put everybody on the bridge. If you lose the team fight, it's still better than losing it later on with the ult. This is the correct play by once again, by the way. Exactly the correct play. Yeah, that Hiimishie wasn't falling for that this time.
Hiimishie looking to bait that cage again, you've got to imagine. Hiimishie trying to step up for it.
Next drop down, Hiimishie's hitting that button, by the way, just so you know.
For Team Falcons, but once again slowing it down.
They're just making this rotation as well as they see Hiimishie
Yeah.
go in.
Cage connects.
Still able to go for a couple kills here, and that's going to be the most important part.
Primal Rage.
If you can get even the Sojourn here with Winston, that's a win. Get the health pack, get out. Yep.
Once again, and
That was good. Any kill there is important for once again.
Here, and that is devastating for once again because Team Falcons.
I didn't actually see if the Lucio beat didn't get off.
Brunasapi, isn't it? We're gonna see Team
They're going to tap
Falcons
one more
start
time
to
here because they're going to get the good
control
spawns that we
their
mentioned
basic
earlier.
attacks that can come through for once again,
Leave his tap and
and
point as
there's
much as
still
possible.
DPS ultimates to
Winston's
play
going to
around.
slow play.
But it's Team
Again, that
Falcons,
early
they're
pick, it doesn't
gonna
allow
try
for them to
to
keep
keep
map
very
control.
close to getting both of these support
Shy needs to get out of there. This
which
is
could
exactly what
just be
Shy
the
does.
difference maker, But once again, have stolen the bot away. We're gonna play in the neutral here.
Yep.
Lee dodges out of the way of that stomp. Team Falcons as well. Proper and Sorka have been holding on to these ultras for so long. Hiimishie's out of there. They know they don't have cage.
Give him the checkpoint
so
now.
no fear of like.
Yeah, you don't have no, don't give him a checkpoint. Don't give him a checkpoint. Yep, this is the correct play.
The, post bombs. Oh,
This is correct. This is correct, chat.
Sleeve, I think, in fact,
I want you to watch the spawns of once again. Just watch. You notice that? That's why that play is correct. Because you can get ults out, you at least trade them out, and then now you can get back in, and you get good spawns.
Leave has been able to make big hero plays in these last couple of maps. Can he do it here in the final minute of this map?
I mean, leave.
And maybe bring once again the victory
I don't-
they have so craved in this tournament so far.
Leaves on the high ground right now. He's going to get checked by Chio. Actually hits the recall fairly early. 3 meters to go. They need to touch. Okay, one deployed there from once again, but their health bars are falling pretty low.
They might lose their Winston, yeah.
And Shy down.
Yeah, they lost the lead at the end. Oh, no.
Around potentially the final
Oh,
corner.
no. Leave does get a kill, but I don't know if it's going to be enough. Gotta back away.
And 24 seconds remaining as Team Falcons start to inch towards this once again spawn. The lead has slipped away. The win might be as well.
The miracle comeback from Team Falcons right now in action. There's 10 seconds to go. They're on a good pace, though. They're on their side of the map. But Team Falcons,
How's the ults looking?
this fight. They don't mind. They have the lead. It requires perfection from once again.
I think, unfortunately, for
But with
once
the
again, they have to
home
win
crowd
3
behind
team
them,
fights.
It is incredibly possible. Overtime has started their wick.
On paper, once again, should win this next one. My concern is the team fight after that.
Again, are going to be the first team to have more ultimates in their bank, and maybe that is the advantage that they need. But they can't.
That's my concern here. Good job by Hiimishie getting there.
Gushway's entered into the back line. He's ready to go with the Primal Rage. He manages to bash Stalker around. He's still got 2 dashes to spare, though. And Gushway's just
Gotta pop beat.
absolutely melted in the
Nope,
front line.
okay. Good job surviving that.
And a rush to utilize, however,
There's the beat.
once again.
They all in Hiimishie, they actually win this, but I don't know if they know that just now. Yep. They get beat, they have the counter, now you're going to get double Kitsune. I want to say that Falcons clutch this out. Unless Leave hits some like crazy pulse bomb.
Leave with a post bomb, but a Sisyphean effort is required from the
That's
traitor
it.
god.
Yeah.
But it's not enough. Proper shuts him down, and once again, get eliminated in the 5th map.
What a game. Also, I don't think you want to be the Dude, this loser bracket is looking rough.
Managed to clutch a win in map 5.
This loser bracket is rough regardless.
That was
VP has to play
so
against
close.
VP, has to play against CR,
So close.
and now SSG has to play against once again.
Seconds away from delivering.
You randomly walked into this Overwatch stream? That's random. What happened to franchises, all that stuff? So they ended up, OWL ended up going away like last year, and they brought in OWCS and then kind of redoing their esports. Yeah. So now orgs are in here. They have like a share with the orgs now, like a whole thing. Like I couldn't give you the full details, but
number 1 seed now over to EMEA's number 1 seed. Two teams though that are so vastly different in playstyle.
Yes.
Crazy Raccoon have to reset themselves now for a very different foe.
And quickly overlooking, looking through the bans here, right? So it'll be the Diva that is banned by Crazy Raccoon.
Millen, thanks for the 30 ammo to chain one. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks.
Is obviously piloted to great success. And then,
It's more, yeah, more of the traditional esport you're used to, which I think is probably the correct play.
Oh, you've got to respect this, playing so close to the
Really good start here, by the way.
Jaguar's able to get in there and just emerge.
They go right in, get a free pick on the expected Orisa.
This is really the perfect battle.
Also, VP did exactly what we said. Played very aggressive. Very aggressive.
Attacking that back line, right? If you're gonna play
Yep.
a lot of different things in your
And they're already off of Orisa and switched to Winston.
So good as a duo, you get rid of that Lucio, right? Takes that speed
Yep.
out of the game, and then you can play this like Ramatra type of setup. That VP is totally comfortable doing.
And CR banned Diva because they know Vistola will go Diva, but doesn't have the best Winston, right? So you can play around that a little bit. Remember, just play at a good pace. And you got to play at a good pace here. They're going to all in for a bit on the venture, not the venture, the Ooh, that was close. They're going to all in the Ramatra is what I meant to say. Cass is probably dead soon. No safe spot to go. Yep.
Yeah, they disengage their VP.
Problem there is that they let CR get the point again. And they gave him a bunch of space, and this is what I'm talking about. Is they started off really aggressive, and then they went into a defensive mode, and then they get grinded down by CR. CR wants you to play that way. Don't think you've ever seen my bingo stuff? My YouTube has a lot of bingo videos. You can just go to playlists, and you'll see what we're talking about.
You're looking at a big orbital array potentially from Gala.
So an opportunity for Virtus.pro to take stock of things now as the score draws even. Deadeye here for Shockwave. Really only looking for some damage on Junbin does.
Yeah. I mean, did what you needed to do. You did some damage to Winston, but...
Winston means that Junbin remains fighting fit. A Bionade connects onto Vistola here. He's getting close to an annihilation, but will have to fight without it for the time being.
I did not land.
Expires and Shockwave gets picked off. It's a tough ask.
Reset.
Cassidy to handle the Pharah on any map. Jay, we might have to do the heavy lifting in terms of damage.
Oh, wait, chat, before we go, oh no, like, you know, it's looking rough for VP, all this, etc. Remember, Nightmare got annihilated on Ilios. Who's in the upper bracket finals right now? Nightmare. So a bad map, a rough start, does not dictate the rest of the series. I always say, at least when we've been like co-streaming OWCS, I generally give the what's considered the really good team a little bit more of like a, they're gonna get, it's more than likely they're gonna win the first map, is what I'm saying. After that is when it gets different because the hero bans really start to kick in. Obviously you start with the hero ban, but it's Lijiang, right? Like Lijiang isn't even a map where you're gonna play Diva 3 rounds in a row, so like it's a little bit different. But that's when the map selection starts to kick in. Hero bans, that's when things go into play. So the first map, you know, I wouldn't doubt it if CR takes first map. They took the first map against Nightmare, then lost the next 3. So. Yep.
And I wonder if you swap off of the Cassidy, right? Just some stagger here towards the end.
Yes, you swap off the cast to play aggressive. That's what they need to do.
The answer is swapping off, right? Can
Yep.
you have Vistola play like a Maga and maybe with like a Sojourn in the mix, right? Because with that Cassidy, there's no way you're even going to escape the Winston, right? The Winston's going to leap on you. It's not like the Sojourn, right? You have like the double dash.
All right.
You could like perk into and select into, so you have the more escapability, but without like a Lucio to get a boop and speed out of the wave, right? You're just kind of a sitting
I'm ready.
there on that Cassidy.
We saw how Crazy Raccoon struggled against what Nightmare threw at them, right? Often the hazard comps that gave them a lot of trouble. Virtus.pro were not the kind of team we have seen really go in that direction very often, but perhaps there was some learnings to glean from that previous series the Raccoons played, and perhaps that's informed this composition here for Virtus.pro. Vistola looks like he's going to walk out on the Hazard, of course.
Hazard can work. We saw it work earlier.
I think this is a much better composition.
Yep, because you can set the tone and be aggressive. Exactly. This is not a defensive comp with Hazard.
Well, and then also it's a lot easier to keep Shockwave alive and impactful in these fights.
Yep. Win or lose this map, I like the thought process that VP has. They fell back to their playstyle. They fell back to their playstyle decision on Control Center, but they started off with that aggressive playstyle. Regardless of the result, they have some things here the coach can be like, listen, you can play aggressive. And if you do so, CR is going to struggle against that a little bit. Doesn't mean they're not going to win against it, but they're going to struggle against it at times.
Everything's just going to start falling apart. Really, outside of the initial fights, Virtus.pro's been pretty lifeless.
Can they start to make an impact here? Again, that pressure from Jaewu is going to be ever present, but Lip doesn't seem to be too bothered by it for the time being.
Nope. Well, that's because you need the Hazard up there, like, now.
Because he doesn't have a lot of frontline pressure to deal with, and the Hazard will try and circumvent him most of the time anyway. Vistola's gotten over towards the point, though, here, and you can see Lip peering from the outside.
Tracer's probably dead, so is Vistola.
And Jaewu duo, the latter who gets brought down. Fixer desperately has to try and jump away, but he's really got nowhere to be, nowhere to go, except down.
Yeah, I mean, this is going to get Crazy Raccoon above 50% on the point, right? He's saying every
Why does CR struggle against aggressive play? Because no one does it against him.
Completely uncontested. And I think it's
like that's the problem. CR is always the team that's just going in and making a play. It's the same reason why, if I'm correct, CR is it CR that usually loses the Mauga metas? If I'm correct.
Pretty devastating stuff, especially when he's backing Junmin up most of the time. It's going to be a mobile barrage from Hiimishie on the move.
And the reason why they lose the Mauga meta isn't even really because they don't have a Mauga player. Junmin's a great tank player overall. It's because they prefer when they're not ever being rushed on. When they're constantly making the play, right?
Well, this is a team that was dominant in EME.
When they're the ones just setting the tone, every single team fight, that's what they want. And a lot of teams fall into that against CR, right? So that, that's what Nightmare did well against them. So, again, we've seen good moments of aggression here by VP. It just isn't, cohesive yet. But, that type of cohesiveness can be fixed in one map. And that's because they've been a team for so long and they have really good teamwork. So, they just need to be a bit more cohesive against this and more on the same page, right? Obviously, it helps, too, when you have, Zera was going around just, hitting every pulse bomb ever. So, and there you go. Jaewu hits a pulse bomb, and guess what? VP gets the maps, or gets the point for a little bit. So,
VP does have to use absolutely everything, though, to be able to flip that point. 99 already here for Crazy Raccoon. So all it's going to take, right, is Lip. He has a railgun charged up, comes around the corner, maybe lands.
Vistola needs to be really aggro on Lip here, I think. Regardless, even before the ultimate. The idea is just to basically create as much space for your team. Yep.
That's good.
See what I mean, by the way, chat? Now, Vistola has to back up there, so backing up there is not a bad play. That is the correct play. Problem is, I think they're going to be able to push and kill Juno.
Not where they want to be right now, especially when Junbin wants to continue to apply the pressure, and the thumb screws are getting tighter. Well, careful, Jaewu. Not even on your best.
Nano on Winston.
Shoot like that. Shockwave and Junbin have to clean up, and that will trigger out overtime. Vistola might have the
don't even need the Winston yet. Why not save it for the extra save? You'll get Nano for yourself. Nano Farah, anybody. I think Shu must have the perk by now. Yep. Good pick.
The last player in the sights. VP have the reinforcements they can try and touch here, but they are never going to be at a full 5 at this rate. And that's the overtime expiring.
And there you go.
Comfortably in hand for Crazy Raccoon.
Yeah, in that last Junbin jumps in, and he actually just kind of takes.
But this is expected, by the way, chat. This is expected. What I will say to that is there was moments by VP that were good, right? And every single one of those moments came from playing aggressive. So the coach will see that and probably be like, hey, listen, this was good here, but this needs to happen more. All right?
And Junbin just creating that much space just by occupying that area by that.
And that's map selection.
Allows them to just move in with ease.
Does VP Honestly, Chant, how do you feel about some King's Row?
But now I think that all this poke
I would say in this situation,
they end up making the adjustment here.
go King's Row. Who do you ban?
I think the
right?
consensus is that a lot of the time you want to see
I don't know if I don't even think they play Wrecking Ball too much on King's Row, so you don't have to worry about that issue.
look back at
I'm just trying to figure out who you ban in that situation. Like, who's the ban from VP?
on this map, on these control maps, it is
I don't know. They can't ban.
will ban Farah against Crazy.
I don't think they can ban Lucio, right?
Divined that he's saying is the biggest threat that Farah.
All right, Max is in. Was it a King's Row? I missed the map selection, or was it Circa Royale? I just had my headset off. Either way, Max coming in means it's one of those maps. King's Row is Circa Royale, right? I guess it could be a Root too, but I don't think it's that.
Yeah,
I have no idea. I didn't see what the map selection was.
Like that more brawl, like, you know,
Name's Brandy. Have an awesome birthday, Brandy. Happy birthday. Hope it's a great one. There you go, see?
Right? They obviously used to have Smurf. They could sort of rotate him in.
Circa Royale.
Now it
Okay.
makes sense,
Yep.
right? Yeah. Heading over to Circuit Roll defense.
So you're going to sleep and you can't leave your PC on because then your cat will sit on your PC and get it messy? Oh, yeah, I'm well past that. My cats sleep on my computer all the time. Both of them do. More Arnie than Sully, though, which is a surprise.
With those bio grenades, you'll keep him in the game, and they actually
All right, here we go.
play a mate of their own. So curious to see. Yeah, Jay will actually match the Mei. So you'll have the Meis being mirrored here, and they will opt for a.
Yeah, so this is a strategy. This makes sense with the Mei ban earlier. So
going for a Baptiste either, which is obviously curious, but with the Mei, they might want to brawl a little bit more around that orbital rain. I just
or
think it's
shield
hard to
up.
go away from the,
Maybe throw a. Yeah, this is good.
but it goes VP
I kind of like
Play that poke game early in
VP's
that first quarter.
comp here.
The offensive
CR has to play defensive here.
screens here to gain some
They have to play defensive.
He's just going to push them back a little bit. I think Crazy Raccoon just has to be a little bit worried, right? You don't want to allow Vestola to.
That makes sense. Fair enough. I got you. No worries.
Find that Sigma shield, but you can't play extremely passive. Jay will hit with that bio grenade. Shockwave takes a ton of damage here as well early on.
Decent progress made for Virtus Pro without really having to commit, which is a good sign, but at some point, the rubber has to hit the
I don't think they're going to do a stadium mode OWCS, but maybe they'll do stuff in the future. Who knows? Here we go. I'm ready. I love this. See, this is the aggression I'm talking about. I know that like they lose this team fight probably, but I love that they're at least trying to set the tone there. A lot of space given up there, and CR has to give up that space. There's no way they can sit there and fight that.
By Crazy Raccoon, right? You obviously don't want to brawl out with that Ramatra, but they just kind of fall back and fall back and fall back. That it is a lot of payload progress gained here by VP early on. So although Crazy Raccoon does get a bite win, does get a hold, still with over 2 minutes on the clock, pretty good rundown there early on here from VP.
There's a real game of chicken here between the Sigma and Ramatra. Max wants to hold the accretion for when Vestola tries to pop Nemesis form and walk up on him. And then try and get good value out of kinetic grasp.
Here we go.
Outside of that, you might look to try and take the perp that gives you the lower cooldown on accretion to have more stopping power against this Ramatra if you need it. But here comes a gravitic flux from Max. He's caught Gala inside of it. Looking for some follow-up damage, but Gala
Good out there.
Instinctual healing from that orbital ray. Vestola though is still going to fall. Crazy Raccoon are getting a ton of value.
It's crazy how like
showing us dimensions.
this Mei ult could be good. This actually could be good. They're gonna nano, but who do they nano? Yeah, I was gonna say eventually they're gonna get Max there. I think Lip can win that because of the Juno ult. Yep. That's rough. Is this the first Mei game? Yes. There might have been Mei earlier on this map, but Mei was banned. I guess this is a strategy on first point specifically, which is actually a really good strat. Looks like VP is now mirroring the support line.
Now you're below a minute.
It's really going to come down to this ultimate by Vestola and Shockwave. If it's even a remotely decent ultimate, they should get this point. Easier said than done, though.
Just going to match Vestola's ability to plunge into the front line.
An auto pick here for Gala as well, so you have a change in the back line here for VP.
The Mei wall's way more relevant now. Catch out an enemy Ramatra with that one, and you are in good shape for the fight, but he's able to win the
yeah.
That is a massive
They're going to all in this. This is their only timing. Yep. Good job by Gala getting the pick. Vestola's going to lose ult here, but Vestola can keep momentum with another Nemesis form. Yep. Obviously, Max is now on Ramatra, which is a great swap. Huge purple. Now it's a neutral for a while, and Mei ult time. I'll be real, this is looking rough for VP unless Jwoo gets a good Mei ult off soon.
You just need to keep Max
Nope, never mind. Great wall. Great wall.
Able to do it. It's a nice May wall there that splits him off.
I think they're fine. Yeah, they dodged the ultimate too. Great job. VP clutches it. And chat, what did VP do there? They got aggressive. They didn't play it safe. They didn't lose one and go, okay, let's go back and wait a second. They just said, heck it, let's go in. And it was the right call. Good job. And they saved Mayo. An Orisa swap now.
To be trapped away from your team.
And now Vasola will play the Orisa. So Orisa can also brawl out a little bit with that Ramatra, and then also Orisa really good at taking that space.
That's what I'm talking about. That's how you have to do it. And again, it doesn't mean you're gonna win, but I'd rather as a team, if you're gonna win or lose, I'd rather do it playing aggressive and setting the tone than constantly being like, oh, we should have done this, right? Just if you're gonna analyze what you should have done, make it be like, oh, I used my ultimate bad here, right? Not, oh, I should have been more aggressive. You know what I mean? That's how I look at it.
VP know he's going to be coming up behind them or up the stairs, and Max, at least with the speed boost, he's able to get in position.
Love that. Love the aggressive Juno ultimate. Exactly. This is what they need. Don't overpush here and get killed by Lip. You don't need to. You already got map control. You have a May wall. You can May wall off. They're going to try to Juno ultimate. Nano somebody in. There's the May wall. That walled off your own team. Yep.
Pistola's in the thick of things, but doesn't get caught sleeping without a fortifier available.
Yeah, but you can result this.
He wants to push up, and yet again, another wall in his way.
Good ult. That should be enough to disrupt their backline. Ooh, Max still has it. This is a weird team fight. I think they're going to kill the Juno. Yep. Dude, Hiimishie is playing a good May. It's like, I'll be honest with you, that should have been a team fight VP wins. At no point did I think they, like, but you know what they should have done, in hindsight? Pushed past the doorways and killed them.
Using the nano boost there onto Hiimishie because Max has the annihilation.
You know what I mean? Like, you push past that together and kill everybody. They played it safe again. But at the same time, I think, like, that's a tough one to make that decision on. Because you have the choke, you have an advantage at that point. It's like, it's a hard decision to be like, let's play aggressive. That is a huge pick.
Right click of the endothermic blaster is huge, but Jaegu knows he needs to provide more. Shu with a Bionade catches his opposite number out, so now the healing drastically reduced for Virtus Pro. Shockwave tries to make up with it with extra damage.
I wonder if Shockwave went with the extra shots just because of the tank. I think so.
Virtus Pro picked their spot well here. Crazy Raccoon probably don't have the durability to stall as
you say that, but I'm telling you, this is where... Okay. Good job. Okay. Good kill by Shockwave there. Picked up an extra 30% ult charge, too. Traded out ultimates. Map control is going to be important here, but we'll see.
Some of these players coming off the spawn, but VP at the final
we will see.
Yet again gets over the line.
That was good, though.
Second checkpoint done here for Virtus.
And that pick on Lip was massive.
It feels like to me, Mitch, though, like these tank matchups, and this is the type of style that VP would want to play against a team like Crazy Raccoon. I don't want to say they need a map completion. They got to get damn close, though, right? It feels like if they're going to win this map.
They're very short on time, though. Up to the high ground, they look to go again.
Ult him down. Yeah, the idea was there, but they picked Ana off. Still going for it, though. I love it. Still going for it. They know they flipped Ramatra behind, too. Love this. Love that ult, because now you can kind of isolate him away. Even if they lose that, I'm still okay with that ult. I love that. I like that ult idea. Yep. Reset. I mean, Pistola's dead there unless Ana, yeah. Just do not, no one else can stagger. Pistola has to swap off Orisa, I think.
This is not a good scenario.
You need to go something quick.
To be pushing into Blizzard available, Nano here, and
Nano Diva, I think this is the hold.
Lining up well for Crazy Raccoon. He tried to block the doorway.
That was cute. Still Shockwave's able to get away and get a nano, but he might be frozen stiff. He's trying to work him down, but he's so durable, and he's being killed. Finally,
after all that,
the annihilation from Max got a lot of value. Pistola finally has a chance to play Diva.
After all that, chat,
it's too late.
And the whole, just survives the whole May out and then gets one shot anyway. Still, not bad for VP. And I know that you want to cap that, but I don't think teams try to win on third point on this. Let me rephrase that because it doesn't sound the way I'm trying to explain it. teams don't need to get all the way through third to win this map. Most of the time, these comps that are being designed are for buying so much time on first and second that teams don't necessarily run through them, right? And like just capture third point right away. So this isn't over, especially with the May comps being played.
We're looking for the efficacy, right? We're looking for the effectiveness of these different comps. That's not out of the question.
So very good opportunity here.
Defensive effort from Crazy Raccoon. I feel like it's
we'll see.
About on par for what we see from this map.
And this is what VP probably selects
we'll see.
This map to really go to on defense. So it will be the Alari BAP backline. Obviously, extremely offensive focus. You're able to put that Alari turret like pretty high up on that building, and that's where like Jaywu can get a lot of the healing from, right? Playing around that corner, playing right by that turret. So we'll see if they're able to hold though.
It's kind of
all right, I'm ready.
A style we've seen a few teams play in the past. ENCE used to do it a lot on this map last year. Yep. Like play those corners, play high. They even use Life Weaver to try and give Farah like a decent platform to play on. Make it so they don't have to touch the ground. Crazy Raccoon. On the attack side here, are they
I'm ready.
Really
Here we go. This is just a quick Widow pick. Gonna swap back to Sojourn. Wasn't that exciting?
Widow. But CR now go to their take on the Sigma comp, right? With Shu on the
you know, this is interesting.
So
the Farah versus the May.
Thoughts on this? So I actually kind of think this will be pretty effective for Crazy Raccoon because I think they're so well coordinated that they'll be able to eventually. You're banking on.
Well, here's a strategy. What VP is trying to do here with the Farah comp, they're not going to play this whole area. They want to spam this corner specifically right here, right? That's the idea. Now, if I'm Vistola in that situation, I'm going, great. You're making me play against a May by myself. But if you give your team enough ample time, maybe there's a chance. But that also requires hitting shots on a May on the side right there. So, yeah. Vistola made the correct swap, but it might be too late. I mean, you have a Farah falling over. It came down to the May wall. I mean, the May wall made the difference. Yeah. Vistola does a good job of trying to take the map back, but it's already done at that point. So, rough first point. That was not. That didn't go how it was supposed to go. Look at it that way.
Actually did get a kill there onto Shu, basically at the same time. But losing your tank, I mean, it's just a brutal type of scenario, right? So now it's going to be Vistola going over to the Ramatra.
This is a weird comp.
I was going to say,
let's go. I'm ready.
Odd playing like Ramatra May with the Alari still in the mix. Like, I would have expected more BAP, to be honest, if I'm from.
Yeah, and like Shu considered it at the start of this round, but never sort of stuck to it.
Here we go.
And we thought yesterday when we saw VP, like, why are you protecting the Zenyatta there?
Well, especially because when we watched VP yesterday, they could have played this comp, but they decided not to.
Right. Well,
that's a Mayo. Looks like one of mine. Die on card again, but I mean, like, at a certain point, you can only die on card so many times before you just lose the map.
Party face emoji.
Bella, thanks for the 72 months of tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you. Yeah, Jaywu farms 70% on outcharge, so. By Ramatra on circuit? It's just so you don't get brawled out. Better against May comps, too. You just don't want to get brawled out on. It's really hard to get, like, Sigma struggles against that. The reason why Max isn't having a problem with that is because the first point wasn't, there's no May, so, like, Max could just run it down and just pop off. Could be a good help by Gallaudet. I didn't see where it landed. I don't know if they have enough here to, like, yeah, Lip is one! And they get Lip. And there you go. May saves ultimate. They get the kills, and there we go. They've slowed the snowball, and the ults are looking good for VP. If they play this correctly, and again, hard to do against CR. If they play this correctly, there should be about a minute 30 on the clock until CR has a massive ult pool. I like that number for VP because that gets you in like 1, maybe 2 fight territory. But you gotta play this right. If before they engage the cart, get a good May ult off, win the team fight with it. And that's exactly what their plan is because they can create a second team fight. If they don't let them touch the cart right now, at any point, they can win right here. But they need to be aggressive. If they don't get aggressive, they're gonna lose. Pistola was forced into that ult because the honor grenade almost killed 2. Yep. There it is. There you go. Get the pick. Lip survives this, so that might be a part of the problem. But they win the team fight. There you go. And the cart wasn't touched. Now it's pushing back. They overused one ultimate, and that was due to them playing a little bit safe. That's why they were forced into the ult. But they win the team fight, minute off the clock, and now again, look at VP's ults. They can use one of the support ultimates here. Probably use the Ayari ultimate on rotation. That's what I'm expecting.
That knocks about a minute off the clock.
Garlander has a captive son against a Ramatra composition. Much better than
huge pick on Lip.
Work against that Sigma setup.
Was my favorite thing to play in this map? Oh, probably Sigma, but I mean, I'm open to more heroes now because there's a lot of tank variety again, which is nice.
Like we've seen in the last couple of fights. This is VP slowing the pace of the game to a crawl.
And with that fight win, I mean, by the time this next one kicks off, you've almost burned 2 minutes off the clock. Is Captive Sun?
Yeah. I don't mind the Captive Sun. I think this is good. That's okay. Can't do anything about that. May ice block. They're going to Sojourn out.
So that one out the window, but Orbital Ray is still here for Virtus.
They could Orbital Ray instead. Nice pick.
Shockwave is playing these really tight angles, being very careful to
oh, wait, chat. Notice what time it is on the clock and how many LCR has now? When did they get that? About a minute 30. And look what the card is. It's pushed back. VP needs to be aggressive here. I'm telling you, if you be aggressive, CR is going to overult. But if they let CR ult this, they're going to lose.
Relative ease.
Have now cycled into the power ultimates, Matt, the ones you want to look for. Max is getting in position for an annihilation, extends that Nemesis form.
There it is.
Pistola going to try and reciprocate, but it's Shockwave getting caught out by Pulsar torpedoes, and that Blizzard might just be a little bit late. It comes in at least, allows for the pickup on Shu, but Chorok here is going to be on extra duty. Pistola tries to throw up the Dukes here, but he's going to be under extreme pressure.
Good job by Pistola. That was excellent.
Like the rug's been pulled out from under the Crazy Raccoon spend
now. The Mayal got a kill, which was good. Yes, VP went sim. They're going to be able to touch again here, but they need to slow play this. It's okay. I think VP is going to struggle unless the Mayal gets eaten, and that Mayal is not going to get eaten right now. Yeah, Pistola's dead. Yeah.
Eventually, Chorok has the damage to bring him down now, and Lip's got a pretty safe spot to play from. This is a very cheesy location to be.
That's why I was saying you got to play it slow on the retake, otherwise that happens. Only a minute 30 though.
Right, just trying to get onto
only a minute 30.
With the disruptor shot that sticks to him, follows him there with that Sojourn perk.
Just a rarer pickup for the second perk at the moment.
And then also just gets split off by a Maywall, so he just gets obliterated. Has to use all of his cooldowns right away on the Orisa, and now moves back over.
Nope, I don't think they'll. OWCS will still be the core game. Stadium is a new addition to Overwatch that I think will be very popular. But they're not going to change like the core game stuff either. It's basically just having like 2 really cool games in one.
As soon as that bio expires, Virtus Pro surge ahead.
I'm enjoying it so far.
Good wall for Jwoo. Gives him some room to disengage. Doesn't catch any teammates on the wrong side of it either. Max is looking for more, but he's at risk of overextending here. I'm just concerned on that. This is almost down to 1 team fight, but I think like the May is going to be isolated, and they're going to know that. Ice block's back up in like 2 seconds though. Yep. They got split. Yeah. Great pick by Shockwave, but they don't have the right heroes to be able to stop point. Yeah.
And forcing them down. They steal the high ground there from VP.
I mean, that was a great map too. Right? Like VP played much better, but it's just CR what won the most important team fights, and I do think that when VP over-ulted second point, that was my concern. I think they could have saved their ultimates and then had a much better third. So, yep. A Juno ban. I think both are fine here. Yep. I think both are fine. Remember that like 1 week or like 2 weeks where like out of nowhere we just saw Hanzo and then that lasted 2 weeks? It was like, I think I remember that like right during the beginning of the Torb Sim meta. Remember that one? The Torb Sim meta from a couple months ago? Out of nowhere you just saw, I think, was it Stalker who went Hanzo? If I'm correct? Like Stalker just played Hanzo one like weekend and then that was it. Like then it was like a week of like Hanzo being played. It was like just the most random thing ever. This is like
see how this kind of fares. As I'm curious.
Hanzo's easily diveable, that's why.
VP
Sojourn has 2 slides with the perk. Widow has grapple. Ash has like Coach Gun and like Bob. Like, that's why you don't see as much Hanzo. The one-shot potential is just too inconsistent to be worth it.
Against that diva, right? You can kind of constantly chain these accretions. So
Did they? I didn't see that. No, that's funny.
It is so interesting to see a single comp on this map, though. It's not a commonality. You are going to try and control the high ground, and VP don't necessarily have the mechanism.
If you give her 3 slides, yeah, especially after they made the slide only go 1 second instead of 1.2 seconds. I'm with you on that one.
And a Sim TP gets VP in position out of fight.
I like that Sim TP. Be careful of getting walled. Oh, can't get walled if the May's dead. Just get point control now. Yeah, that's what Vistola's going to do. Throw a Vortex or put a shield up towards the left window. Yep. Excellent. So far, so good. But this is not... The way that CR plays this is it's really about just controlling the high ground and dropping down. I call it the horseshoe strategy. I've referenced it in spectating sometime. Nice play by Shockwave. Good job.
Great start here for Virtus Pro, and they like to slow
Max is dead there.
Losing Fixer,
no nano.
Especially when the follow-up
is
good. Gala's getting involved with the
that was a great strategy. Great strategy to take a TP high ground. Straight up.
Yeah, he's saying Ice Block, stay alive for a little bit longer, but that will be it. So VP with a really nice read, a really nice strategy early on. That allows him to take that first point with an enormous amount of time. I mean,
that was very well played.
Minutes.
Hefty time bank, but this is a treacherous part of the map to play. Crazy Raccoon over to the Lucio Ana. We'll see Shu with that the Nano ready to deploy in just a moment.
Yep.
And Crazy Raccoon wants to get quite aggressive, right? Bringing Lucio into the mix here tells you they want to use that speed, kind of collapse onto that back line. Maybe they feel potentially that they are quite vulnerable.
I like this. I like the spot that Vistola's in. It's a very good aggressive spot. The idea is to bait the Mei to you and then pop an ult if you need to. Yeah, but CR set the tone first with the ults.
They try and disengage, but they actually end up getting split here.
Yep. I mean, Vistola can try to survive this.
Gala actually end up using the Kitsune rush as they want to potentially
could be a good Kitsune, yeah.
Even being a player down.
Yeah, that's a good Kitsune. Good job. I like that.
Were able to disengage with 3 players, but Vistola was so deep. Gala gets in there, Kitsune rush, Suzu thrown down.
Get a good Vortex here. Oh, that sleep. That sleep did a lot more than like the game will not like show.
Shockwave doesn't have to set up shop on that off.
Pop wall here early.
Put the fear in Crazy Raccoon of him turning up there.
Pop wall early, and then use the rest of your ults to win the team fight.
It really is. Also, you have this wall to block potentially like
huge.
Bios, right? As you'll have a Bob come in here potentially
so dirty
from Shockwave, as this has been a speed run.
You can Bob. Yep.
In favor of Virtus Pro. He's saying I'll check the Blizzard in there, and that is just kind of thrown deep.
I get the idea. I get the idea, but like, good start.
Has a sixth sense about it and is already able to coach.
Very, very good start here by VP. Couldn't ask for a better start, actually.
Again, they've managed to set up a battlefield.
Vistola's going to take top left control and play an angle. They got to be. Yep, great play. Good Vortex, though. But that was a very smart play. The moment Vistola rotated over there, CR recognized that and just sprinted in. They have speed boost. Very, very good play.
Vistola's been playing pretty far forward. Right?
Yep.
It also happened,
that was a good decision.
Disengaged from the Nano Ramatra. Here again it happens. So Crazy Raccoon identify a chance for Chorong to use that speed boost and get them like a player advantage locally. And it's pretty hard for Ramatra to get people's attention when he's across the map, right? Throw a Vortex and that's it.
And now you'll have a match in terms of the Mei. So Jay will move away from the Sim, which we both thought was pretty effective. Curious what type of value you get out of the Mei.
They ignored him? Yeah, I mean, that's what you do. You just speed boost in. Vistola pops an ultimate, but they give Nano to Lip. So I don't even know if like they can survive that, but I mean, Vistola has 1 HP. Gala has ult coming up, maybe if that. Nope.
Yeah, I mean, Lip was able to find himself
reset.
Completely outside of the radius of that annihilation. And we might see Shockwave, consider a switch here. Over towards the Sojourn.
Yeah, Sojourn swap makes sense. A little bit more viability against what CR's running. And again, VP, they were bound to lose some team fights there. I mean, when you're playing against CR, like, they're not going to just give you 4 minutes on the clock on King's Row. They're not. And third point is a really good opportunity to kind of get things right with the team. Gala is going to, after this Mei wall, they're probably going to pop their Kitsune. They're using it for a little bit of map control, maybe force out Ooh, Hiimishie has ult, though. That Vortex... Okay, almost like they went off the map from that angle. There it is. Hiimishie's going to back up and then probably pop ultimate. Is my guess. JWoo's getting close to ult, too. They've taken map control. Get ready for a disengage from VP when they go in aggressively here with their own ults. Now's the ult timing if they want it, but they went with beat instead. I actually don't mind that. It's a good play. Save May ult. Yeah. Yeah, he's saying JWoo should be safe here. No reason to pop May ult just yet.
Oh, it'll be a blizzard here used by Hiimishie
Yep,
as
this
well.
is the correct play.
Some of these players, they're just hanging out.
Hiimishie pops May ult. Real talk, VP is set up for an opportunity to win the round right here. Is definitely set up for an opportunity to do it. This is their timing. You got Orisa ultimate, you got May ult. You have to worry about their Kitsune, but I think you can stop some of their Kitsune even with like the cleanse. Because they can cleanse off the May ult, but I think it will be enough where Orisa could also do that. Like you can't cleanse both if they play it right. Ooh, Lip almost went off the map. That was close. There's the... Oh, no. The one thing. Pistola knows it's ult time. But it's... Oh, man. I got to give credit to CR. The way they've played third point has been very, very well played. CR's taken the team fight first every single time, and VP has not been able to do that just yet. They haven't been able to do it just yet.
Right there, now you lose that blizzard, so JWoo now goes over to Hiimishie,
that's the problem.
Right? It feels like we're just kind of playing mystery heroes a little bit from the side of EP, as now we're back to the Ramatra.
Max here doubles back. Has an opportunity to
Sojourn ultimate if need be. Back to the Ramatra now, which I'm not surprised by. There goes Ramatra. VP wastes beat, and now it's starting to like ult economy starting to fall back apart now. So this is the problem. Yep. Yep.
To depart from them. As Crazy Raccoon have gotten only more comfortable over the course of this round.
And that beats like a second or two light there from Fixa as ends up dropping it. Pistola
looking rough.
By the blizzard already basically dead. As this is massive though. Fixa over to the Zen, able to pick out Chorong. As Chorong playing quite aggressive. He's almost got beat, so massive pick.
Great option against Crazy Raccoon.
Sojourn, that was a huge pick on Chorong. I had to look at something there.
They can walk up with a speed boost like they've done in the
I think you gotta go in with.
Especially when your frontline gets hit with
yep.
the Discord orb.
Good job.
Great pick from Fixa. This is good for Virtus Pro now.
There's the beat. Sojourn to go in. Fixa might fall over here unless. Great peel. Great peel. Good job by CR though. I will say that. Getting the pick on Zen was very important. Fixa's gonna come back as Lucio, I think.
I don't even think so. I mean, Max the problem.
Nope.
Extremely low
okay.
Right
maybe just playing for this.
Kind of the idea is the
close to ult. Oh, he makes us brick. Actually, I kind of like that. Huge pick on the Sombra. That's huge.
JWoo's dealt with Hiimishie now. The Tracer switch for Crazy Raccoon. They're trying everything to hold Virtus Pro up. But VP now set up a lot of their nostrils. They're going for it. They're going to play outside the Annihilation once more.
I like the nano onto the Genji.
But JWoo's not able to build a blade off that ultimate. So he'll have to go for it after the fact.
Nice D-Mac. Blade's going to be up. I think that might be the point. Pop Blade. Go for the dash reset on the... Yep. Okay. They finished. Chat, they have finished the map. And if I recall correctly, Nightmare also finished with like no time, right?
Considering how much time they had, right?
How's the bracket doing? This is the loser bracket. Can you believe that? This is the loser bracket.
4 minutes on the clock, and then it gets dwindled down into OTs. Man, it feels like so many hero swaps from both sides there towards the end of the game.
Oh, and we're trying to keep up with it, right? As the action is going. I like I think that's probably one of the few situations where the Zen switch makes sense when you're going up against a relatively slow comp without like a flanking DPS. And the strategy for Crazy...
flanking DPS.
Right, well, no, the flanking DPS is Max.
Yeah, with the assistance of Chorong.
Yeah,
all right, here we go.
I think Chorong's beat needs to hit onto Max there, but they are just using the Ramatra to run it down. Crazy Raccoon really embracing the rush approach to this Ramatra setup, and on defense, like you see, it pays off. Virtus Pro realized they couldn't.
I'm loving this though. I love good Overwatch. Whenever we have good Overwatch chat, I'm like, this is awesome.
Raccoon go on the attack side.
I always hear a bird singing in the morning every morning. It's great.
I would expect. You know what? We'll see.
Yeah. See what happens.
But
Obviously,
you talked about the defensive.
Here we go.
And that's what Shockwave's looking for here.
Yeah, being able to kind of create that space, that high ground, right, on defense.
Gotta
That's where
stretch.
Ash can definitely shine. So you will also have that brig on a back line, like you were talking a little bit about, but more from the Crazy Raccoon side.
Yeah.
But VP will end up running it.
Decent option, I think, if you're maybe expecting Max to try the D.Va again, or you're dealing with Genji.
So Vistola has... I'm going to make a coffee after this game. Be a good idea.
Ground control for their Ramatra, so Hiimishie kind of has to go ahead and pave the way.
It's going to be like Hiimishie and like Shu potentially, right?
Same strategy here,
Just walk up.
but no TP from CR to high ground. Soul Slayer, thanks for 3 months of tier 1. Thank you, Pichu. Thank you. Ooh, that's going to be a kill. But a trade.
But they've had to give Chorong up for this, so that's the speed that allows them to maneuver into such positions off the
They're both low there, yeah.
That was really nice. It doesn't
Might be a good start here for VP again.
We see it from Max and Chorong.
Think more into you too?
They get Max up to that high ground. Chorong actually speeds him around. And
How's Bucket Boy doing? He's doing good. He's not in the bucket just yet.
Is up in that opposite window.
Very good start for VP. Alter, probably have another fight in the neutral, but a minute off the clock.
It's looking pretty good here for VP.
I do not think that Vistola meant to hit that button.
It's going to be pretty hard to pressure, especially with Crazy Raccoon going off the Genji. Now just really
Taking high ground now? Taking high ground? I don't know if it was called or not. I can hear him.
Notice how he'll probably play differently seeing this.
Vortex, if you need to. Yes, huge Vortex. Well played by Vistola here. Only problem Vistola's going to run into is that no one else is with Vistola. Vistola knows it too. They're going to all in him, yep.
Vistola doesn't get the help that he needs there.
The problem was Max stayed up there for too long without... that was rough. That's the difference between having a Kiriko. Right there is the Kiriko can actually go in there and cleanse and help that. I think they're going to go for this. I think Jwoo's going to outpoint in a second. They nano the May. I got to sneeze.
Having to come back into the fight. Chorong will go down. Vistola has to be coming up respawn pretty soon. And Nano over on the May. Might have been the ticket for Virtus Pro, but they're running
no Mail.
Now. Vistola's back in the fight, but losing your Ramatra.
No, just reset. You did a decent enough job to have an okay first point.
Once again, Max gets into the back line.
That's okay.
Denies the resources from Vistola.
Yes, Crazy Raccoon can play with so much more pace here with that Lucio and the Kiri in the mix, right? Gala would use like the bio grenade, right? Maybe then you created a little bit of advantage there.
Here we go.
It just gets Suzu'd off, and then you just kind of keep on moving forward there for Crazy Raccoon. And now, I mean, you stick with this Ash here on defense. You still have some of that high ground, but you're going to have to make those like dynamites and just the overall damage, like the healing pressure, really make an impact. Yeah. Or else you might as well switch to the Soldier.
It's quite effective.
Mayall to lead off, or Ramatra ult. I think either or are fine.
It's an option.
Yeah, these kills come through so fast from Crazy Raccoon.
I think you're afraid of the Mayall on either side. There it is.
Committed to the fight now as he's
Yep.
going to deploy that one shockwave caught just on the edges of it, and he's able to bring him down now. Max though frozen solid. He tried to go for the annihilation.
That actually kind of worked in favor of VP. Max tried to survive that with annihilation, so that I guess an extra ultimate out there probably didn't need to go out because they were going to kill him regardless.
Honestly, I was a little bit worried for Virtus Pro with how that started. Right?
Yeah, the only problem is I mean, both teams use their ults except for Lip has Sojourn. If they get aggressive here right away, which they're going to, they need to be ready to get out of there. So, oh, that was a good Vortex. Vistola's going to be in a rough spot in a second once the Sojourn comes out. No Nemesis for him to block this.
Not quite sure where to find himself at the moment.
Yep.
Decent sideline still for Gala. Maywall thrown up as well by Jwoo.
Nice job by Shockwave. I still think there's a world where CR could get back into that, but ooh, May gets out. Vistola gets the kill. Nice job by VP again. Well played. Very well played by VP.
Starting to look good for VP, right? 2 fight wins consecutively.
Yep, and their ults are building up. Exactly.
Control this area, especially with those May walls, right? Very difficult to dislodge the defenders from this type of position.
Solar here wants to draw a front line pretty far forward, but Crazy Raccoon making an entrance from stage.
I'm ready.
Pushing on in, Shu now going to throw a Suzu down to make sure that they're not hindered at all.
Huge.
A nice Bionade comes out from Gala. He sees a Suzu used early and says, this is perfect for me. First pro with the player advantage. Gala under some degree of pressure, but Max just can't quite get to that back line.
I mean, and they get Mayalt out? Like, this is...
Heads up from Gala.
VP is going to play close now. The reason why VP is going to want to play close is, one, this choke is tough to get through, but, like, you now have a May ult advantage. Like, this is huge for VP. Like, you don't have to worry about getting counter May ulted. You can just use your May ult. And that's usually the concern with, like, a May ult is, like, can they counter it? But, like, right now, no.
All right. Well, Joey's going to have a Blizzard ready in no time.
This has been the slowest build in May ult in the last 10 seconds I've ever seen, but it'll be there in a second. I think that's because they're hiding the May in the corner. They actually lead off with Sojourn. Okay. They got Hiimishie caught out. Oh, God. They're going to shoot the middle. Now you May ult. Yep. Because you get the kill no matter what. That was very well played. Because you're going to get the kill no matter what there, right? The May is locked out.
Yeah, he stays pretty pushed up there, Hiimishie. And he
right?
gets hit by a shot.
Oh, Hiimishie died? Oh. Didn't they May ult the corner? And then kill the May?
You can actually use that wall over by the choke. They blizzard him.
Oh, that's what I saw. I don't know. Maybe it's early. Maybe I need my other coffee. I thought the May was in the corner, and then they killed the May after that, and then went. Yeah, I don't know. Who knows? I don't even. Good call, then. That's what it looked like. I mean, they're in a good spot again. I mean, they got a kill on Hiimishie. Pistol is able to kind of just sit here at main. He's going to get purpled, but, like, you can just pop ultimate to survive. Max is going to fall over again, maybe. No, they have a nano. Pop May wall if you need to.
He knows he can sit back, play his time, and sit on this big ultimate.
And you have the Annihilation Nano combination here for VP. Insane survivability.
Oh, I got you. You're saying the May ran back. That makes sense. Yeah, so I lost track of the May. Okay, I got you. You were referencing a different part of the team fight. That makes sense. And just like that, VP takes King's Row. And did they find maybe a strategy that works for them? Keep in mind, Ramatra can't be banned again. Support lines can shift. If you are CR right now, okay? By the way, I don't know if what the coach is saying to Vistola there, but it could be telling Vistola that when you get to a certain point, don't try to, like, take the off angle because they're speed boosted into the team. No, it is CR's map pick. I know. So that's what I'm wondering. Does CR ban May? Because they once VP started to figure out this death ball-y, like, May comp, you know what I'm saying? On a ban? Ooh. No, Ramatra, you're right. Ramatra got banned in a previous game. I forgot about that. So, good ban on Ramatra. All right, it's time. The match is officially live, chat. I'm ready.
Can they keep themselves alive in the lower bracket? We'll find out in just a second. For all the action, I'm going to send it over to Matt and Mitch.
Both of our combatants here trying to target some of the better heroes for the other side's strategy coming into this match.
This is going to be interesting.
From Shu, and that pesky Ramatra from Vistola is off the table. So probably no surprise, Matt, here to see Winston versus D.Va. Crazy Raccoon and Virtus Pro, who are fighting to stay alive in his Champions Clash, are going to go at it here on Esperanza.
I'm curious, in your opinion, what do you think the band's favor?
Here we go.
Because, like, VP's totally fine playing this D.Va. Like, you know, the Ramatra is something even in map number 1 that you really didn't seem comfortable, like, going up against that Winston with, right? Where getting the
D.Va versus Winston.
It's a little bit more of a win here.
I will say that Winston is better here than D.Va. Winston's just better than D.Va right now.
Shouldn't get max value out of that orbital ray at the best of times. Hiimishie, though, of course, has to
yeah, exactly, though. You are right about that. The Honor Brig makes it a little bit better for D.Va, but the Winston matchup still just goes to Winston. So.
With that defense matrix, able to eat up some of the damage of the Borrow rockets that come down.
And you also don't have a lot to pair in terms of dive with Junbin, right? Crazy Raccoon are actually playing a poke comp with a dive tank, which is an interesting look. So it's tough to overwhelm the cast now.
Well, it's pretty awesome when you can combo like a bio grenade into the back line, right? And then Junbin follows it up, but not have
well, yeah, that you don't have it anymore. Yep.
Extra layer makes it a little bit difficult, right?
No, we're talking about Honor Brig, like how Honor Brig is really strong. Juno Brig is pretty good, but Honor Brig is like the bread and butter comp of that.
It's funny, Crazy Raccoon have the dive sense, but they do want to play an extended neutral fight just to allow Hiimishie to get that incremental.
And Juno will be fine.
Over the course of the game, and there it is again.
Gala with a huge pick.
Crazy Raccoon do want to
Lip gets the kills, and
push progress, and they've done so here. A stagger on the Diva as well is going to be insult to injury for Virtus Pro, who lose the first fight.
It's like almost like a 2-minute neutral.
That's funny,
fight
Over.
there
That's great.
Perfect for a fight.
Oh, I've known Matt for just as long.
Not a lot going on there, and eventually he's going to find that damage on the bar.
I've known him for years.
It's Malcolm time, baby.
He's never truly dead.
So again, you know, obviously on this kind of map, you know, when you get
that's back when he was complexities coach.
Have the extra regeneration when you're on the bot. There's a question I think of where the cage fight is used to try and catch Junbin out if you can. Here's the Deadeye Shockwave. Respected, of course, by Crazy Raccoon. That's going to expire now as the concussive blast comes in from me, saying just to keep him honest. And here's that dive component. So you still got to respect the Winston if you're Cassidy and Shockwave.
Yep, tough start.
He's got nowhere to go.
We are seeing the Malga swap, which, I mean, makes sense. And it goes back to what we talked about. Goes back to what we're talking about. I have not been memeing you when I say that Diva is just not as good against Winston anymore. Just isn't a good matchup.
It's clearly an issue.
It's hard to see where you would want to play Cassidy against Sojourn and Winston.
Just not. Diva just kind of the amount you get value-wise in comparison to what the other tanks get. You have to do a lot to get that value, unless you're just all in the backline, which is almost impossible with the break. Good reaction by VP here to go backwards, like to the high ground up there. That makes it a little bit more of a difficult dive. The problem is, just right now, CR is just playing very, very well, and like VP cannot find their footing. They're losing team fights that they should not lose, or they're getting destroyed before a team fight even starts, and that's the problem. Still plenty of time. Like I wouldn't be if I'm VP, I'm not too worried yet. But if CR wins this next map or this next team fight cleanly, at that point, I don't think VP can get back into it. I think even if VP returns and wins that, if they lose this next one and comes back and like it's 130 meters to like that, I just think CR can play so safe the rest of the way that VP would have to just make a bunch of like individual plays to get back into it. Yeah.
There goes Jaywu. Switch to the Farah instantly. Nailed by a railgun. And they're going to keep the pressure up. You know, Crazy Raccoon, when they have that edge, they want to try and take a mile. And this far has been electric for Heesang. Just what Crazy Raccoon needed to secure.
This is looking rough. I don't even think VP can get back into this. Winston's going to be aggressive. Heesang's going to spam the doorway. I just don't think there's a world where they can.
It's like that. We're going to have a very quick Esperanza at this rate, folks. Less than 5 minutes.
Good swap to the Widow. Just makes it so there's a threat of a one-shot. Maybe that's enough. Now Vistola goes down. They have the Brig ult up. Brig can be kind of isolated out of the team fight. I think that's going to be it. I think that's going to... Yep. Wasn't even close. That becomes the downside of what VP is playing there, is like not being able to play the Winston in that same type of matchup becomes really difficult. Like not being able to do that. Winston is just one of the best tanks in the game right now. You can't do anything. And again, as somebody who loves playing Diva, that's why right at the beginning of the game I knew right away that I'm like, listen, this is not... Diva sucks against Winston. Diva struggles in some ways, right? Where I've grown up, it didn't have anything for a long time, and it's just now finally being built up, so like... It's nice. It's just we're still we're still getting there, right? Actually, Lonnie just told me it's finally happening, chat. There's an Indian food restaurant opening up nearby. I've told chat that like people are like, oh yeah, get Indian food. We don't have any near us. It's been like I think like 45 minutes away. Finally have one, so I'm gonna finally be able to have another food option. I know. I've only had Indian food when I was in like Vegas. They had some, and I don't even know if it was like good or bad. It was just like it was pretty good when I had it, but I don't know like, you know, I haven't. Who knows? So, so it'll be good to try it, right? All right, here we go. We got double Winston right now. Ana Lucio versus Kiriko Lucio. That's pretty much it, yep.
Tracer for both sides. Hard to imagine Shine Lee being bested at these positions.
No Costco, nope. No Safeway, nope.
Oh, this is going to be a sick.
He said no Kroger, nope. He said no Boba, nope. He said no Taco Bell. Taco Bell, we do have a Taco Bell. But they're very random with Taco Bell. Sometimes the workers there will just take the day off.
CJ lands a bio on the Shy.
Yeah, Bio's going to be big, but Shy is still somehow.
What I mean is they'll close it down and they'll just be in there hanging out. It's a known thing here. It's a known thing. They'll just be in there all hanging out and it's closed at like 4 p.m. Yep.
You also imagine once again
happens like twice a week. No one knows why. No one knows why. It just happens. We're just like, all right, well, I mean.
Shy right away, making his impact felt, right? The kill onto Sugar Free right away, and just the amount of damage that he's outputting.
Yeah.
It's a question again.
My drop's over now. Good start for once again. Obviously, Space Station, you know, not the start they're looking for, but they have a quick nano. So Nano wins it in. Maybe get a free pick right here. Very least built some ultimates. Really close for ult for Kellen. Now you can bubble off the area. They might go just main and flip. Yep, what a Kitsune. Damn. Great peel by once again. Does management know? We have no idea. At this point, we're just like, I'm not going to say anything. Listen, live the best life without. They want to vibe out and have a good time and just chill. I'm not snitching.
Just contest the point, and then they have the Kitsune rush from the opposite way, and they're able to take it.
Gushwing here wants to meet SSG at the door. They don't want to give them any breathing room.
Here we go.
Eyes are on Lenny once more. Look at the Kiriko there briefly, but it's going to be Mew with a sound barrier. Kellen has to drop back and try and get the mega health pack, but that health is cut through in seconds. Shy has the run of the mill. This is dealt with comfortably with a rail.
Yeah, this is a rough start.
CJ can only really dance on the spot here now as SSG trying to tease once again back to the point. Gushway opts not to primal to stay alive there as he knows once again have that tempo.
And they're going to be able to get him back in the fight rather quickly, and you lose Sugar Free. So Sugar Free, huge here. That's going to make Space Station take a little bit of a beat here, and you're going to get back on full strain.
Shy's in a great spot here to find those picks, but he gives a bit of ground up and has to respect the environmental kill potential up for his
wait. Not bad. Okay, Sugar Free gets a pick. Oh, another thing about that Taco Bell too, when it is open, guaranteed 45-minute wait no matter how many people are there. They got to stay on the point. Be careful. Oh, this is looking cool. Oh, my. Honestly, I respect the effort.
It will be a point flip.
Good flip by Space Station, but Kiriko will be out soon?
Also, their sound barrier able to get a flip, but how long will they be able to hold, man? Because you're going to have Lee come through this Pulse Bomb Kitsune rush as well, as once again just needs one fight to take the point.
Oh, we barely talked about Lee. There's not been any room to discuss him, but he puts himself on the map in the biggest way possible by dealing with CJ. The switch off the yard of the Kiriko for Space Station just hasn't really been enough. And
rough start for Space Station, but keep in mind, once again, just came off a match recently, okay? So Space Station needs a little bit of time to warm up to the stage, all that stuff. So that's your Burger King? Yeah, I mean, I don't. Listen, I ain't judging when it comes to. I just know that every time we've gone to the Taco Bell, there'll be nobody there. Like at one point, because probably just there'll be nobody there. You'll go up, you'll be like, okay, I'm ordering all this, and they'll go, okay, can you go park over there and wait? Without fail, 45 minutes later, even if no one else is there. They always send you to a parking spot, and you just sit there for 40 minutes.
And he still gets killed. I just see it in the kill feed. I'm like, wait a minute. He had the space taken away from him. It's crazy what.
Doesn't matter anything. It doesn't matter if there's 100 people there or 0 people. You're waiting 45 minutes. Guaranteed.
Tremendous job of playing his life, right? Able to get on the point, keep it contested, juggling back and forth. All
right, here we go. Control center now. Both on Winston. So not seeing any change up on that one. Looks like Kiriko's what they're going with instead of the Ana comp, which makes sense. Ana will struggle in that situation if, like, well, apparently Kiriko does too.
A beautiful opener on the best target possible. It's the Kiriko out of the game again.
So once again, just kind of asserting dominance here at the start of this series. You lose this if you're SSG on this map playing this style. You probably have to rethink your strategy the rest of the series.
Oh god, and go to what? This has been it for Space Station Gaming. This is where they've really plied their trade. In this Winston setup, these dive comps have been their go-to. It's too late, surely, to make an about face away from that.
This is a roughie so far for Space Station. Again, I talked about this earlier, though. Give a little bit of wiggle room to the team that isn't, like give a little bit of wiggle room to, like, a team that, one, hasn't played yet today. and 2, like when they don't like have much of them, like the choice on the, you know, like the once again is the predicted team to win this. So once again is going to have a little bit more wiggle room to start. Once we get into the second map, that's when things can shift a little bit.
But once again, I think it made a pretty definitive statement, and now they've really pushed up here towards this choke. They'll give some ground now as the disruptor shot is something they've got to respect. But
yeah, I like sour cream. That's why I like all the Supreme stuff they have. I finished with drives. Nope.
Huge ultimate advantage here for once again as well.
Yeah, I mean, that once again is going to go with Kitsune.
Just doesn't care. Kitsune Rush comes down and
you can't counter that with Space Station. Just give him the team fight win, unless you turn it with a pick.
He doesn't even bother picking it up. And there's even like a sound barrier from you, and it's not even needed. CJ's Kitsune Rush just...
They're trying to go after Shy. I mean, you see Shy.
I think the best way to put it is I think they're trying to do too much. Right?
Going after him, but with those 2 players diving all the way in, you allow
I think they're trying to do too much. Like that's why I said like you just back up there because you can't force those type of kills in that situation, especially when you're just kind of down in numbers. You can do it if the situation's right. Like for example, let's say, you know, their Lucio's a little bit out of position, or like, you know, I love how Kellen brought the Sojourn all the way back to spawn doors. Not get a kill, just brought the Sojourn back to the spawn door. Said, you know what? Ooh, sugar free. Will that be enough? I don't know. You tell me, Uber. I was asking the same thing. Jinx, you owe me a soda. I'll let Uber know that next time I see him at an event.
But I mean, not the primal blades that once again have access to, that's for sure. Here's Gooseway once again.
All right, here we go.
Popped up Shy now with an overclock, and you've got to respect it. Sugar-Free steps up, has his life cut in half, and has to instantly recall away. Shy will reposition now over a safer spot. The space created again by Gooseway. He just
rough start. I really don't think that. I don't think Space Station should be discouraged with this first map. I'm telling you, every team today has dominated the first map, and we've seen close series, okay? It's fine. Actually, the only team that even had a remotely close first map control was once again, and they still lost that map. So, once again, good at these maps. On to the next one.
And we're looking at
you can go grocery shop and have a good time. Been a lot of Juno bans today. Makes sense. A lot of teams do like to run the Juno brick comp. It kind of strays away from that comp, and you're good to go. So, yeah.
We want to bring the brick here.
Brick Juno's pretty decent.
Will we ever see Junkrat being played on OWCS? Unless they make some massive like changes to Junkrat, probably not. I mean, you'll see some niche situations. There's also an EMEA team that I don't even know if they're still around, but they have a Junkrat player who's pretty good for that. They don't ever like qualify for these lands, but they definitely compete in OWCS and EMEA. I don't know if they still do, but
we did see SSG go for this.
They play well. They play teams tough. They play teams tough. I kind of like the Hazard pick.
Even if I said you would have taken credit for it anyway, so it's all right.
So Seeker with a TP potential. Not that Kellen really needs that extra mobility, but still a threatening prospect.
I like this here.
Shy's already forced back to that more auxiliary position, and that's dangerous. I mean, Seeker shows a little bit of length there, and League knows it's an easy fight to take.
They just protect Shy up on the high ground, right?
Yeah, rough start again. Damn.
Being able to eat a lot of that.
Not even able to keep the map control.
You're going to leave, you know, Seeker alone on a little bit of an island there with the Leave there on that low ground. I mean, Leave is going to...
I like the way Leave plays. Leave just, like, seems so relaxed right now, just kind of vibing, playing some Genji, you know?
Back in the game, this time on the Sojourn, so we're moving away.
I watched most of the Nightmare game, yes. I missed the first, like, 2 maps. But that's because I was just on a little bit later than I wanted to be.
Seeker wants to control that high ground to some degree, at least force people over to the left, and oh, that would have been a golden opportunity, but look at that from Liga. What a defense matrix to keep Leave in the game. It's nuts. After getting top back up, he's ready.
Here you go, I'm ready.
Space Station tickling the point now. Still not quite one tick to work with. The League's looking over towards the hotel. This time
damn.
It's free. Hung, drawn, and quartered out in the town square. And a player advantage for once again, now to exacerbate.
It feels like once again gets the first pick in just about every single.
Okay, so Alter are starting to look like they're going in favor of once again by a little bit here. And by a little bit, by a lot, I mean, this could get down to like... Space Station doesn't have any else, and they need to go fast. They know this. They know there's no way that once again doesn't have ult, so they need to go fast to get these ult now.
To just free farm.
Layers of defense for Shy. With Brig, it's Diva, even Lee can turn around and get involved in that fight. There's Bliss falling there to a whip shot.
Yep. And then all they got was Brig out. Well, I guess they got Bob out too. But I mean, like, look at their ults. So they're in a better spot now. My only concern is the Juno ult with Blade stack here.
I think maybe catch SSG off just a little bit. SSG will move to the choke yet again.
That's my concern.
We are almost already below a minute.
And look at the perk that Shy's picked up, just to make sure that Coach Gun is even more effective at keeping it a safe distance. Oh, the pressure onto the back line with that dynamite is going to be felt by all on Space Station side.
Okay.
Big ultimates build up.
And ult now. They both need an ult. Yeah, we got an ult duel. Sugar Free trades out. Good boop there. Leave is now out of the team fight. Space Station uses everything. Once again uses everything. Now it's just going to be a just trade out and see who wins. This is weird because, in my opinion, and maybe Sugar Free gets the kill here. Oh no.
Throughout the entire fight, right? Lee just backs up into the building.
I've been there. Don't worry, it happens.
And then you're able to just come back right out onto the point.
That's just one of those.
SSG, they get about
so,
20%
if you want to know what happened there, at least I can kind of guess. That is, and I describe it on stream sometimes. It's the I think I got the kill. So you're worried about what to do next before you finish the kill. I'll give you a sports reference. It happens in football sometimes, or even in baseball, where you'll always hear like the player started to make the next move before they actually made the play. Right? Ever watch like a wide receiver drop a wide open pass in the middle of the field because they think they might get tackled, so they just drop the pass, or the player that will catch a pass and start running with the ball before they see them catch it? That's the same thing there. Is like you think you have the kill and you're like, okay, I have the kill, right? And then you just like you're thinking about, okay, now what are we gonna do next? We're in a 3v3. I kill the Ashe. Where am I going? Sometimes you just gotta finish the kill.
And then also, but when you lose the Genji there, and
that's what happens.
There's nobody else that can.
Yeah, and baseball, it's the same thing. So like before the ball hits your glove, you're already trying to throw it to first base.
You're just kind of
right?
screwed because
like you're going into the motion of it. So it happens in video games too.
And there's not going to be anyone else left to deal with him. Shy cleverly makes sure the dynamite doesn't actually collide with the hitbox of the Genji. He gets behind him and then he detonates it.
And
it can happen.
Doesn't have the ability to access that
you know, I would love for Space Station to full hold this, but I don't. Once again, it's just on another level right now. It's crazy.
He would have just died, you know, just with the damage it would have come in for the high ground there on the Shy. So Kellen is actually stuck kind of in no man's land, so to speak, over the point.
I'm just trying to think what Space Station can do to, like... I don't even, like, know why they're losing some team fights. Maybe they're just having an off day, too, right?
If he exposes himself for even just a second here, it's an easy pounce for once again.
This would be a
we'll see.
You would play the Winston with, right? If you're once again, but... no, now you have League A in, so probably not going to do that here. It's going to be a TP, just gets Shy up there on the high ground there. It looks like they're going to put Mew up there as well. Actually, it's going to be just Mew to this. This is the high ground.
Obviously, like, defense matrix isn't great here against SSG, but I just don't think that's a huge concern for Liga. He can still create space, has boot potential. There it is. Sugar Free taken down. That Mei wall completely useless in that situation. And Bliss is out in the open. Well, folks, we're here for a good time, not a long time, as they say. Leaves having to deal with CJ. The sticky bombs find their mark. And oh, buddy, it is brutal stuff out here. Space Station Gaming dragged out into the town square, forced to...
Yeah, I mean, this is they're going to get grinded down anyway.
And we're going to be heading off to a third map in just a moment. Sugar Free brought down.
Yep.
This is not exactly what NA would want to pin their hopes on, as once again are determined to advance.
I mean, picks the Echo, one of his signature heroes.
I just don't know. Like, the matches aren't even close right now. That I don't even know like where the adjustment would be made. I think it needs to be a playstyle adjustment. I think they just need to like.
And it's like a sim and
whatever they're doing playstyle-wise, just go polar opposite and just go with it. Because I think that's what's going to disrupt once again. That was a big part of Nightmare earlier, and I was explaining that when it was happening during the Nightmare match. Is that... Yeah, Circuit Royale, that's what I thought. Nightmare was not playing scared at all. I didn't get to see Ilios, right? I saw the tail ends of King's Row when Nightmare was playing, but they did not play scared. They were in, and they were bringing the fight to CR, and CR was not ready for that. So, the same thing needs to happen with SSG versus OA here is, like, you just need to bring the fight to them, and then, like, you also need to make those individual plays at times. I mean, Zero was hitting pulse bomb after pulse bomb, getting pick after pick. Right? Like, think about this on King's Row. I'm not saying this would have happened, but you're an Ashe kill away from capturing first point and maybe giving yourself opportunity to win the match, right? Little things like that are the make or break in these games, and we saw it happen on King's Row. The adjustment, you know, go a map like Circuit Royale, slow it down a bit. If you win here, then maybe you gain momentum and you gain more confidence in the ability to go win the game.
You could hitting every shot, especially what we saw on Li Xiang Tower. Very compelling performance from once against Hitscan. Space Station decide to go for the Winston composition.
All right, here we go.
A moment here for Sugar Free on the Widow.
Yeah, they're just going Widow for an early pick. Are they running the double sniper? No, okay, there's the Meg. So pretty much everything we expected to happen so far has. Now, once again, is playing the Pharah, like spam comp. We saw, I think we saw, what, VP go that to no avail, but different team, different scenario. So, Seeker's getting a little bit of map control there. Hits the shot on Shy. Doesn't get the headshot, but enough to make Shy have to reposition a little bit. On paper, Space Station has the better comp right now. On paper. But if your Brig dies to a Sojourn, then that you have to back away, because now the Diva gets value.
As well for SSG, right? Like, sure, you can swing on that Diva, but Liga's not going to consistently stand there and fight, right? So you're just getting kind of constantly poked down from all different angles. And especially now for once again, right? You control this bridge area, you can really put SSG in an odd situation.
So where does the edges come from? Like a pick on Leave would be good, but he can skirt back here and continue to play yet another corner.
Wait, there we go. And sorry, I'm just eating my food chat, so if I mute my mic for a second, don't say anything, that's why. First time eating today, so I needed to. Nothing really spectacular starting right now. Once again, just building up Juno ultimate. This is going to be maybe, nope, there it is again. I mean, Shy is getting pick after pick. You just can't, like, what do you do when your whole gameplay right now is, okay, we finally catch up to them, also now we got to back up. Bliss is going back to spawn. Like, that's just, it's just, and they pop Juno ultimate. And that was because they were trying to save Bliss. So now it's like you can't do anything and you just reset. Only positive note to that, they got all Brig ult, now they have their own Brig ult.
And I think Space Station have to take some solace in the fact that they've drawn out both of these support ultimates from once again. But for SSG, well, what are you hanging your hat on? Already? Okay, let's get back in the game. What do you reckon?
What's that?
Forced out of Sugar Free there. There's a Blizzard that can be useful, but only if you get deep into enemy formation. It's a weird comp for Space Station, I'll be honest.
Yeah, SSG, I mean, you do have a rally in the mix, right? But how are you closing this gap with this space, right? With that Sojourn and Pharah, as Shy takes a little bit of damage. Maybe it's his Seeker overclock that opens it. No, it is not.
Just
damn.
Down there with overclock, out of the game.
I mean, Bliss gets a kill, but good news for Space Station is once again is running out of ultimates. All they have is Diva ult, which shouldn't get anybody. Meetup, thanks for the 48 months to tier 1. Thanks.
Still has that rally. Mew's going to build back up about halfway to his yet again, where maybe this is an opportunity for SSG, but May doesn't exactly play well into this as we're below a minute already.
Look at what the Ramatra man has done to my boy. It's just, it's so filthy. Like, how are they supposed to get value out of some of these ultimates? I've just yet to see it. Here's the rally coming out from Bliss. Once again, in theory, can disengage from this. And Kellen's trying to make that a little bit more complex by knocking once again back into the fight. It's a good idea, and it does catch Shy out. That's the first step. Leave here, healthy enough, playing from a distance. Liga knocked out of mech. That's the second step. Space Station now starting to put it together. And they've not left themselves a lot of time, but better late than never, folks.
Do they get the cart close enough?
There's a retake possibility here. That's why the D.Va ult didn't happen. They believe they can do it. They're going to have to use Mayel as a defensive point out. Great wall. That wall was great. Good job.
They're able to do so. So a May wall is actually used there by Sugar-Free up on the high
Yep,
ground.
that was well played.
Even that exit. But once again, they will concede. Is
Alright,
that enough
done with my
for
food?
SSG to get the first point?
So Kellen has more mobility than a lot of attacking tanks in this position.
Yeah.
So doesn't have to just stand and get peppered by hit scan damage while he walks slowly up the
Backline
slope.
Blizzard with May? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea.
Try and get in people's face, but again, once again with a rally, and they have got all their ultimates coming back online momentarily, Matt. And they're going to ration them out. They're going to make this costly for Space Station. Only spending the rally.
Do you notice, chat, how every single time right now, once again, is playing very, very, very aggressive? Like, they're just not giving any setup time. Space Station is, like, on their back foot right now. They need to be aggro. And it doesn't necessarily mean just jump into them and hope for the best. It means, like, if they're going to give you a little bit of space to do something, take that space. Don't just sit there. Like, Kellen should go up top now, which probably will happen next, right where the Sojourn is.
I hope he's not hanging around for Winter Wonderland. He's out of there.
Blizzard, like, as you're moving up the high ground as well.
Good bubble by Kellen. Nice. Good job. Good ult by CJ. Shy does commit the ult here. And they're going to win that again.
There's layers to this, folks. Once again, like, the sweetest kind of onion you could ask for. Will just stomp Space Station down once more.
And I wonder, do you see
Melon, thanks to the 11 months of the Prime, so thank you. Appreciate it. Okay, so Space Station has Sojourn Ultimate, Brig Ult, and Winston Ultimate. These are two solid ultimates here. The only thing that cannot have happen is getting picked off early. That's been an issue they've ran into, is they keep getting picked off early, and they're engaged on. Kellen needs to jump in right now on the next jump, ult in, just make pressure again. That's what won in the first team fight. So jump in, put backline pressure on him, force an ult out, and then just go in. Yep. They end up leading with a Brig ultimate, which is a good idea. It's not the best play, but it's not the worst play. Now they're going to lead in with their own Brig ult, which, I mean, maybe. I think they're going to kill the Sojourn soon. Nope. Nice job. Well played. Well played. And keep in mind, Chad, this team fight led off with a Brig ult from Space Station. They set the tone. They led the team fight. That was really well played. Sugar-Free wants to push up to the doorway here to be able to dictate a good wall while also farming a little bit of damage. At the same time, Kellen wants to take a little bit of poke damage here in order to build up the next Juno ultimate. They know that they have a possibility of that. So both players are trying to farm their ults. Sugar-Free's going to probably wall this off soon. This is basically to buy some more time. There's the wall. D.Va does get through a little bit, right? Obviously has the ultimate, so they're not too concerned about this. Ult's in a good spot for Space Station to survive that and disengage. Now they're going to have their Juno ultimate, which is going to be popped ASAP. They're not even going to wait. It's not even a question. Now the decision is the Sugar-Free ult or not. And the answer should be yes. But it doesn't matter because Leave did not leave much for them to do. So there you go.
On the ground, a failure to launch for the NA team on its attack side. And surely a gruesome fate awaits them.
It's exactly how the devs...
It is holdable. I want to point that out. It is holdable still.
Gripping everybody in, followed
It is holdable still.
And that is just no response there that you can have for SSG. You had the orbital rays used early on and then just followed up after that. So they were never actually able to get Liga, right? Liga actually just uses self-destruct.
Man, that was rough.
He's able to get a touch.
It was a great barrage. Oh, the barrage was awesome.
Split him off, put some more pressure on.
Oh, the barrage was awesome.
Again, coming through that choke, but once that orbital array comes, SSG's forced to like turn, and they're in a terrible spot.
There's a feeling the Space Station know their time is short. It's kind of written on their faces. A look of resignation here, knowing that they were pitted against one of the very best teams from this era and the previous one. Couldn't hang with him in the dive comp. Couldn't make the hazard look work. We're hoping probably to play Ramatra on this map. That was taken away from them.
The matches are insane today. Oh, yeah. I mean, next match is going to be unreal. I mean, let's say that once again wins this.
In terms of like their banning throughout this entire series,
I just want to point out, once again, is going to play against CR. I mean, you're getting that on a day 2, that matchup. That's going to be a good one. I hope at least.
That would benefit them a little bit.
That's the thing. We got to hope it's a good
one. They'll continue with that Mei. This time, no combo with a Sigma. So this is a little bit more kind of like traditional of what you would think with playing the Mei with a Sigma.
Certainly more conventional take from the poke comp.
All right, here we go.
Decent long-range potential on her own. It's a Sombra again for Leave. Okay, so we are debating about this.
Yeah, this is far.
Yep, because of the May.
It was so effective in the last round. Why, you know, for Sigma to end up using the kinetic grasp, the amount of poke you have on
Isn't that a matchup tomorrow? I think it's today, isn't it?
Push them back methodically.
I legitimately think that, don't they play today? CR versus O, because it's going to be, yeah, because it's lower bracket semifinals. Tomorrow is lower bracket finals, or upper bracket finals, lower bracket finals, grand finals. So yeah, it should be today. Yes.
Doesn't really have the room to get back to
Yep.
safety because Liga keeps knocking on his front door. And Shy has a great little vantage point to work from here, but sees Seeker off towards Coast, and we'll respect that. Seeker's being knocked around by a concussive blast here, though, and now here we go once again.
I'm just looking at HP here. I think Space Station's losing map control really badly.
That is gone. Accretion Shield not available for him now as Seeker's trying to slide on away.
Okay, Juno Waltz are catching up now. Sugar Free. They're trying to basically make it so the Diva gets a lot, like, less value. Shy's low. Great pick by Seeker there. They cannot trade out now. Do not trade out. Do not give any kills to him. Win this cleanly. Win this cleanly, and you just...
So, I mean, Mew ends up using a rally there. It's actually CJ using the orbital raise, so...
Yeah, I don't blame CJ for popping that. You have to. Still kind of was clean. I think that's fine, because with the ultimates that Space Station has at hand right now, I think they're going to be okay there. Like, I think they're going to be okay, you know? We'll see, though.
Now you'll have Mew actually move away from Break and go over to Ana. So you're going to be able to, like, nano leave, right? With those, like, you know, moving nano barrages. Those are just, like,
Get in your bucket, buddy. Get in your bucket. Okay, that's not your bucket, but it works. This Farrell ult's been really good too. Seeker with a lead off ult. I don't mind this. I think a lead off ult by Seeker is really strong. Ooh, all the time and still gets the kill on Shy. But like an extra second there, and that's a kill on Farrah too. But I mean, that's all you need. Just one pick, right? What's the old song? One pick is all you need. The possibilities, right? So, hey, buddy.
Some time as well with that kill onto Shy, as you're not going to continue to move up.
And one pick is all it takes.
Gravitic Flux at the ready for Kellen. Leave has that barrage. So I wonder maybe they're waiting on here. A bit of a combo with the nano boost to play off that. Torpedoes have to be used now. Shy got hit with that accretion, a little bit ugly. Leaves low. Liga going to be knocked out of mech and hoping to get back in and keep that.
Okay, Bliss uses ultimate. Diva ult is used. Juno ult right now. Gonna have to May ult the combo to prevent the Juno ult. Yeah, they basically they're May ulting and Sigma ulting at the same time, which actually can be a really strong combo. I mean, listen. Wait, leave Farrah ulted? That's best case scenario.
On defense with that May definitely has a lot more synergy.
That is best case scenario. Because that was my concern, was that they could nano Farrah and make it an impossible. Now they're just going to have a nano, but Juno outverses it. Like, there's a chance that if they do this right, Kellen's going to take a little bit of poke, just a little bit. Oh, apparently Kellen just left. Good, buddy, ready? Come on, Sully. Sully, I'm telling you, you're... Okay.
Kellen always has an option to stop Liga in his tracks. Now it's going to be Shy. He needs to find an opening.
3, 2, pop it now. Seeker gets a kill. They trade on Brig, though. May. Yep, there's the... why am I making call-outs? D-Mech Diva. Diva doesn't have ult. Nice shot by Monk. I think they're going to another map. There it is. And there you go. Space Station slows it down, plays some good Overwatch, and gets some momentum. Exactly what they needed. Can they ban 2 heroes of the same role?
Yeah, Hunter was happy to be there. Great.
Yes.
I'm surprised.
No, actually, no. I don't know. No, because that's why protection bans exist. Yeah, no, you can't, because protection bans are where you ban a hero in a random category. Yeah, no, you can't. So. How am I? I'm good. How about you?
We should come out with a
You're tired of
got Johnny's face on it in JX.
Once again, get to set the game conditions to favor themselves, bring Gushui back in, and are ready to put their favorite comp out there.
And it goes a little bit like we expected, right? With once again using a ban to protect the Winston.
How many days of this are left? Tomorrow. Tomorrow's another set of matches.
And then for SSG, you get rid of that Ana, but once again, wasn't
Here we
really
go.
showing much Ana play with these compositions anyway. They were pretty much going to play this Lucio, Kiri, regardless.
All right,
so,
we kind of knew the comps.
set yourself up, at least for
Can
SSG,
Space Station gain some momentum from the last map, or will be
what's coming.
another stomp?
There's not going to be any type
Let's
of,
find out.
surprise mystery here. It's just, can you beat it?
Leave on the Tracer, of course.
I guess you just kind of slow play it. How did Nightmare win? They played very, very well. Nightmare played lights out today. All right, just going to slow play. It's a little bit different than we've seen because we haven't seen double Winston on this map in a while. We've like seen like a Winston. We haven't seen double Winston. So a lot of it's just letting your Sojourns take time to sit on high ground, play the neutral for a minute, and then eventually both teams can Tsune in, unless your Sojourn gets a pick. It's very like tentative on that. Or like right there, getting Seeker low and then diving the Winston in. That was the correct dive. Just a really good reaction by Space Station. Like I don't think that was a bad dive, is what I'm saying. And the reason being is because their Sojourn got one shot, right? So like you're thinking, okay, I dive in and get the kill, but the reaction by Space Station was excellent. Fall back, peel, and then take the fight. So good start by Space Station, and a good adjustment because I don't think that was happening as much. I think they were at times they were not helping where they could have, and they weren't diving when they could have. So no, I don't think there'll be 6v6 in OWCS. Unless, of course, they make that the core game. Right now, 5v5 is. No idea how that will go. Kitsune, Space Station doesn't know they have this time, but if they Kitsune, they have a slight time in here to go and roll. They got to use it sooner than later, though. If they wait, there we go. Yep. And I don't think, once again, can counter with this. This is a checkpoint for, really early checkpoint for Space Station. Yep.
Looking like they are worthy foes.
Sometimes it just
Cassidy's pretty good right now. Yeah, we've seen Cassidy played like what, twice today. Checkpoint. Getting the checkpoint early is so key because of that spawn thing where you get better spawns. So an early start here is very good. I kind of hope Kellen plays this aggro still. Keep the map control and get an early lead.
SSG off to a fantastic start.
And finally, there's a pick here from Shy as opposed to just good.
What a great job. Even if they lose this, I love this play. I don't even know if they're going to lose it either. They might Winston out now because, yeah, exactly. Because Kellen basically can get isolated. Oh, no. Yep. Good out. Good reaction. That was my concern when I saw the Winston jump in. It's like, there's a pretty good chance you're going to get Winston ulted on
this type of competition with this team, right? So I think obviously Sugar Free getting off to a better start, being able to take out 2 players.
How many more matches today? After this series, another one. And then that's the last match after that for the day. And then it'll be again tomorrow. It's the winner of this match plays CR. Good dive and play. I mean, they didn't really have anything there. Sugar Free could maybe trade this out with a pulse bomb, but I think it's better just to reset for the next team fight. Usually a team effort, Poet.
Maybe a little greedy. It does give once again a window back into the game, and you'll notice that they're close to their own checkpoint here too.
Well, that's the thing. I think if you're once again, you have enough time to look at this a little bit in stages, right? Like if you get checkpoints here, right, it's going to be about like 50, 60 meters. It puts yourself
just keep chilling.
Distance. You don't have to wait at that checkpoint again.
I think Stadium would have its own separate stuff. I don't think they would do it for OWCS.
Because there's still a lot of time on the clock.
Now they once again can play from, Space Station's home bridge.
Playing the neutral. Don't need to do anything right now. Both teams are chilling. Sugar Free just needs to sit there and keep the bot going for as long as possible. Let everybody else duel it out. Looks like once again gained a little bit of map control. Not a ton, but a little bit. Okay, now they lost it again.
A bit of Sojourn would be massive. Or a Sojourn railgun that's followed up on by that pulse bomb would also be a very viable opening.
Yes, I think both these teams, man, they're so cautious of trying to push into these Sojourn players on both sides. I mean, you obviously know how good Seeker and Shy are, but you never want to give them an advantage, especially because it feels like they always have a charged railgun in their back pocket.
Both teams agree.
This is actually a really early cleanse here. Damn. Yeah, I mean, good kill. I mean, they're going to lose the team fight, but those kills here by Sugar Free and Bliss are actually really important. Because now, normally what you would do is you would just set up on the high ground and just sit there, right? But now, there's a world where they're going to, I was going to say, they can go to the checkpoint and then they can't get it.
I think it's probably the
They're going to back away. They have to back away. They lost too many people.
They're in a little bit of trouble.
Normally, you would just set up and be fine, but you lost because those 2 picks happen. They don't get the checkpoint yet. And right now, this checkpoint is really important to like hold because of that instant spawn later on. Kellen with an aggressive backline play forces out Beat. Bliss can now use Beat defensively if Bliss gets it in time, or what a unique sequence. There's the Winston ult. Kellen's probably dead there. Can't use Winston ult here. I mean, yeah, Winston might be able to get the kill, but like you can't. You're not going to counter beat the Winston ult because it ain't worth it. You're all going to spawn up quickly anyway, so why waste Beat there? And now you know you have an ult advantage for a little bit. They'll be back. They'll be back before this gets through the archway. The spawns are really quick. Yep. There it is. Now it's going to be kind of a slower play for a bit here, unless they decide to go for like a Beat Sojourn ultimate or like a Sojourn ultimate lead. So yeah.
In a position to succeed once again and now threatening, but
yeah, you get 10 points per competitive win in Stadium. Once again's gonna pop. Once again's gonna pop Kitsune early, and then that's gonna be the problem. They're playing it too safe right now on Space Station. But like, there's not really. They don't have a good option either. That's the problem. And once again doesn't want to push because they know that Space Station has Beat. Love that dive. Keep Shy off the high ground. All right, ready for double Kitsune? 3, 2, 1, and no one budged. Okay. There it is. But there's the beat advantage we had mentioned. Yep.
Hold a candle to it in this context. Monk had that Kiriko ultimate ready, but they're not able to manufacture an advantage.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed this, chat. Space Station saved their Kitsune.
Pulse bomb doesn't really go for much here.
Damn.
Still holding on to his. Dude, this is dangerous though because once again you're going to be able to regroup. You're going to get this sound barrier to use it for Mew, and you already got that check.
I think Kellen's just going to dive in deep and be aggressive, so you can use Beat, but it might be good enough to survive.
Bot back in control of Space Station now. There's the Beat though from Mew. Sees Kellen whistle past. He's got that primal.
Kellen's just going to back away. You force out Beat, you go back to play to live.
So once again uses at least to get in pole
position, but problem is once again now has an advantage.
Space Station have had time.
Space Station basically needs an individual pick because you don't have the ultimates to rely on right now. Leave is going to do the same thing. They're all in it on the Sojourn in a second. There it is. This is the pulse, but they trade. Huge pick. They might trade on Winston right now.
Such good looks. They are hanging for this once again team. They have a lead on the bot. They can drag the game out from here.
Yeah, but Winston has ult.
As long as they can stay ahead.
I would say what SSG is doing a little bit better here, Mitch, as opposed to some of the earlier dives, right? Is obviously once
Kellen will be back, but honestly, I think they might be better. This is a toughie. Okay, they're not going for the lead. Okay, you're good. The Winston has ult. That's the problem here. So like, they're playing it slow. This is kind of good for Space Station. They should recognize that they have a little bit of a time in here to reset. Yeah. I think they're trying to stall for both support ults. That's the play here. Yeah, Beat. They're like 97 on Beat. They get beat in time. There's a good chance here. They kill Tracer. I mean, they kill Lucio. Sugar Free with a huge pick because that would have been their counter beat later on. Still gets Sojourn. Yeah, but they get the kill.
And out to 4v4. Lenny has the pulse though. Gouchouet now low. Monk was able to get the Kitsune rush out before he went down. And Mew will return to the fight now, theoretically with a sound barrier, but it's too late to keep Gouchouet alive.
Yep.
Space Station, cool as cucumbers.
This is a good game of Overwatch. The only problem, Kellen gets a huge last-second pick. This is going to give them... I want to watch their spawns right now. Okay, they got good spawns still, so they're going to be main. Play high ground, play smart, and then they're going to be... This is going to be a tough matchup. They want the card to get underneath the archway, or at least closer, so that way it's 2 team fights. Yep. They're going to slow play it.
They got the lead, they just need to not fumble, but Shy's going to come now with this overclock, and he's looking dangerous. SSG.
They disengage correctly. Ideally, you go for a pulse bomb and get beat out by having an accurate pulse bomb.
Pulse bomb from Sugar Free to even the odds in this fight. Shy's under pressure. It's going to be a primal rage here coming out from Kellen's sound barrier for once again now. transpires. Seeker's got the off angle, was being harassed by Gushue in the backside, and CJ ultimately falls. Player advantage now for the Chinese. Gets caught out.
That might be the game.
Again, eyeing off a chance to end this series. Put Space Station away before they get too big for their boots.
Sugarfree's gonna get on, get a touch though, right? Just needs to slow this bot down, but he ends up falling here as Kellen's gonna get back in the action.
And now, Space Station is staggering in. One by one after Sugarfree falls, they've got to
no! That's it.
And so,
once again, clutches it. And I'll be real with you. Space Station set themselves up for a win there. They set themselves up for a win. It was so close. But there you go. Once again wins. Space Station is now eliminated. And we get, once again, versus CR up next.
Let's chill out.
Thanks for all the name suggestions. We don't even have a point to even do that yet.
But the Sombra is there from Leave, actually. It's going to roll out on this Sombra.
And Cass.
So, yeah.
But I'm worried. I mean, the DPS are going to have a field day from Crazy Raccoon. So much.
Well, Lonnie's parents had her at 40.
Sombra knows what he's up against. Really can just win.
Lonnie's parents had her at 40.
Lip is in a god spot on this high ground. How do you evict him from the spot?
Yeah, spread out. A lot of poke damage coming through here. Onto once again.
Yep.
And now, with the point unlocking, it's a game of who can capture the point, who can put pressure onto the point and force the opponent to make a move.
I mean, much more difficult for Gushue to cross this distance. Look, he has no.
All right, so we got Diva versus Wrecking Ball. I mean, honestly, this is a pretty good matchup. Only problem is, like, and I've seen this before, okay? And again, I think once again is definitely on a different level than some of the teams we've seen try this strategy. But I find that sometimes, and once again, it could be recency bias, anytime a team tries to heavily counter,
it's a really hard composition for once again to play here.
Like to heavily counter.
It's so defensive. It's so passive. Now they're going to try and make this rotation to point with the help of the brig. She's lost
the Wrecking Ball, it doesn't go well.
Attack this rotate. You're caught in a very awkward spot in the corner. You have a hack on the Pharah, but can you actually follow it up? No, Lip is there controlling that high ground.
Did your dad and stepmom had your twin sisters at 46? Oh, damn.
They're struggling to just maintain the position on the point. They just get beaten down by this poke, and realistically,
I have cats. I do have cats.
Incredibly comfortable in this position.
They're looking so strong, and Junbin.
I'm just saying, like, every time I see a team like really try to like just like put pressure against Wrecking Ball, it always is the same thing because he's so good at it. You know?
Creating opportunities and Shu, Lip, Heesing, firing on all cylinders. They want to continue on in this tournament, but of course, only one team can.
Going for a bit of a rotate here with Gushue, but even if Gushue gets the Nano here, like, it's so hard to get to a Brig and the Ana. Monk finds a pick on the Heesang. That's an opening.
Wait for it.
Really needed if you once again.
The other 4 players from Crazy Raccoon, though, aren't going to give this one up. They still have a lot of HP. Lip onto the high ground.
Vocarito, thanks to the 10 months of the Prime. Thank you, Hiimishie. Hope you have a great day, too. Okay, huge pick there with the Diva. Keep in mind, also, the reason why you're not seeing the Winston, like, once again, is not in a spot where this is their strongest comp. Obviously, when they're running the Winston, it is. So, good recovery by once again to like take the point there and at least not make it like a first round stomp. Get some health pack control. Maybe win this next team fight with an EMP. You know, that EMP could even counter Bob because I think when Bob gets EMP'd, it's longer than a right-click hack. So, a lot of opportunity here. You just once again cannot let them like ult on them. They might EMP those mines if they need to. Okay, they won't. Ooh, are they just resetting? They have to, yeah. Don't ult. Don't ult. They called for the reset already. It's technically the smart play. I just don't like it. And the reason why I don't like it is because, like, it's just a rough retake. It's not bad by any means. Don't get me wrong. It's just, it can be annoying, right? But when they push to your spawn doors, try to kill your Brig and you sleep them, and you get a free pick on a Wrecking Ball, which, by the way, that is a play that Junbin doesn't go for too often. That was it's 84% if we kill this Brig, we win type of play, and then gets caught off guard. So, oh, the ults are great. Oh, once again, when I say I don't love that, I'm not saying it's not a good play. I'm saying that I hate when I have to give up the point there when it could be easily won beforehand. Like it is the correct play. Like that is the best play, the S tier play is to just reset, not ult. I just don't like when I'm in that spot. You know. Nomad Trucker, thank you for the 5 gifted. Appreciate it, Nomad Trucker. Heck yeah. Thank you. It's very kind. All been super awesome. I appreciate it. Yep.
for Crazy Raccoon, but once again,
Okay. So, high noon, Nano. Probably going to have the Nano the Diva now. Not yet, actually. The Diva will buy him a little bit of time. Then you Nano.
Can't follow up on Negushi if he takes some big headshots in the mech, losing armor.
Who got Nano?
Extremely low now, and Junbin on the case, punishing that backline, forcing them into a defensive posture.
And D-Rock, thank you for the 5 gifted. I appreciate that. Thank you.
Surely, this is too much for once again to come back.
The Bob, the Nano.
Rigel in.
Damage coming through here. The rally's gonna go down, and once again, not gonna be able to contend for this first.
Good recovery, though, by once again, though. That ended up being a good first round. Okay? But thank you, Nomad, and thank you, D-Rock. Seriously, thank you, everybody. Y'all have been very kind. We'll see those blankies emotes. Or we have the gift emotes, too. You're following. You get the follow emote. You know, listen, we'll see. Lozy, thanks for the 57 months of the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. Thanks.
Emongg blankies.
Should be a good one.
You know, the Cassidy, the Sombra.
Yeah, we got that emote.
Can punish a mortal Wrecking Ball player.
Good first round. All right, on to the next one here. I don't expect to see any Widow. Still on the Sombra.
To get going and to really get into the round. Now Shy is going to take the mirror.
Maybe switches to Tracer after the TP, but probably going to end up on Sombra.
Mirroring on the hit scan, playing that equal range. But once again, Crazy Raccoon on the Wrecking Ball comps, they're just so unpredictable. They're so hard to respond to. Leave on the Sombra, going to be tasked with mitigating some of the threat from that ball.
Yeah, I mean, this is Crazy Raccoon's
and Glitch, thanks for the 2 months that Prime set. Thank you, appreciate it. Thank you.
Over the course of a year now.
Tracer's banned, good call. That's why Leave's on Sombra now too. It makes more sense. Because Leave, yep, makes sense. Good call. I wasn't even looking at that. And Magdal, thanks for the 24 months that tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it. What are the little things like with the hands? Hand warmers. It gets very cold, very, very cold. In my experience of ever being on a stage or being like at an event is they crank the AC. The Claw, thanks for the 5 gifted. Thank you, appreciate it. Thanks.
And the Stagger. Got nowhere to go.
Thank you for the 5 gifted. They always crank the AC.
They could delay him really hard. He's gonna have to go off the map.
Yeah.
This is gonna be another 5%. And you really can't walk up without your Diva. I mean, once again, are just gonna have to wait completely in the spawn. Way too dangerous to move forward. Mew goes over to the Lucio.
Wow.
Leave on the Pharah. Lucio is a wild
Here we go.
Here, and the Maga. I don't know, Johnny.
Thank you, everybody. Seriously.
They're going to go full aggro. Maybe they can cross the distance, but there's going to be so much disruption coming in. Now it's Junbin's time.
Again, a rough start. There you go. So officially now they're off the Sombra. They're just off Sombra now. There's no more like trying to force this play or see if you can like, heck up the Wrecking Ball. They go to the Maga comp. What the Maga comp is something CR struggles against a little bit. But, Pretty Baby Lily, thank you for the 10 gift. What's going on, everybody? Thank you. Appreciate y'all.
If you want to play with pace, like I kind of
What's my ideal room temp? I don't know, like 72.
That's a very difficult task.
I can't have it be too cold. And I can't have it. So the problem I run into, and like I said, seriously, thank you again. Y'all have been very, very kind. And I am the patient. Thanks for the 1,500 bits. To tell Sully you say hello. He heard me. He's over there sleeping on the chair, though.
Sully,
thank you.
say hello.
Seriously,
That I love him.
Unreal. Thanks for all the love. And Windy Bird, thank you for the 500 bits. But if I get too cold, I get like this, like, I don't know if anybody else gets this, but I'll get like, it's almost like cold anxiety or something. I get really like, so I think that's because when I grew up, and I'm not joking, my mom would put the AC on 59. 59 degrees.
Dude, this was not even close.
So I think I got used to, like, I did not like that cold. Yep. Well, here, in her defense for that, though, my mom has fibromyalgia, and fibromyalgia you can get really, really hot. Like, really, really hot. So I would just wear a hoodie, so because I understood, like it's just like you get really like overheated, basically. So I get it, but yeah, it was cold.
I'm kind of curious, Jake. Do you think that Crazy Raccoon? Do you think they want
good bans? Good bans by both teams. This is going to be Sojourn Tracer. Yep. Unless something crazy happens, but I don't think it'll happen.
At some point, it hasn't.
I'm ready, chat. I think it's time for like my monthly cat photo on Instagram or on Twitter or something. I need to like just post a cat photo. Do I have any cat photos anyway? Let me look. And Mint, thanks for another 10 gifted there. Holy crap. Thank you, Mid.
Incredibly dominant.
What's going on? I just appreciate that. He says, you know I don't care about this OWCS. You are absolutely incorrect. If I didn't care about this OWCS, I would not be on at 2 a.m. to watch it. I like watching esports. I like doing it. I like co-streaming it.
Here we go, dude.
Straight up.
This is
So I don't know what you're talking about, but hey.
Two of the best teams in the world going head to head.
Ooh, Shu with an early pick.
What?
Across the point?
Okay, I didn't know he had it like that. I mean, I guess I did, but come on.
I co-stream all the time.
Can we restart the map?
I mean, that was so fast. I actually think once again can regroup and fight.
Dude, he has 30% ult charge.
Shu,
the point hasn't even unlocked.
Dude, Shu is taking over. Shu lost to an NA team, and he said, no more. We're coming back in the server.
Angry, crazy raccoons. I'm here for it.
Take some space on the point.
Here we go.
Away. Early cap for CR. Shu with some heavy damage pressure. Once again, reeling, trying to find something. Shy took another kunai to the face there. Man, Shu is on a heater. He's 60% to rush. This guy is out of control right now.
So look to leave here to open things up for once again.
Wow, what a start for like CR. I mean, like, what do you do, right? Like, what do you do when you just pick off the other Kiriko right away? Like, if you're once again and you just lose your Kiriko in 2 seconds, like you just sit there and go, okay.
Control on the point for Crazy Raccoon. Sojourn tried to take space.
Really, Elcor? That's funny.
Opportunity here for CR, but Junmin is slow. Has to stabilize. Heesang finds a pick on a Shy. Flanking Tracer being ignored because Heesang finding all the kills.
Seriously, y'all have been very kind. Thank you. I mean, that's just like, I'm gonna be real with you. I think once again they can't even like they're not gonna recontest this point. This is just holy crap. That was a rough start. Let's just resettle.
I mean, firing on all cylinders, barely even.
I mean, I guess they could tap point. I just saw Lucio go back, so they're probably going to speed boost the team. But, like, is it worth it? I don't even know. Tracer's going to touch. Lee's going to touch. You're good, you're good. Okay, so they are going to go for it.
Thank you. Realistically, so hard to once again here.
Don't have beat, though. Like, I just don't. Nice beat. That was huge. That might get him back into it, but it still might not. That pulse bomb certainly was on the map somewhere. I mean, they get the kills, but I just don't think it's enough. Net, thanks for the 100 bits. Thanks, appreciate it. I mean, that was a rough. I don't even like you. I don't even know if you can count that first point outside of on the scoreboard because that wasn't even like once again didn't even have a chance after they that initial start.
The first point. Now though, both teams with a Primal Rage and an Overclock here jostling for position. You want to get that line of sight. Lip's gonna pop it. Tons of damage coming through.
This could be a good Winston ult. Yeah. They're peeling back, but this is going to open up space elsewhere, so as long as they don't lose their Winston. Yep. Wait 2 seconds. Now go in, pop bubble. Might even be able to get the point if they can find whoever's holding it. Yep. Good job. That is the correct play, going for retake. They're in the neutral now, except he's saying he's going to have a pulse bomb coming up.
Pulse bombs are coming alive, as you say, but Lee goes down. It's a 5 versus 4 situation for Crazy Raccoon. Junmin is going crazy.
I mean, losing 2 people in a neutral fight. So whenever we like reference the neutral, it's just when nothing's happening ult-wise. Like you're just basically playing some Overwatch, right? No ultimates, no like. You're just playing like that. That's it. Like it's basically like you're just playing the first team fight. Hey, buddy, we're over here.
So this is a timing if you have it. Lip also finds a pick on the shot.
Damn.
So that is going to settle the game down a little bit. More poke coming through here. Shouldn't overcommit too much here. See if they can hunt the Tracer.
The Raccoons are just oozing with confidence, rotating around the map with ease. Leave under pressure, flanked alone.
Leave is going back to spawn. Oh no.
Now they're coming to fight, trying to get the cap.
They have to settle for a second. Yeah, this is definitely a way different CR team than we saw this morning. That's for sure. Not really. It's just this is more of the CR team you expect, right? But I mean, hey, a good pick by Shy, getting the point at a reasonable percentage right now. This is good.
He's saying, dying on the point, stable, consistent play for Crazy Raccoon.
This is good.
And in the end, it goes the way of once again, but that beat is costly. Now retake available for Crazy Raccoon with the beat advantage.
Yeah, that is a crucial point actually. Double support ultimate committed for once again. And yes, you get control of the point, but Crazy Raccoon, they just need one fight here. OC, Sound Barrier, They're in a great position to cap this second point out. Once again, actually, need to come up with a hero play.
Early beat from Chorong, not taking any risks, diving straight in. Shy has no second slide. In the focus fire now, jumping gets the clean up. Lip is traded, so this is still a winnable.
Pretty good trade there. They just followed. Well, thank you.
Already found that Kiriko, and onto the point now.
Winston ult. 100% Winston ult this. After that pick, you definitely are going to Winston ult this.
Here we go.
Yep.
Here's the primal.
I don't like they flipped the point, though.
Looking for kills. Raccoons find the flip in the chaos. Finman has a primal of his own, and Gushue so far not connected with the primal blade.
If Kiriko's back there right now, this could be huge. Oh no! They lost this. That's why I didn't want them to flip the point, because like.
Once again, can you even recommit? No, the point goes
nope.
away of the Raccoons. Up 2-0 on Surabasa, and so far
only positive to that is you kind of got a lot of ults out. So once again, could in theory make this a little bit better.
And his teammates weren't there to
so
back him up. You lose your Winston there. You have no space. You can't contest a point. You give it up. Once again, even though they have the overclock, the post bomb,
we'll see.
To Winston to set you up. You just have to forfeit that point, and now you're gonna have to try and reverse sweep Surabasa here. All the aggression from Crazy Raccoon.
Finds one, Lip traded out, but Sojourns are off the field. Crazy Raccoon happy to fight on low numbers. He's on the Tracer.
Dude, the CR is just popping right now.
One by one, point is open.
This is the last match of the day, yes.
Stepping onto the cap, once again, are bleeding out here on stage with the hometown crowd behind them. It is quiet in the venue right now, Johnny.
Crazy Raccoon demoted to the lower bracket, and this is the time they need Hiimishie to step up to the plate. People have questioned his Tracer play.
Shy.
And he goes down. 5 versus 4 now once again. This is the opening they needed. They have the ultimates too.
Just Tracer picks, not enough. Commitment from Crazy Raccoon, 4v5.
Yeah, they have to ult this. They can't sit there and play it safe.
Crazy Raccoon responding in kind is Mew with the better
yep.
lead.
If you have the ult, you just take this and win this. You know they've already wasted theirs. Winston doesn't have ults. You can just kill Junbin, yeah.
Resources with the rest of his back line forced away. Chorong dancing off the point, trying to create what space.
Doesn't even have to go over Chorong there.
He can. Raccoon still holding
just force Tracer off point. They're just stalling. Yep.
Once again,
ults are pretty even across the board right now, outside of the Sojourn, but that's basically it.
Give this one up 2-0 against them.
And Crazy Raccoon, they're happy to, do these ult trades. They're happy to make it expensive for once again. So yes, again, you forfeit the point, but now once again they only have the primal. Gushue, can he come up with a big moment here for his team?
He needs to. Primal already taking so much damage. The focus fire from Crazy Raccoon, they saw this one coming a mile away.
They want no business, dude.
This is no spring chicken. This is the Crazy Raccoon. Now they're regrouping, pushing it. Damage followed by Gushue, cleans up Lip.
You have till midnight to get today's set of drops.
Go for it here. He does have that primal advantage.
Eastern, that is.
Into the back line. Trades onto Shy. Pressure on to Leave. Struggling, trying to
I just don't.
Recall as long as he can.
If Leave can pick up a kill here, that'd be huge.
From Gushue, but he's getting juggled. Getting pressure. The follow-up isn't there from Hiimishie. Gushue low. Getting healed up though. Seemed to have stabilized for the moment, but it cost Leave his life. Once again,
they have to give up the point here, but CR has the momentum to go in.
2-0 lead in the series. They're continuing to chase now deeper and
very, very smart play by CR because they have the map control. And they know that, like, once again, can't take the duel now because of the percentages.
I wouldn't be surprised to see early investments as well, making it difficult.
I think they're going to...
Someone's going to have to touch here.
I think it's going to be Leave. Actually, I don't know if Leave can touch.
It's not going to be enough.
Yeah, it has to be Lucio.
Here he is on point. Gushue has no primal. Getting focus fire.
There's a good beat timing. They're just going all in on Winston. Holy crap.
And he's cleaning their clock with this overclock, completely wiping them off the point. Crazy Raccoon up 2-0 in the series already. Johnny, this is
Practice. Thanks for the 86 months with the tier 1. Thank you. Appreciate it. I think what once again needs to do is they need to play aggressive. I'm telling you right now, what made Nightmare win earlier, I have no doubts that Shy can get kills, that Leaf can get kills. You know, kind of like we saw Zera getting kills, right? I have no doubts that they can do that, but they need to be more aggressive because they're just letting CR dictate every single play. Every single play is being dictated by CR right now. Does their logo usually do that, or is that just random?
And so I think it's fair to say that they look unfazed right now by their position in this tournament. Once again,
I'm so confused.
in this series,
oh, that's who's banning next. I see now. It's a part of the animation for bans. I think I just realized that.
Surprising with how much Lucio Curie has been playing.
Yeah, I just realized that now.
Maybe this stabilizes things. Mew wants to give a shot for the Brig. Crazy Raccoon responsive ban on the
Sojourn ban.
All right,
Well, they're gonna run Pharah, right?
Comfortable map for Hitscan. Sojourn.
So Pharah.
Does this take us in like a Tracer Genji direction? You know, a Tracer Echo direction?
Yeah, I guess that would make sense.
Really
Yeah.
curious. Cassidy could just end up being the go-to, or Ashe. Too late. Crazy Raccoon.
You said Soldier was strong season 1. Yeah, we're
here in Hangzhou.
we're on season 16
honestly,
coming up.
They just need a moment, right? Like something to just spark a fire
So
here.
that should give you an idea.
Pun intended.
If the last reference point is season 1,
Rally the troops.
exactly.
They don't really have an answer to what Crazy Raccoon are throwing their way.
It's going to be Junbin and Guxue. No tank subs. Doubling down on the Winston.
Wow.
And a classic look on Route 66, right? But Brigana, I mean, Shu is going to be smiling all the way to the bank with this one. Shy going to go with the Cassidy on the defense. Curious to see what Lip's response is. I feel like the Widow, the Ashe, even a Hanzo could be strong choices.
I think the Widow is just a temporary pick at the beginning. So we have Cass Tracer versus Cass Tracer.
Okay.
There you go.
The Cassidys come out, and I think Lip going to be feeling good about this with how ridiculously strong Shy has often been on the Sojourn. It's old Overwatch here. Classic Winston on a Brig.
Yep.
See what the Cassidys can do. The Tracers are going to be under such
This is a very normal comp here. The matches have been good so far. They've been good. When did the game start? Like 1 a.m. Eastern, I think.
Talk about a hero, but under pressure. Shu as well, firing up onto this high ground.
And again, Winston's fine against this because of the armor. So,
He walked up too far, though, punished by the dive.
good start, good start.
Many players low. Crazy Raccoon always keeps fighting. Down a player is not enough to stifle them.
It is not. They do not give you much room to reset.
HP of these players just been forced out. But yeah, it's quite a quick nano for both teams.
Yep. I mean, that's how you do it. You build fast nanos.
Crucial. Heisang has done remarkable damage so far. 80% to a pulse bomb. This may be coming sooner than the defenders expect.
Taking it real slow here.
I mean, certainly are. Oh, no.
Come on. Sleep perfect on the Winston. 0 mistakes. This guy is locked in. They do take a nade on that backline.
Nice stick. Holy crap. Leave does get a good pick in the backline, though. So Leave got 2 really huge picks there. There's a world where they can get back. But Leave died last, which makes it more difficult. But that was a huge pick.
Sleep dart onto Guxue. And Hiisang cleans it up with the post-bomb. Recontest here from once
Yep.
again. They have a Deadeye as well to make some space here. Need to build the rally to sustain on the point, though.
Big pressure on Junbin. Another nade!
Can't build a rally with an on-a-grenade like that.
Trying to zone off this card. Shy looking for targets on the point. Both teams tentative, slowing things
High
down.
noon, counter high noon in a second if you can. Just to create space.
Instantly forced into a rally. Chorong is low. Needs to stabilize. Needs to get that connection. There it comes. Mew is extremely low. Forced out of the fight with the rally. Can't get value. High noon channel putting big damage.
Yep, I was going to say that High noon's going to do just enough, but they capped the point.
Forced out 1 HP. Surely he can't. No, he's out. He's escaped.
I don't know if they realize they capped the point.
Back up, enabling Crazy Raccoon to potentially continue this offense. Players low on both sides. Junbin surely doesn't have the HP to get this done, but the flip came in the chaos. And Crazy Raccoon laughing at their opponent's misfortune. A little bit of schadenfreude here.
That happened like 20 seconds ago.
Final map, and once again, I mean, that's devastating. That was a spot where you could have held.
That was 20 seconds ago.
The rally came through. They sustained on the point for so long there, under so much pressure from Shu. And once again, it looked like they were able to claw themselves back onto that first point.
How does Tracer pick a character on some maps? I'm sorry, what? Sam, thanks for the 10 months to tier 1. Thank you, appreciate it.
I mean, so sick from Hiisang. Waits out the roll for the Cassidy, so there's no counterplay. Now Hiisang on the flank, forcing heavy response. Guxue in with the primal.
This is going to do nothing. If I do nothing, got to kill on Ana.
He's incredibly low. Double jump, escaping out to the high ground for the moment. Nano onto Mew, just defensive, just stabilizing the position. No offensive threat. Crazy Raccoon dominating on the server right here. And once again, we're all out of gas. It's only Leave with the pulse bomb.
Still a good job by, once again, Nano time from Shu. Probably going to Nano Winston. I mean, that's not even a probably, it's a guarantee.
Defenseless, Brig, low, misses the flail, cleaned up by Junbin.
Just you're going to die, Dying Cart. I mean, that's a good pick. Again, good trades by Winston in the back line. Very good trades, actually.
So difficult, down number, so difficult, facing off against
If Leave and Winston...
Guxue is in the cave here, actually. Gets slapped by
If Guxue can survive,
he's gonna get punished.
but I think he'll be fine. Like, I don't think there's enough there to follow up just yet.
Shu is
If anything, you can go for the Ana.
in this map. I mean, ridiculous stuff. This is so.
Brig is so close to ult.
And Junbin, he has the primal. Cassidy drops down low. Rally as well. Defending at Junbin. High Noon. Surely this is enough to deal with the Winston.
Oh, they get the kill on Tracer because of it. But I would say you'd argue that it was worth the trade.
Here's the rally on Rally. Swarming over them. The nade just barely saves Shy, but in the bubble, he cannot get the heals. Junbin falls in the chaos. So does Goose Ray. The low numbers.
Unless Leave hits the sickest play here. Yep.
The supports are eating them alive.
Holy crap. This is wonderful. Dude, this is a battle right now, chat.
It is a masterclass on Route 66.
This is a battle.
Play Ana in the elimination map, you fools.
Shu is just absolutely out of his mind right now. Playing some of his best Overwatch on his signature hero. And once again, they still haven't found an answer really for Crazy Raccoon to set them back. Leave has had some moments so far this season. Oh my god, what a nade!
The bounce nade gets shot into. That was a 4-man nade using the bounces.
That's a kill on Ana. Nice, good kill. This is live.
And he's gonna get more cleanup after the fact as well. Goose Ray chasing to the spawn door. Chorong is low. The Primal Blade still here, still a threat. Goose Ray, you cannot
try not to use bubble just yet.
The potential that he has.
See? Even the best Winston goes with a healing bubble, chat, okay? Or one of the best Winstons. See? That's my favorite bubble, too. Pulse bomb in? Don't even have the pulse. Yep, now you need to...
He's dealing a lot of damage here, actually.
Big sleep
from Monk before he goes down, but it's not going to be enough. Crazy Raccoon coming up with another
reset.
win here, and Monk expended that.
Plenty of time.
Well, that's this crucial Nonibus, who is so powerful in these type of compositions. Now Crazy Raccoon able to take the high.
Plenty of time.
One last kind of engagement here on this third point. This Deadeye could be lethal as well. Junbin holding close. This Primal could be devastating.
Rally as well available for Chorong. Very, very soon. Goose Ray is low.
Nice pick.
Shu sleeps to High Noon. Already found the connection though onto Junbin.
Is this just like, is the strategy right now to sleep Winston and High Noon him? That's what the strat spin, it feels like.
The better part of Valor for the moment. Lift falls back, respecting the threat of that pick.
Nothing's wrong with healing bubble. It's great.
Advantage firmly in favor of the Raccoons. Primal Rage for Junbin could be the difference maker. Mew very close to that rally, needs to bridge the gap.
There's no ults right now. That's the problem. Like you need to at least get Brig ult here, otherwise you're just gonna lose your Ana. Even then, you might lose your Ana. Yep.
Crazy Raccoon up 5 versus 2, 5 versus 1. Shy stands alone. He's got no shot.
Damn.
And capping Route 66 with 1 minute and 5 seconds.
Ugh, that's rough. The thing is, I don't even think once again was playing bad. I think they just had a bad third point. I felt like first and second were more than enough. I mean, if you think about it, chat, remember when they got off the cart? I think that's where the time was made up at. That's the difference in the game.
They died with ultimates. Crazy Raccoon just
that's the difference in the game.
Capping out the Route 66, which rarely happens, Jake. Very rarely do we see go to overtime here on Route 66. It's just a demonstration of their dominance so far.
We bet the house on Shu right now. We bet the house. We bet the kids' college tuition. We bet it all, man. Shu is not losing this game. This guy is doing different things on support. It's not healer, bro. It is not healer. If you watch what Shu is doing in this game.
This is one of the most impressive player of the match performances I've ever seen.
I'm ready.
Like the series is not even over. I'm like, oh, it's probably Shu, right?
We all know.
It's.
I mean.
CR's really good. I know.
He's done in
well, that is always CR strat. I mentioned it during the Nightmare game where like CR will just continuously go in. Like they're known to win team fights 3v5, and Nightmare kept taking advantage of that. The amount of times like, hey buddy, you're good. Like the amount of times that we saw, them just like specifically. Oh, it's close to the bucket. Like ult down 3v5. The problem was Nightmare kept winning against that, and like they never were able to win fights because of it. So that's been the difference, right? That's been the difference. Is this that? Yeah. Did pet him? Well, I'm waiting to see if he goes up in the bucket, so I'm trying to give him like some decision making there. He just finished eating. How do I know? I can smell it.
If they want to.
So I'm trying to give him opportunity to go into the bucket because he hasn't gone into the bucket much since we had to clean it. So he's still trying to figure that out, you know?
cleaning up, opportunity to move forward.
I mean, I just gotta say, CR has been playing lights out since they lost. Like they did not like losing.
Give Crazy Raccoon a comp advantage. They don't even need it. If you give that to them, this is all over.
This is so nasty from Crazy Raccoon.
Which means tomorrow, by the way, chat, we're gonna have Nightmare versus Team Falcons. And then the loser of that is going to play the winner of this series.
Just apply the pressure, get damage in.
They're so clean, though, Johnny.
Think about that.
Up anything for free, holding this corner. They've held it 1,000 times before. They have every advantage here on the defense, but once
positioning, you can watch in this a lot. Dude, that's just a honor grenade from Shu on high ground, throws an honor grenade down, they get a kill off of the dive, and they get out and survive with HP and nano opportunity. I mean, when that's what's happening, like, what else can you say or do?
1 minute 30 already gone.
Straight up.
4 once again, and here comes the ultimates for Crazy Raccoon. It's not going to get easier.
Oh, man. You need it to get a little bit easier, though. Let's be real, Johnny, because this is not looking good. Crazy Raccoon storming over their opponents, and now caught in the backliners. Shu, are you kidding me? Stop it. This is mercy.
This is not ideal.
There's no mercy. There's no mercy to be had in the server, Johnny. There is only blood for the blood god, and Shu, he yet thirsts for more.
The bucket.
All right, we used one Bionade and one rally.
He's like, no.
Guys, they don't have nade. Quick reset. They use nade.
They use nade. That's what we're tracking these days. Oh,
Thor ults for the Raccoons. Every tool they would need in the book. And look at this forward position from Junbin. So difficult to evict. Nade comes in. It's still by Shu. Every single time.
He's funny. They keep making the same exact play. Shu goes high ground, throws an honor grenade down, they dive backline.
Tracer's being marked. He's saying forces the recall, wins the Tracer fight in the flank.
I mean, even this Bob.
Please do something. We need you to do something, but he's doing nothing, Johnny.
Realistically, this is on Gushui now. You have the primal rage.
Shu again.
Good trade.
They have a chance, Jake.
Force out Brig out at the very worst. Nice out.
That's the backline for Crazy Raccoon. Junbin found a kill with the primal before he could come in. Junbin and Heesan continuing to fight this one out. Gushui extremely low. Forced all the way back to the spawn.
That's nano charge, though. That's not nano charge, though. What a Hinda.
They're still spawn camping, Johnny. This is against the rules.
Wow. The payload just passed the gate, Jake. They got another fight coming. Shu has the non-boost.
I don't really know what else to say at this point because, like, it's once again has to basically win right here on this team fight. Otherwise, it's rough. They have a nano suit, but both teams have a nano. Good purple. That nano's probably going to get a kill on Ana. Yep. Trade. Both Anas get traded on, but they don't have a Brig out. Both backlines is traded. Now it comes down to the DPS players to duel each other.
But Heesan and Liv defeat their counterparts.
See?
And it's all crazy.
They came down to a 1v1 and they lost both of them.
In this series, Gushui deep in the enemy
Who's
spawn.
gonna push? The Tracer's dead.
So difficult here. He's gonna try to deny the honor, but Chorong is here to bail him out. And Gushui just trying to.
He can't touch anyway. It's on his fault. Yeah. GG's.
Send the Chinese hope home.
And there you go, chat.
Here in the clash.